apa ada judulnya, cuman judul gamenya nggak gue isi, dah kosong. Apa gue isi Mobile Legends aja ya?
Serem banget suaranya.
Berarti nonton di komputer dong ya? Halo semuanya. Selamat datang lagi di Donasi Playing. Nonton dulu ya guys ya. Nonton ya kita ya. Nonton Dota dulu ya. Final soalnya final TI 10, habis itu Mobile Legend. Halo Blue Gaming, halo. Jadi Pamekasan. Udah. Gung, kok lama banget loadingnya, Gung?
Ya emang kan baru buka ente.
Astaga ya ampun. Nonton dulu, ntar di sela-sela nonton baru main Mobile Legend ya teman-teman ya.
Kok tambah kenceng ping gua ini.
Lama loadingnya weh, Gung. Lama banget cok gambar Dotanya cok. Emang gitu?
Nggak tahu.
Oh ini.
Kalau baru-baru kan biasa gitu.
Ayolah lama banget cok. ML nanti mau main sama temanku aku.
Enak.
Gung, gimana cara gantiinnya, Gung? Biar ada yang ngomong, Cuk.
Tuh di samping silang tuh di bawahnya kan ada tanda panah tuh.
Samping silang tanda panah. Loh,
Di bawah silang maksud gua.
ah. Rochester loh. Rochesternya siapa? Mana suaranya?
Yang English gua.
Ah, lu yang mana?
Gua pakai English.
Broadcasternya, oh. Mana cok? Pilih broadcasternya mana nih?
Klik aja, lihat situ udah.
Nggak ada nih, ada bacaannya kan, ada gambar video. Kan di bawah silang tuh.
Oh.
Ada pilih directed camera, free camera, player view, hero chase, broadcaster.
Iya.
Terus pilih yang broadcaster.
Yang kanan tuh loh, di kanannya tuh kan ada gambar sinyal tuh. Nah, itu lo klik.
Oh. Mana yang Inggris cuk? Oh ini nih. Oh webpass lagi. Iya Mas Dapa, halo semuanya. Bang main Gartic, aduh nggak dulu, nggak sekarang nggak dulu. Lagi nonton ini dulu ya, adik-adik ya. Nggak ML, nggak open mabar, aku mabar sama Agung doang.
I mean, I think that's where the information game is going to be important. Can Spirit
Masih nonton dulu teman-teman.
To fight off LGD's timing, because I think that is like the big question mark. Is the Ursa going to be too strong for you, or is it enough to just sleep away half the full fight duration?
Lossnya nggak ada sih.
Ya. Lossnya nggak ada.
Iya nggak ada.
Gua 5 nih, 5, 6 gitu doang.
Gitu nih cuk.
Ini cuk nggak jelas.
Belum tapi ini gue LGD ini juga jago tuh. Itu Ame mau dekat caret ya sama Ame tuh.
Jago, makanya final.
Toronto Tokyo was also starting to sweep over, so PSG they have to back up.
Just
accept the trade as it is, the support for support.
Kenapa biasanya nggak usah Mobile Legends, Dota aja. Iya, Dota aja. Jangan lah, ntar Dota anu Jo, kebablasan 40 menit tak jadi nonton Jo, istirahatnya udah selesai Jo.
Kelamaan nih.
Iya kelamaan dia.
Terima
Terima kasih yang datang dan nonton dan like, terima kasih banyak. Biarpun ini cuma nonton aja ya teman-teman ya. Sama main Mobile Legends pas. Enggak, Dota ini Dota. Ini Dota.
Yeah, and he's going for a very interesting build. He's buying the Aghanim Scepter, and the Aghanim Scepter allows him to use his ensnare on heroes that are either slept by his ulti
Asal kita
or
sering
still immune.
turnamen tapi mainnya
This will give them
gitu-gitu
a way
aja
to
ya
deal
kita
with
ya.
BKBs. And traditionally, the way you deal with, for example, a Tidehunter
Iya,
Ravage
kayak nggak ada
is by
peningkatan
buying
untuk
a
main
BKB.
tim juga
Or in this case,
sampah banget kita
Pangolier with
mainnya.
Rolling Thunder. So he's actually going to be able to lock down the Pangolier during his Rolling Thunder with his nut. It's a very, very smart item decision.
Elder Titan lo itemnya gitu doang bisa ya bertahan dan bisa support sejati ya. Gue bikin item gitu nggak bener-bener nggak apa-apain.
Kalau support tuh asli support tuh nggak ada hit.
Iya nggak ada hit-hitnya. Full dia, full cuma ada duit cuma pakai beli itu.
use it specifically just to make sure.
Pokoknya dia murni duitnya dari auto aja.
Iya. Sama tipis-tipis lah kalau nggak ada ininya mukul tipis-tipis.
Nggak sama itu apa namanya? Sama asis paling kalau mungkin.
He can just sort of be the anti-fight. He just stops it.
Kenapa? Game Dota mirip Mobile Legends tempat darahnya.
That's certainly one of the crucial parts of PSG LGD's initiation.
Ini turnamen Mas dapat. Final turnamen internasional 10.
Can we drag this game on and literally slowing him down during his role, forcing his timing to be unable to be used.
Aduh, gua nutupin map ya.
Are looking for in this game. But yeah, we're starting to see items gear up on LGD
Gua
side.
nutupin map, Cok.
Di atas item aja, Cok. Di atas item ini yang di kanan yang mau dibeli. Di atas shop.
Di atas shop ya. Taruh di atas shop aja ya. Sabar-sabar teman-teman, aku pindah-pindahin dulu ya.
Habis itu di ini deh, invert. Balik ini.
Oh, di mana? Di atas shop. Di atas shop aja. Muka gua.
Iya, terus di mana lagi? Mau di atas saya map.
Di atas map aja, di atas map aja.
Ya udah.
Biar nutupin, Cok. Kecilin habis itu. Mampus tuh muka gua kecil asem. Enggak jelas aja. Sabar, teman-teman, sabar. Aku lagi pindah-pindah dulu ya.
Gila. Mantap, Cok.
Sampai nggak nonton gamenya, sampai taruh. Oh, cepet aja war ini.
Gila, oh nggak mati gila. Parah.
Malah lagi.
Tangannya kayak gimana mainnya, Cok?
Aja main Dota. Komputernya Mas siapa? Beli komputer Mas siapa? Abang pernah main Dota, main dulu. Waktu masih main di warnet, main Dota doang kerjaannya dulu.
Layar old.
Hah?
Layar lama.
Iya. Dari Dota 1 aku main, tapi nggak berkembang. Gitu wes kita. Oh GG cuma ini tuh baru nonton dan mati.
Datang langsung di nyanyiin tuh.
Langsung nyanyi dah.
Nggak jadi nge-kill dia balik.
Itu
kalau BKB kan dia ngajak nyanyi, Cok.
BKB kena kayaknya. Kayak anti BKB klub nih nyanyiannya. Gak tau lagi ya, gue lupa ya.
Mampus lu. Ulti ya, habis lo. Kena ulti.
Mati yo, udah fix mati yo. Mau ngapain yuk? Asem tuh, kok bisa gitu ya? Sekarang ya dia ya?
PSG ini. Padahal kuat.
Iya PSG dari dulu, Cok.
Iya PSG dari dulu, final udah 2 kali ya. Phoenix sama ini ketiga berarti nih.
Dia masa dia ikuti Ayo kan udah berkali-kali tuh.
Iya tapi dia finalnya masuk 3 kali loh. Nggak menang-menang.
Tim Spirit dari dulu nggak pernah masuk mana-mana.
Nggak pernah.
Ikut turnamen cuman nggak pernah sampai gini. Abang masih ingat. Kena lagi gila tak kasih rem.
Serem nggak tuh suaranya?
Padahal nama-namanya nggak pernah tahu aku ya. Yatoro siapa lagi? Yang aku tahu cuma Miposka doang, Cuk.
Gua nggak ada yang tahu kalau Spirit.
Aku Tim Spirit cuma tahu Miposka doang, Cuk.
Ini dari dulu nih mainnya, nggak pindah-pindah.
Apa?
Ame,
ya Ame.
Ya masih dari dulu dia.
There are almost no dire wards anywhere. Radiant are in firm control of where the vision is, and the only ward that they have, I think,
naruh wardnya ini ya di luar ini ya. Emang beda emang PRU naruh wardnya.
And this is what a lot of team spirits constantly be reading LGD and how they're moving around the map.
Iya, out of mind naruh wardnya asem. Dan yang main pun kenapa?
Karena lo. Segitu loh dia. Kena skill satunya itu, point. Sedot. Naga sirene kalau udah jadi kebal itu.
Yeah, absolutely. They are starting to finish up some key items. You see,
LVS
the now has a
Dota,
dagger, so they have an easier form of initiation rather than just trying to run at them with a roll. So if Team Spirit here start getting cocky and playing alone, there is a way for LGD
Kirain
to
bosen
respond
loh,
and
soalnya nggak
punish.
tahu gamenya kan. Kadang.
Very close to this mechanism on the Wisp as well. It's just 100 gold away, and this really is the Wisp's big timing. You have both the Holy Locket and the mech to heal up the Ursa, and Ursa's closing in on BKB, so I'm smelling a fight in the waters. Owen.
Yeah, the next one, it's got to be strong from PSG LGD.
Tapi awal-awal menang nih belum tentu terakhir menang kalau Dota nih ya.
Yeah, and as strong as a Nonton is when she's playing this kind of map game and she's able to get the pickoffs, she isn't the strongest.
Iya, soalnya masih ada boy boots, bisa boy boots.
How these heroes function against each other.
Awal menang belum tentu terakhir menang.
Against Ursa straight up. So if LGD is
enggak lo, gua dari yang nonton 7 orang, Gung. Sisa 0 juga ada nonton juga gara-gara gua nonton Dota. Dikira gua mobilelegends. Nanti Pak istirahat.
So they're deciding to smoke up and make the move on their own first.
Let's see if they catch PSG whilst they least expected. BKB is
Langsung habis 0 yang nonton. Tadi 7. Langsung 7 loh, baru mulai gua langsung 7 loh. Langsung gua buang secara sia-sia gitu.
And Disruptor's a really key kill, because if the Disruptor isn't alive in the fight, they can't really go for Collapse. Look at Collapse's itemization. This is so smart. He's going for the Yules together with the Hood and a Blink Dagger. And why is this interesting? Because if you're inside of a Static Storm, and you Yule yourself, and you have the Hood up, and there's no physical damage to hit you, you can actually just blink straight out of it. So just
playernya gimana cuy? Kayak bisa ngelihat map gitu loh.
Iya kak, maksudnya mereka tuh bisa baca ini kesini, ini bakal kesini. Dan musuhnya pun sama tuh semua.
Iya masa? Iya makanya kok bisa dia tahu gitu loh. Dari mana ya kelihatan? Padahal nggak kelihatan. Bener-bener nggak ngerti gua kalau udah Dota nih jauh banget tuh. Asli mekanik ini kalau Dota ini.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you take a quick look at Lycan before the fight breaks out, he's decided not to go for the wolf fight. They recognize that they won't be able to play the strat the way they intended for it to. So he's going to be building up some damage items as well.
Smoke will dispel here on Toronto Tokyo. Same to be set for PSG LGD. They know that both teams are waiting here up to the side of the river on the respective edges, and now Army is going to
smoke
try and take it out here.
Yeah, for the first time in this game, they've been allowed to take back the jungle and try to apply some pressure to Roche. So I expect Team Spirit to also recognize that, you know what, we've given up the jungle. What would LGD do with that? Well, they would go to Roche on. So
Spirit, check this out. Army's going to slow it down a little
bit.
Coming in, they know that they know. Stop it. The IO, they're going to lead it.
Bangke, bisa
aduh. Nggak bisa dia untuk AGC siapa yang dapat, Cok? Dapat ini, Ji. Ininya dapat tuh ikannya, Cok.
Ursanya yang dapat.
Oh iya, Ursa kalau ikannya. Lupa gua.
Yeah, really nice play there from LGD. What an unfortunate event there. He gets pulled into the Roche pit. You really want to stay outside with the tether, but stay tethered to Ahmed. But
enggak, orang di belakang.
Di luar kan ya, di luar.
Iya, di luar map, di luar
kawasan dia.
I don't think they were quite expecting the BKB. So all in all, I think they're happy with this. You know, they gave up the Aegis, but it took them 24 minutes to get there. So Roshan number 2, which really is Ursa's key timing in this game to get that shard, so that he can play most of the fights enraged, is going to come much later than they expected.
But definitely the beginnings of PSG LGD getting this game back under their control.
Yeah, absolutely. Now they need to abuse the fact that they have the Aegis to try to gain some map control here. You want to try to get the lanes pushed out, force Team Spirit to play reactive to you, and then once you are able to corner the mid, you're going to find that team fight that you so much want. So the hard part here for them is how do we deal with the Naga? Stop them from just using the to push the lanes back.
Itu dia itu bisa dapat apa namanya? Apa sih namanya tuh item yang atasnya begini tuh?
I mean, they picked the
yang nambah mana?
Enggak, yang bisa sakit kalau nambah magic, kalau kena damage magic sakit dia.
Ini
apa sih?
Oh, itu Violet.
Oh, Veil of Discord ya. Gua bisa lihat dan gua tanya. Iya, Veil of Discord sakit banget kalau udah kena. Ultinya dia lah ya. Meskipun nggak ada itemnya. Sakit tuh.
Enggak kok.
Veil of Discord sakit, Cuk.
Enggak, emang dia punya? Enggak ada tadi, cuma sepatu doang.
Itu Elder Titan.
Oh, enggak, Cuk. Gue lihat itu tadi.
Gua kok Elder Titan doang, Cuk, di ini aja, di sorotnya aja gimana nih?
Klik kanan di area bebas.
Oh,
pantesan betul dia apa.
These heroes aren't in position to connect, then you can go for some sort of smoke, then you can make that move. But the difficulty for them is you can't necessarily you don't have the tools to bring him down at the start of a team fight.
Got the eyes on the two of them.
Dia kalau masuk sama Veil of Discord sakit itu, Cuk.
Arme and Xingqiu. on their own.
Umur sama itu kali ya?
Leon sama
Sama-
Leon lagi semua.
Iya,
tuh.
sama Leon. Leon agak anim, wah habis lu.
Itu point magic nggak yang bulat-bulat?
Fight magic.
Nah, tambah lagi itu.
Keeping these waves shoved right up towards the base of PSG LGD.
And down
Oh,
bottom,
ultinya
Team
nih.
Spirit are just waiting patiently, but LGD have recognized that they
Ultinya
keep it bottom,
siapa?
right? So it's
Time.
very likely that their heroes are stuck on that side of the map. So
Nggak
here they
terlalu
come
gini,
sweeping
Cuk,
up towards the
nggak
dire
terlalu
jungle,
ngaruh.
understanding that Spirit cannot
Oh,
already
gila lu.
move their
Itu
pieces.
Ulti
open
yang
map-nya
sakit
open map
gitu.
juga,
Back to
masa
top,
sampai
have the
habis
Tinker
nggak tahu
response
sakit lah
to
dia.
the tier 2 tower. So
Lumayan,
just smart
tapi
play
kan
coming out
damage.
from both
Ya
sides.
lumayan.
I think we
Apa
saw
ya,
that
Cok?
with
Nggak
the
sesakit
Spirit
yang kayak
series.
Leon
Team
gitu,
Spirit are
enggak.
going to be really smart about only fighting under their vision, or where they feel comfortable.
Ini hero-nya
They
combo
have the
semua,
information they need to take the
Asli.
fight.
Iya
I
lah,
think in
dia
this
kan
way,
picknya
LGD maybe
udah
sometimes a
pikir
little more
panjang,
reckless
Jo.
and will play with like assumptions. Like if they see you bottom, they might try to aim to
Ayo
push you
kenapa
top,
musuhnya
which
bisa
is
ngepick
earlier.
begituan hero-nya ayo.
In the early game, you know,
Mereka kan
Spirit
pikir
are
panjang
perfectly,
juga.
so if
Iya,
Spirit takes
makanya.
a good read like that, you might see them pounce.
Kenapa ya hypernya naga siren ya?
His aggressive
Yeah.
lines with the Bloodthorn complete.
Ayo, padahal ada hyper lain.
That lockdown with the
Aduh, naga sian dipakai
the
support ya.
lion and the tide.
Iya, mungkin kalau ini kali kalau si Mursanya ulti kali dia ulti juga.
Yeah, and
Biar gak
something
guna
that I
aja.
noticed Team Spirit do a lot when they feel like they're on the back foot is take over the enemy triangle and try to set up control here. And this is something that
Emang
I'm
ulti
sure
Ursa
LGD
nggak
are
bisa
going to,
nangkal
but Vikings
nyanyi
in
ya?
trouble.
Gak bisa. Apa ulti dulu naganya, habis itu baru ulti
banget,
si
Cok,
ini,
Sirennya,
Pet
Cok.
Hunter.
Makes it away, has the play mill and
Sakit asam naga siannya.
done already onto the way to the AC.
Sakit lah, bayangannya sakit.
Certainly helping out.
Yeah, and this is an opening now for Spirit. The Lycan form is down. They've one of the big tools in this team fight is gone. So in the other series when we saw LGD play the tiny Lycan, the Lycan's form himself doesn't really matter. It was all about that wolf fight. But in this game, because he decided to itemize his own hero, the 60 seconds of downtime here is quite big. And you see LGD pulling back their pieces, not willing to play aggressive on the top lane anymore, recognizing that they don't have all the tools necessary to win a team fight.
Team Spirit remaining in this whole area of the triangle is slowly sieging onto the tier 1 tower, seeing what sort of reaction they can force out of PSG LGD. 20 seconds until that Aegis has gone off Arme. Unlikely to find a fight with that still in his hands, so the game once again falling to a bit of a risky territory for PSG LGD, at least until they can hold off for that second round of Roshan.
Yeah, and Illusion's just slowly chipping away at this tower. They don't really deal a lot of damage, but it's something that, you know, LGD might respond to. So they're keeping heroes close by that, in case LGD just feel like, oh, it's just an illusion hitting our tower, they're ready to pounce. And you see, Nothing to Say reads that too. He understands based on the fact that there's nothing happening on any of the other lanes. Both our middle lane is pushing out, top lane's pushing out. Lycan's getting a lot of farm from all these waves right now. All the Team Spirit heroes are bottom here.
Yeah, he has to be so careful showing his face to clear the wave.
Yeah, both teams just are reading the map really, really well.
Waduh, tahuan dong.
Iya.
Lah. Ah.
This information that they're gaining about the teams. They understand what is Team Spirit specifically going to do. How do they approach the situation? And they find out smoke because of that. They're playing most of this game with very, very limited vision. I really want to point that out. Like they barely have vision of what's going on the map.
Even without their tide, Spirit maintaining their aggressive posture over PSG half of the map and already looking for action once again around the bottom tier 2. See if they find the setup.
Wah, iya. Silent tuh.
Stops the backup coming in. Still though,
Saya mati tuh.
Wah, mati gila.
Itu bayangannya sakit kok, berapa biji tuh
Oh,
asam.
bayangan mati, Cok, gila.
That's enough to send the bear back to base.
Bayangannya
That's an absolutely
kayak pakai
massive kill.
DHS.
And I think Zincu felt
Karena
like he could
rame-rame,
keep him
Cok.
alive. There was no reload.
Iya, maksudnya sakit banget loh.
Next team fight, here's the tricky part. Do you
Padahal itu
really
damage-nya cuma
get out
30%
as soon as
dari
you get
aslinya.
text? Because Spirit is not
Iya, tapi
progressing,
kayak
but
berapa
we have
itu
the ability
banyak
to
tuh?
burst your heroes.
Lihat tuh. Itu ada aslinya, ada aslinya.
Iya, ada aslinya itu sakit. Apalagi ya, cuma support kayaknya. Nah, ini yang tebel-tebel gini masa?
BKB lu. Nggak bisa, Cok.
Bisa, cuma nangkal magic doang.
Dikasih jaring gitu lolos, Cok.
Dikasih jaring? Jaring apaan, Cok?
Nice play by
Tadi
Faith
dilempar
Beyond.
jaringnya sih, Ren.
Thanks that either Remnant with one of his
Emang
goals.
ketangkap?
Tangkap.
But Team
Orang
Spirit,
muter
they're
di
doing this so
tempat
smart,
tadi.
right? We heard the draft panel touch on it. Fighting 5 versus 5 is not really where they're strong.
Apa tadi
They
nggak
wanna
BKB
play
ya?
this
Dia karena
game
muter
to find
efeknya
these pickups,
emas-emas
find
kali
these
ya?
opportunities where they can get a jump, burst someone really quickly, and use the fact that we have Ravage to reset. We have Naga Sleep to reset. Which is forcing LGD to be very careful about how they use their cooldowns. And this is leading to them they're just playing this game very well. And these small decisions that they're making, where you notice they're not really charging into the enemy. They're not giving LGD the kind of fights that they're used to getting.
Tapi sekarang Iyo nggak habis-habis, Cok, itunya, koneknya.
Masa? Tethernya?
Iya, tethernya nggak hilang-hilang itu. Kalau udah terus.
I think the biggest thing is that the illusions are tankier.
Di
If you
bawah
take a
map
look at
game
how
apa?
Yatoro's playing the
Map
fights,
game apa?
he's staying very
Maksudnya?
far back with his primary hero, using the Bloodthorn and using the Ensnare.
Apa ya di bawah map game apa? Nggak ada apa-apa di bawah map game. Oh, apa itu ya? Ya enggak ada apa-apa kok. Nggak ada apa-apa. Apaan dah? Nggak ada apa-apa. Nggak ada apa-apa, guys.
Of course, that timer. Having in their mind the Roshan potential respawn in just over a minute.
And that minute feels really long, Owen. Let me tell you, right now, for PSG LGD, that minute is coming very, very slowly. We see Tidehunter starting to eye up a Shiva's guard. That's going to make it even harder for the Ursa to stick on top of him and deal damage. They also just bought a 4-star.
Oh, maksudnya map di bawah,
I
game
think for Team
apa?
Spirit, they're
Oh,
recognizing that, you know what?
Game
LGD is
Dota,
not going to be able to
Dota
kill us if we're just able to kite out their BKBs. And that's why you notice, like, Nothing to Say also has bought a BKB. I think the idea of this is he wants to try to use it to break out of, to have a longer period of time in the team fights where he's playing under Magic Community, because there's just so much lockdown coming out from Team Spirit.
Ini yang chat-chat di itu Dota TV macam jago ya.
Go Scepter on Mira.
Dota TV.
Iya, ada chatting-chattingnya
And the
orang-orang
Kaya
tuh.
also eyeing up under
Gimana, Cok?
Shiva's
Gua
guard,
ada
but I would be
tamatiin
surprised if he doesn't change it.
spektatornya.
And
Komennya
on the
apa?
corner, he has a
Anunya?
full BKB too, so
Noob
I'm really
noob
liking
LGD,
Spirit
noob
for this game
LGD,
mode. They're in a very
ente lo
dominant
cuma
position here.
nonton.
They're scaling up very
Noob
nicely.
LGD.
Cok, masa bisa noob dari mana asalnya?
Masuk final dia nonton, dia cuma nonton doang di rumah. Noob LGD.
Buset!
Buset, langsung mati yuk lah, Jok. Mau apa, Jok? Kalek langsung.
Cepet banget, Cok.
Nothing to Say has to roll out with the Thunder.
So this is huge, right? Both Lycanform was committed, as well as the Pangolier roll. So the Roshan spawns, which it does. This is free Roshan for Team Spirit. And remember how much we talked about how badly you want this for LGD. It doesn't even matter if it comes to use for Yatoro. They just want to make sure that PSG LGD doesn't
Mega
get it.
Siren.
Enggak kok.
And
Enggak,
it's
itu
the
kan
only
satu doang.
shard, Aghanim shard, that is dropped from Roshan throughout the entire game. So that's
Enggak.
I mean, it just goes to show how solid of a position that Spirit are in, where just a couple of ults expired by PSG LGD and a dead IO, and suddenly the rest of the lineup, they cannot do anything about Spirit taking the Roche, continuing their lead here, 7k up.
Beli game dulu ya.
To having a butterfly complete for the next bit of action as well.
yeah, and with this butterfly, he actually has the now utilizing his own hero too. Once the situation looks good for him, because the Ursa can't just burst him. The bash is gonna miss. There's a proc chance on the bash. There's a proc chance on the miss. So it's gonna be hard for the Ursa to just lock him down. And just very intelligently itemized by Tanaka here. For the early part of the game, when he knew it was going to be a map control game, he bought the ult, he
Yang
bought
farming
the
terus, udah jadi semua itu.
Udah satanik, udah basar, udah.
The situation that they're in the game now.
Enggak scepter aja dia paling nih. Udah scepter belum nih?
Atau ini juga mau
Jumbo picked up by
oh,
Y.
ini
You can
kayak
feel
nih, Naga Siren
the
juga.
pressure of the
Scepter
vision.
efeknya
They're
apa
not
deh?
getting the vision that they're used to. They don't have the information that they're used to playing with in this game.
Udah semua bisa pakai scepter,
It's
Cok.
just shutting them down.
Masa?
Iya. Semua hero bisa scepter sama Aghanim staff, Cok. Scepternya ada 2 lagi.
Iya ya tahu gua. Atas sama bawah tuh.
Iya, makanya. Gila ya. Efeknya udah kayak extra apa? Hyper gitu loh.
Lah ML-nya kapan? Ntar man, tunggu ini istirahat. Apa tunggu istirahat untuk game selanjutnya baru kita ML bentar. Habis itu nanti kalau mulai lagi nonton lagi.
Yeah. And surely right now PSG LGD are discussing how do we take a team fight. What is it that we need to do? How do we
Bisa
need
semua
team's
ini
abilities
pakai
in order to
agahan
catch
namanya gila.
team spirit off
Jadi
guard?
gimana
Itu
skillnya?
ada
I
akademi.
think a
Ini
lot of
pangolirnya
communication
akademi
is
bawah
like,
baru
we
jadi.
need to make sure
Dibeli.
that we
Iya.
do not let LGD come out on the map. We don't
Oh,
want them
akademi
to get
bawah
out
tuh
the
yang
farm.
itu tuh.
As long as
Iya,
we can
akademi
keep them
bawah.
locked into their base, we can get all the items that we want, and then we get the fight that we want. And
Naganya udah
everything's
agak
gonna happen on
atas.
our terms.
Pasti
So
agak
you see,
atas.
they rotate over to the top side here, expecting LGD to run out on the top side of the map. And here we go.
It's time to look for that fight, PSG LGD.
Ntar kalau udah war baru ada paket loss
Execution
itu.
has to be immaculate.
Yeah.
Wah, ada kok paket las. Woi, gila flickernya cepet banget, Cok.
He's able to blink away from the leader.
Mulai.
Bisa gitu.
Dia nyariin Nagasiran.
Ah,
Ya,
gue
kena
juga gak
Nagasiran.
seren nih. Tapi nggak ada hypernya nih.
Nggak ada backupnya dia, mau ngapain?
Ya, temen yang mati.
Orang saya di belakang, Nagasirannya di sana. Yang ngejar cuma Pango sama
Sendiri pangonya.
itu tadi sama Disruptor udah di ulti.
PSG have a chance back to the safety of their high ground as quickly as they head out.
Waduh. Kena nggak deh? Oh iya kena, Cok.
Kena kan no, jaringnya no, dan
Gila.
BKB lu.
Kena, Cok.
Wah, ampun sakit. Ada mid of Discord ke. Aduh, aduh sakit banget tuh poinnya tuh.
Aduh, ada immortal.
Dia ada immortal. Oh, immortal ya Aegis sesem ya Allah, legend di
the
bawah.
micro decision making from Team
Aegis,
Spirit is so
namanya
beautiful
Aegis
to watch.
doang ya?
I think every time a hero pops,
Aegis doang.
Oh iya,
Mas.
Aegis.
half a second,
Goblok
there's
kayak
another playing
immortal.
out. And in the fight, you saw Ahmed pop
Immortal
sneaky,
atau
trying to man up the
Legend.
fight, and then the net comes. Has to pop his ultimate. He can't use
Itu
these
mah suruh
range
bayangan aja
shots.
maju,
He's
benar
forced to
kok.
use the defensive
Iya,
all the
dipukulin
time
tower
to
hancur.
break the net, just to be able to
Ih,
sneak
gila
on top of
cepet
his
banget
targets.
tuh. Buset. Suara pisaunya.
It seems all but impossible. The Rex dying, the melee Rex
Oh, hypernya dibalikin, Cok. Mampus lo nyanyi tuh.
Nyanyi dia. Oh, BKB nggak bisa aja BKB.
Oh,
BKB bisa
kena
bisa
nih.
gerak tuh.
Iya.
Wah,
Mampus.
poinnya. Berhasil kabur lah. Nah, kena 3-1 yang
Ah,
poin.
mati.
Iyo mati.
Wah, mati gila. GG.
Cepet nih, Cuk. 38 menit asal.
GG. Lama, Cok.
Ya hitungannya untuk Dota lumayan bisa nggak normal lah, nggak yang kenceng, nggak yang lama-lama kali lah. Oh, udah masuk 50 menit tuh sampai bosen loh. Sampai item jadi semua tuh. Iya, sampai buybacknya berkali-kali. Rosannya sampai bingung, Cok, abis ngeluarin refresher, habis ngeluarin Aegis.
Agak nimsat ada di situ.
Iya, sampai dia bingung lagi tuh kalau misalnya 60 menitan ya. Di atas 60 menit sampai bingung, aduh ngeluarin apa lagi itemnya nih, Cok. Bel, like dulu, Bel. Ayo gue Mobile Legends, Jung.
Ayo Mobile Legends.
Nanti bilangin, kan lu nonton main di HP, lu kan nonton Dotanya, ntar bilangin kalau udah mulai.
Ya udah. Gila emang.
Dari yang nonton 7
Kalah lo.
ya, dari yang nonton 7 ya, dikira aku main
GG.
Mobile Legends. Langsung jadi 0. Dari yang nonton baru mulai streaming nonton langsung 7 jebret. Dikira main Mobile Legends, main Dota, nonton Dota dulu. Judulnya kan nonton TI 10 terus main Mobile Legends.
Oh gitu judulnya.
Iya, di thumbnailnya gitu, judulnya nonton final TI 10 sambil Mobile Legends. Tapi di platform gamenya nggak gue isi apa-apa, kosong. Gua salah kalau isiin platform gamenya gue isiin Mobile Legends, gue bohong dong. Ya emang gue main Mobile Legends, cuman kan nggak Mobile Legends tok, Jo.
Juga Team Spirit tuh juara
Gede
TI.
banget tuh. Yang gue tahu cuman Mi Posca doang, dah lainnya nggak tahu gue siapa itu. Kameranya kok masih di situ, aku langsung sabar pindah dulu ya.
LGG.
Kecil banget jadi, Cok. PSG LGG. Besok masuk Mi. Besoknya libur, besoknya masuk lagi. Tak dislike katanya Gung. Dan gimana sih? Gung apa Dan? Belan. Bel main Bel, Bel.
Bel, gas, Bel.
Gas Bel. Bel.
Bel.
Main dak? Bela, pet, satpam.
Main, Bel. Bella, masa nggak main?
Bel. Bela pet. Satpam. Pam. Spirit menang kayaknya. Jangan bersenang-senang dulu, Bel. Nggak bisa kita ini Dota ini, Cok. Ini BO5 kayaknya.
BO5.
BO5 ini, Bel, bukan BO berapa, Bel. Bukan open BO, Cok. Ntar masih FPS-nya 1. Oke, keluar Nonton nice sekali, teman-teman ya. Membuang viewers secara cuma-cuma, Cok. Dari 7 jadi 0. Ada hero baru ya kakaknya Gusen. Hah? Hero baru apa tuh kakaknya Gusen?
Oh, kakaknya Gusen.
Apa
Belum,
tuh?
belum.
Belum,
Amon.
belum. Balmon.
Belum. Amon. Oh, itu Bella on tuh. Amon sing kene, sing gitu.
Sing gitu. Amun bela lapor satpam. Yang saya milu. Bel, milu sing 3 Bel. Oge udah di feed, Cuk. Kata Bella, OG-ku udah di feed, Cuk. Waduh, OG-mu, Cuk. Yang punya tim OG dah, Cuk. Macam-macam gitu dibayar palamu, Cuk. Yang punya OG Bella, Cuk. E-sport, Cuk. Bella e-sport. Tim Spirit itu sebenarnya TS ya? Itu sebenarnya bukan tim Spirit, Cuk. Bohong-bohongnya tuh, Cuk. Tim Sanur rasanya, Cuk. Oke, akhirnya kembali lagi di game kecintaan kalian semua, Mobile Legend. Oh, ini The Night Chase Amon animated trailer. Enggak bisa aku main assassin. Itu hero apa, assassin ya? Aduh, apalagi ini kawan.
Oke dong kan.
Sabar lah, Cuk, ini nganceng, Cuk. Emulatornya, Cuk. Gara-gara banyak ini loh. Ikan loh, nah, no. Klaim, suruh klaim, harian klaim. Udah tau aku malas buka-buka ginian. Wah, dari San, Cuk. Bel, Discord, Bel. Nggak usah ngomong tim Dokter Tirta, yuk, Discord. Malah bahas Dokter Tirta. Malah hilang dia karena Cuk ini dia. Discord, ya Allah. Bel, Discord. Ini orang main gak sih? Tak selepet loh abis itu. Bel, ayo Bel.
Ayo, keburu mulai nih.
Bel, tak hitung sampai 300 nih Bel. Main gak? Ini anak gak mau main, Cok. Ini tak invite. Awas aja nih, main. Nah, sekarang baru suruh Discord.
Discord Bel.
Discord. Alasan. Dia sama-sama pakai CBN loh ya sama gue ya. Tapi kalau dia pingnya 59 deh. Bel, ya Allah, mana sih Bella lama kali, Cok? Discord, Cok.
Pakai rame-rame kali.
Hah?
Pakai rame-rame.
Di rumah gua juga rame-rame, Cok. Ayo.
Tapi kan nggak dipakai sekarang.
Mana ada nggak dipakai, Cok? Satu orang 2 sampai 3 gadget asam di rumah tuh. Bokap gua 3, adik gua 2, adik gua yang Gifar 2, bini gua 1, gua 2 komputer sama HP. Ayo, hitung tuh berapa tuh di jumlah. Bella
Ayo,
ini
deh,
mana
kan?
sih, Cok? Nggak paham, Cok. Nggak balas juga, tau ya DC kayak kemarin. Kalau mudu marble nggak apa-apa DC, ini jangan.
Iya, Cok, tadi saya lagi.
Dokter Tirta siapa? Waduh, Dokter Tirta googling Mas apa? Google, cari di Google.
Itu dibilang mirip ini, Cok, Toronto Tokyo.
Toronto Tokyo.
Itu yang tadi main Team Spirit, mid laner-nya.
Oh, mirip Dokter Tirta mukanya.
Dibilang gitu sih.
Bella mana sih Asem? Ini orang nggak dijawab, Cok. Wah, gua sepak nih.
Wah, aman, gas aja udah lah.
Nggak dijawab, Asu.
Itu dijawab udah.
Dia tadi gua nanya berkali-kali coba. Kayak main mode marble, bel, auto hilang orangnya makan tuh ya. Taunya abis gung.
Hah?
Bel, nggak ada orangnya, tiba-tiba makan di Hongkong Garden. Ditinggal Hongkong Garden. Pang WA-nya. Apa nih konten ke rumah Bella, Cok? Aku besoknya lagi masuk. Enggak, besoknya lagi nggak masuk. Yuk, itu yuk.
Your team is banning.
Langsung di ban itu aja.
Ini lah.
My magic flows as freely as the wind.
The enemy is banning.
I am the power of light incarnate. A punch.
Your team is banning.
Aduh, lama. Loh, mau ngetik kan?
The enemy is picking.
Kata Saman, ya gua telat. Ini udah bukti 3 man, ada bos Bella nih man. Ayo. Udah bukti 3 nih, ada bos Bella nih. Gua gak berani nolak Bella, Cuk. Gak berani aku nolak Bella. Man. Dicari aku ke rumahku, Cuk, mau Bella. Cuk.
Sober naik.
Gua pakai apa? Tank.
Jangan nempet-nempet, Cok. Itu ada itu Loi.
Oh, Harley naik.
Terserah deh lo apaan.
Tapi ada Loi ya.
Nah, itu juga boleh kok.
Carmilla ya, boleh nggak Carmilla?
Carmilla. Ya udah Carmilla sana.
Carmilla ya.
Iya.
Terus juga itu.
The enemy is picking.
Suruh Agung main, Mas Dava ikut. Ayo kalau mau. Tapi ntar kalau turnamen Dotanya udah mulai lagi babak kedua, aku berhenti ya. Nonton lagi kita, Gung ya.
Iya, gua mau nonton tar.
Sampai Dotanya habis baru aku off yuk. Main Mobile Legends-nya bentar aja.
Dotanya lama loh, Cok.
Iya, Dotanya lama, Mobile Legends cuma 2 kali gitu.
Ke jam 12 bisa tuh.
Oh, offline dulu lah, rocks dulu udah. Nonton sambil main rocks aku udah. Orang belum ngapa-ngapain Ragnarokku.
Oh, hype itunya.
Lebih peduli main Ragnarok daripada Mobile Legends.
Mila XP. Gua mage dah. Oke kan, mage kan.
Aja. Lu enggak usah mager.
Ya,
Ya,
You should be ashamed for not trusting. The enemy is picking.
info apa Mas Zaba? Enggak, besok bukan Senin.
They call me a hero because I saved
Your
my
team
nation.
is picking.
Kok transparan ya sini? Transparan tuh.
Ya, gila udah mau main aja. Masih draft pick tuh. Belum sih.
Apa sih, Gung?
Ini udah masuk ke ide dia, masuk ke room. Dotanya.
Masa?
Iya. Lagi
Habisnya Dota
nyeting-nyeting.
kan?
Ya paling bisa lah, ini ngepick aja dari 2 jam, Cok. Nggak kira-kira kalau ngepick.
Belum ban, belum anu.
Iya, ini masih nyeting dulu nih.
Habis ini langsung Mobile Legends man, ternyata kita nggak bisa lanjut lagi. Langsung Dota lagi man, nggak bisa lanjut lagi Mobile Legends. Nanti habis istirahat lagi baru.
Kira-kira 30 menit.
Ragnarok kalau akun hilang lama nak balik, kalau akun ML hilang langsung dibos. Masa? Masa? Emang pernah main Ragnarok ente? Yang nggak, yang lama diurus tuh apa ya? Urus anu yuk. Selama-lamanya DN lama ya. Kalau kena ban ya lama ya.
Lama.
Pokoknya game yang dicetuskan game school tuh lama biasanya. Makanya tutup game school. Orang gua masih main EOS tuh ya. Lama-lama kok kayak nggak dirawat gamenya tuh. Akhirnya kayak ngerawat DN doang gitu loh. Taunya nggak dirawat semua, tutup taunya. Asem.
Iya, Cok. Gua udah belanja banyak-banyak.
Apaan belanja apaan? Oh ya, kita udah belanja juga ya, DN ya.
DN, Cok. Gua dulu
Iya.
bukan yang belanja.
Night falls, yet love stays still.
Lagi hype-hype nih. Aduh. Sabar. Aduh. Oh, salah.
Gua ada main cyber ya.
Missing. Aduh.
Kan Bella ya? Oh bukan. Susan aja
Oh,
dosa aja.
Tuh, apa lagi sih nih?
Itu enggak nih? Doi ini.
Wow, anjir. Udah lah kan.
Ya udah, aku cuma gitu-gitu doang, Cuk.
My style, and for him, is just insatiable.
Bella mau kemana Bella nih? Bella mau datang nih, Cuk.
Wah, Bella nih, Bella.
Datang, Cuk.
Bella beraksi, Bella. Ayo Bel, loncatin sini Bel. Wah, nggak denger dia, Cok.
Gila, lompatin kemana, Cok? Nggak nyampe lagi selepetan gua, udah. Dilempar kemana masih Bella?
Nggak kena, Cok, itu.
Oh, nggak kena.
Nggak kena.
Aduh, loh, iya masih. Aduh, Duk, sakit aja. Oh, balik dulu deh.
May the
Ya, balik dah.
Kabar ini gua udah segini.
Enemy missing.
Gua bikin Athena nggak, Cuk? Ya.
Enggak. Yang satu lagi. Yang tank.
Apa?
Dominan.
Dominan ya. Athena nggak buat, Cuk. Itu sakit, Cuk.
Hah? Iya, lu bikin Athena, nggak apa-apa. Tapi
Itu
dominan dulu.
Dominan dulu ya.
Dominan dulu lah. Tuh ada Angela, ada ini. Aduh.
Oh, ya rame, Cuk.
Aduh. Stiker dia, Cok. Goblok.
Balik ah. Akhir tuh. Setan lah.
Ya, Bel.
Kenapa dia pada ke sana, Bel?
Bel.
Satu hit tuh, Cuk. Wah, rata 3. Hebat.
Aduh, kok hit yang di heal, yang di
suplet.
ulti, Cok.
Dah. Rata. Lapu-lapu makan, Cuk.
Well done.
Ayo, Cuk, kita bareng aja, Cuk. Kok kayak aneh banget main Nuasem.
Loh.
Lalu.
Tuh, mati semua udah. Main apa, Cok?
has slain the turtle.
Ah, nonton Dota ya, Cok.
Oh, nih kena lagi gua nih. Nah kan?
Apa sih ini ada anggelanya ya?
Iya.
Ayolah, sakit itu, Cok. Asem sakit banget ya. Sakit banget, Cok. Ayo Kong, bareng Kong, kita bareng aja Kong, culik-culik Kong. Ah, jelas anjir, udah. Enggak usah anggap yang lain dah. Bella juga enggak usah dianggap, Cok. Bella juga enggak usah dianggap.
Nggak ada komunikasi sama Bel.
Iya, Cok, disuruh Discord susah banget, Asem.
Sabar, gua clear dulu.
Alah. Maaf, hack tuh.
Aduh, kena. Aduh, kena lagi.
Awas, Cok, Kong.
Bro,
Kena
sakit, Cok.
mulu, Pasan.
Udah gua balik dulu.
Gak jelas, Cok.
Nightfall, yet love stays still.
Bella mau ngapain nih, lihat nih.
Bella
18
geng.
anjir gak jelas.
Sabar, belum.
Ada Bella nih.
Balik dulu yuk.
Aduh,
Aduh,
apaan
ini
lagi? Flame shot.
Kena ente. Baik lagi gua, Cok.
Do not go gentle into that good night.
Request backup. Launch attack.
A pattern of blood.
Enemy killing spree.
Ayolah, Leslie apaan sih?
Well played.
Lonely
Turret has
Rame banget, Cok. Aduh, sakitnya ya Allah.
initiate retreat. Rampage.
Mas gue di ulti, Cok.
Turret has been
Ya, hypernya lagi tol.
killing.
Aduh, apaan sih, Cok? Dah, Suran, Cok. Ah, nggak jelas anjir.
Soren yuk.
Bella nggak mau Discord, Cok. Susah banget, Cok. Dibilangin, Cok.
Our turret is under attack.
Soren.
insatiable.
Soren.
Has been slain.
Nggak jelas anjir.
Our turret has
Apaan
been
nih, Cok? 112, Cok.
Soren, Cok.
04 anjir.
Our turret has been destroyed.
Ya.
Under attack.
Ini Leslie di bawah mati juga liatin dah. Ayo, Kong, backup, Kong, Leslie-nya, Kong. Kong, Leslie-nya, Kong.
Nah,
Aduh,
udah
itu, Cok.
telat. Di atas nih, di atas.
Initiate retreat.
Bella nih.
Slain the turtle.
Bel, kok nggak dilawan? Ya elah, gua bantuin.
Kan dibilangin kan harus
Tinggal,
komunikasi,
Cok.
Cok. Susah, Cok. Kalau nggak
Nggak
komunikasi, Cok.
ditinggal, Cok. Anjay.
Alamak.
Padahal udah gua setun, udah gua ulti.
Ini gak ada yang jadi loh tim kita, sumpah. Beda jauh loh, Cok. Golnya ada 22 banding 13 sama apaan.
Under attack.
Nggak bisa deh.
Kalau gitu gue yang farming, Cok.
Whoever wrote my life is alone to be
Initiate retreat.
No one is more sincere than Cecilia.
On my way.
Mati lagi Leslie, liatin.
Attack. Our turret is
Sakit,
under
anjir.
attack.
Aduh, sakitnya, Cok. Karena gue baik dulu.
May the world be embraced with blood.
Our inhibitor turret is under
Ya
attack.
Allah.
No one is more
Our
sincere.
turret is under attack.
Sabar dulu kayak mainnya. Udah 115 masih aja.
Our turret has been destroyed.
Terlalu gampang bagi musuhnya nih, Cok. Main apa ini, Cok?
Kenapa ini, Cok?
Our inhibitor turret is under
Ya,
attack.
Soren.
Our inhibitor
Tar dulu,
turret
tar
is
dulu.
under attack.
Tar dulu. Belum, Cok. Sabar dulu.
Our turret is under attack.
Udah mau ngarepin siapa, Cok? Gua
Biarpun
nggak bisa
menjengkelkan,
apa-apain ini.
sabar dulu aja, gak apa-apa. Sabar dulu aja. Biarpun menjengkelkan, Cok.
Our inhibitor turret is under attack.
Udah hyper
Defend dulu, defend dulu.
Low. Udah mau ngapain aja tuh, deh.
Udah nggak jelas ya apa. Tapi nggak apa lah, main-main aja lah.
Grants us courage.
Our turret has been destroyed. The enemy has slain the turret.
Tuh kan pulang.
World be embraced.
Baru gue pakai kamera.
Our inhibitor turret
Ayo cok, ayo cok, defend nih. Bela nih.
Our inhibitor turret is under attack.
Sakit anjir.
Our inhibitor turret is under attack. Our turret has been destroyed. Rampage.
Ini main apa cok?
Our base is under attack.
Gak tau, gue masuk ya lah. Gak peduli lagi.
Gua dapet sodong. Oke, weh. Gua dapet sodong. Sore, gua dapet sodong.
Kan Bella gak mau Discord cok, gak jelas lemparannya cok. Tapi udah malam, dia gak bisa Discord jam segini udah. Gak bisa dulu, gak bisa ngelawan Bella deh cok. Jangan macem-macem ya.
Gua nonton.
Nah, nonton bayar lagi, nonton dah. Dah sekali ya main kalah, nonton lagi. Udah mulai gue?
Udah draft pick.
Oh, draft pick. Lag banget sih, bisa buka emulator sih. Baru gua pakai Carmilla sekali udah digituin asal, maaf banget. Udah lama nggak pakai Carmilla digituin lagi, ah tai. Pindah lagi kamera gua dong. Oh, sini aja. Bocor asam. Nggak suka Karina Mas Dapa. Oke. Nonton Dota lagi ya, nonton Dota dulu ya. Kita edit lagi ininya, judul gamenya jangan Mobile Legends lagi ntar. Kasihan ntar. Halo Farel. Oke teman-teman, kembali lagi di babak kedua dari Final TI 10. Biarpun kalian nggak nonton Dota, nggak ngerti Dota, harus ngerti. Pertandingan BO5 atau Book of 5, Best of 5 ya, kok Best of 5 antara tim Spirit melawan PSG LGD. Babak pertama sudah dimenangkan oleh tim Spirit. Itu Miposka pakai apa ya? Ben ya? IO lagi, Gung. Ada IO lagi.
Iya, langganan pick tuh, first pick
Iya.
deh.
Oh, udah tethernya masa nggak mati-mati ya? Mantap ya kayak update-nya ya. Itu ada Dark Willow, Magnus, Luna, Pak, dan Ben. Yang atas ada Iyo, Lesak, Checker, Mepling, dan Natus Prophet. Gue yang tahu hero Winter Wyvern nggak ada di sini. Apa nggak di pick? Ini yang tengah banteng ini ya, Checker. Kebo.
Nggak ada rolling di sini, Cok.
Hah?
Nggak ada tank di sini.
Banteng apa kebo yuk, Checker?
Oh. Checker apa ya?
Checker banteng apa kebo?
Kalau banteng mah itu. Yang satu lagi, breaker.
Oh iya ya.
Kan?
Ya. Ini kan ini Spirit Breaker.
Thank you so much. Banteng.
Tahu gua Spirit Breaker tuh ini, Cuk.
Kebo.
Kebo ya. Oke teman-teman, langsung aja kita tonton ya, nggak usah komentator aku ya. Gua pingin sih GoPay lu, tapi gua nggak ngerti. Gampang, tinggal GoPay. Gimana cara soalnya? Tinggal isi GoPay. Habis itu klik link yang ada di deskripsi. Udah. Itu doang caranya. Ntar suara sawernya mengingatkan kalian untuk menjaga protokol kesehatan ya adik-adik ya. Karena suara batuk.
Just playing Dota, just having fun with each other. Yeah.
Ada yang beli sepatu kan?
Ya awal-awal mana ada beli sepatu dong.
It's crazy, but we'll see if it ends up
Ya kayak Angga cuma pagi-pagi beli sepatu habis.
Wah, itu emang anak kampret belum main loh, Dota belum dibuat, Dota 2 belum lahir juga beli sepatu deh.
We'll see where that nature's prophet ends up at and how much pressure they can put on. Very annoying hero to deal with in the early goings.
Atau Prophet.
Yeah, very much a discussion of time.
Ya, itemnya item dasar mulai lah. Item dasar. Nah, ini bisa sepatu. Si Kebo. Si
Gila, pro player ada yang beli sepatu loh.
Tapi dia nge-gank kan, dia attacker kan. Kalau Angga kan non-ganking, Jo.
Hah?
Kalau dia kan roaming dia. Kalau Angga kan no roaming dia. Sepatu no roaming
I think
dia.
they completely saw that puck pick coming. I think they banned around the fact that like, yeah, that's gonna be left in. We're okay with that. It's a go-to hero versus the Morphling. I wouldn't say they're really surprised. Tokyo obviously an amazing player, but you know the puck's not exactly one of the ones that's been, you know, popping off the rampages here for Team Spirit. True enough. Those spirits tend to scale just like a little bit more, and you kind of lack that a bit on the puck. It'll be something to watch for though if he can make those good rotations. As obviously the Nature's Prophet on Faith Beyond can also move into multiple different lanes, so we'll keep our eyes on it. And like you said, I think both brats have like, a very clear identity behind them, right? You got this madness that's going to start off fights occasionally after the puck comes in. You've got the Morph Shaker as a potential danger later on.
Ada kurirnya nih, Jo. Ada
ada kurir ya.
COD nih, COD.
Same timing we've seen.
Ada ininya ya, ada.
Yeah, it certainly seemed like GTX were very much ready for that, right? The
GT.
they're just like, yeah. We saw that earlier. We know you want the more from the Willow.
Gimana cara matiin chatnya nih, Gong? Ganggu banget, Cok. Orang jagoan asem semua ngechat.
Ya itu di itunya itu, kita di tempat kamera itu, chat yang di bawah tuh ada tulisan spektator tuh, jangan dicentang.
Di bawah kamera.
Yang milih kamera tuh loh.
Oh iya, Asem. Yang ngechat udah kayak orang jagonya, Cok.
Yeah, it's frustrating for the Bane too, because like you're so used to being able to dominate a lot of situations as Bane, while Moposhka now actually trapped in by a Fisher with the
Kok
trick.
ngata-ngatain tim yang udah final loh.
Gila, tim yang masuk TI lah, enggak.
Dia aja main masih pakai billing paket malam masem paling.
Paket hemat cuy, happy hour.
Oh, he's not careful. Alright, good choice, Q. Good choice.
Nah, mati itu digebukin tadi.
But yeah, I mean, Bane, obviously you're used to
duel para support coy, lihat coy.
and having answers to like someone trying to
Satu
pull your
bentalan.
but with the Nightmare and the Train Speed, there's actually some counterplay
Satu
here.
Duel para
lagi.
support, colek-colekan doang, nggak ada skillnya.
Kupu malam.
Allows him to play that much more freely, but you can see that Luna already off to a hot start.
Satunya kayak ML belum diupdate ya.
Why?
Sakit
Take
itu.
one little punch there from the Dark Willow and
Kayak ML belum diupdate.
on the other side, but not within that tower range. So
Dikebu.
we'll be able to get away with some extra damage. Tango, as well as the Coiling Blade through, and he's fine.
That's a nice Fisher though. That's a pretty good chunk of damage on him there, just the harass. Only has a single Tango left. No salves currently on Moposhka, so you know that courier, you know, makes the call, brings him up, and it's gonna be running with a salve in that top lane now.
Sabar, kecil lagi kamera gua. Sabar atur kamera dulu. Biar nggak nutupin tontonannya, Sem.
Nyari duit aja itu susahnya minta ampun kali.
Sniped
Yeah.
by Zinq.
Last hitsnya tuh harus
Hopefully you're not losing it to
lembutan.
a shaker. Yeah.
Di sini bisa denied, bisa last hit.
But this bottom lane, lots of
Iya,
harassment spam here
bisa
from
ngeblok
Merek
lagi.
class as
Nyari
well.
duitnya susah.
But, it's a Morphling.
Tuh,
It's an
harus
IO.
di-skill,
Morphling
Cok,
in itself
minionnya.
a very frustrating hero to lane versus due to the regen mechanics, the ability to morph strength and agi, but comboed up with an IO.
Oke Mas Dapa.
It's pretty rough trying to get a kill, but you know, players, they tend to go for some of these
banyak
overextensions,
tuh.
so maybe he'll get a bit greedy there.
Right, and even
minionnya banyak
just
tuh,
the
kan.
pressuring and forcing him to switch over attribute
Oh, tuh
shift,
stoknya
it
banyak
makes it a
tuh.
little bit harder for the morph to last
Iya,
hit. So it's not all bad.
Sampai
As
nanti.
Zinq is gonna make that big move
Iya.
over underneath the ward.
Oh iya.
Steal away some kills. How many does he get?
Oh, tapi dapetnya pak,
Not
dapet
a
pak.
ton, but nothing to say. Able to sneak a few as well.
Alright, interesting stuff there. It does sacrifice the top water room potential there. Oh, I say that actually. Moposhka
Moves in.
Wah, mati nggak nih?
Tokyo. Gonna be able to pick
Mati,
up this
mati
water
lah.
rune and maybe get some extra
Mati.
pressure onto Zinq.
Mati
Jumps
lah.
forward.
gila.
There's the first blood. Toronto Tokyo draws it.
Kok sakit banget itu.
well done by Moposhka.
Alis.
Not even just, he
Alis.
basically baited out that rune, right? Let's think you coming a little bit too close. Get the first blood for Team Spirit, and they're off to a hot start in game 2 after already surprising pretty much everyone.
Main lead
by going up
semua
one
ya?
game. I mean, I agree. I thought their draft was better last game, but you know, we just keep
Yeah.
wondering like how long will the magic last at this
Main
team?
lead semua ya. Morphling
It
Luna.
does seem like just an
Luna,
unbelievably
Luna,
improbable
Luna.
run. To think that this team came all the way through in the qualifiers. We're down 2-1
Ayo
in
tolong
that series against
tim Spirit
Empire.
atau
Now,
PSG tolong jangan
one
dibikin
game
sejam gamenya
against
yuk.
the, you know, odds-on favorites.
Oh, by
Let's
a-
collapse,
by a
skewer,
margin.
Kok bisa gitu?
They do some good damage.
Gimana
to
modelnya?
Ame, but he will not be
Mati
under
nggak?
too much pressure of losing his life.
Enggak sih.
He's gonna get
Enggak.
Masih ada STR nya.
Dia ada skill itu kok.
See it from
See,
the morph?
that's a morph
Yeah,
player.
that's it.
That's what that is right there. And you know, nothing to say. Maybe not a Pango player. I have some theories, guys. I mean, that was his, as far as I could find. Mind you, I looked pretty quickly. That was his second professional.
Sama
Pango
gua
match.
pemain Dota 1.
Now, they played a lot of Pango when he wasn't available to play for PSG LGD.
Gila,
And,
kenceng
Coach
banget.
Chauade or Chaba
Iya, healnya
stepping
ketemu
in,
lagi.
playing a masterful Pango. You know, he did
Right.
really well.
Iya,
We've had this
digedein
discussion
dulu,
of
Agi,
like, how he
digedein
sort
dulu,
of
Agi.
controls the macro game to help these players so they can think more about their own heroes and their own items.
Susah
And
mati
they have a
Morphling.
clear identity of like what I'm supposed to do in this game, but if you're not
Kelemahannya
experienced
cuma
on the chip,
Silent sama
it really
Stun
doesn't work
gitu
so well.
aja.
Iya,
Silent
silent.
sih, Silent sih
Silent,
lebih parah.
iya.
Much better hero for nothing to say.
Very
Kalau Stun
comfortable.
masih bisa.
Tapi kalau
ini.
silent dia masuknya ke yang merah, Juk,
And
sama
so
aja.
far, he's doing
Iya, maksudnya
fairly well.
kan dia
Early,
kalau responnya
first
cepet
blood
ya
on
sama
Toronto
aja.
Tokyo, given that puck advantage as another stack up on those
Kalau
camps.
kalau slow hand kayak
Now,
AMT
trying to scout for
pasti
these
mati.
runes.
Lo
Poshka just within vision there. And
Top 1 invoker
He
nih.
has a lot of mana there.
Lah.
And Toronto Tokyo gets the haste down bottom. A little bit of luck and a little bit of good rotation.
Gila, penuh.
Helping out
Stucknya.
Team Spirit.
Yeah, even threatening to have the TP in there, Mposh will be all right, and actually just finally catch a sentry though.
Nggak diambil aja. Takut kali.
Enggak lah, tak berasa apa lah dia.
We heard a lot of discussion actually last game from Insania.
Pakai langsung skill 1 deh loncat.
Iya, mati lah dia.
Especially for a puck, a hero that's really capable of trying to abuse that.
Pikirannya jauh.
Di atas war. Enggak, cuman colek-colek nakal aja ya.
Not gonna secure another
Pakai
kill.
pagi nggak ada war nih.
Ada masih 6 menit.
Ada
tadi udah 1-0.
Nggak tapi kan war kecil-kecilan.
Ya,
Ya masing-masing lane.
Arisan.
Colek-colek kayak
So
supportnya.
did sentry on the pillar, was kind of checking around, finding some wards, and then putting orbs down by the ancients. And there is a
Padahal
sentry
nyolek
down,
kayak
so
gitu tuh nggak ada tujuannya aja,
pretty
nyolek aja
painful.
pokoknya.
What's kelihatan kok.
Kok bisa kelihatan?
Padahal di luar ya.
Iya.
Kelihatan. Kira-kira siapa yang menang nih kan?
Kalau prediksi gua ya.
Hah?
Prediksi gua nih.
They're ganking that tower. It's not moving. They don't have to worry about Luna. She's kind of fast, you know. She's got some night vision. Maxed out Luna.
Kalau dari hero ya.
But a tower, it
Kalau
doesn't move.
menurutku ya.
True enough.
Kalau dari ini apa sih? Kebo ya?
Can
Ini
she just
kebo.
throw the tower somewhere? It's a foul.
Kalau dari hero
The dream.
Okay, that went down really fast.
Yeah,
menang
this is
tim
a problem
spirit ya itu.
potentially. The early group up right there. In the
Kalau
Tapi
gua-
enggak, tapi di
really
kiri ada
good.
lesrak juga tuh dia. Dia punya
Heads
lesrak
back into the
juga.
jungle to farm up his medium camp.
Kalau gua lebih ke LGG.
He actually got
Iya,
spotted.
dia
there.
punya
He
dia
set
punya
the
satu
vision for
prophet
a
juga
moment.
ya.
And a correctly drawn line here
Itunya
from
sih yang
Lupa, I believe it's
mantap.
its current path.
Sebenarnya lot more pring gitu.
But they did get down that ward.
Iya,
We'll
mau
see if
plingnya
that one
sakit
gets
sih kalau
taken
ini.
away
Ya
by
Luna juga
LGD.
sakit cuy, mau apa sih? Kalau Luna jadi.
Tapi dia yang kayak instant kill tuh dia bikin nggak gitu aneh?
Connecting
Kira-kira?
on to Ame, but I don't know if this is
Aduh,
gonna
mati nih.
translate
Enggak bisa mati. Dibilang hero susah mati.
Wah,
Enggak
gila
bisa
ada heal
mati.
cowok.
Enggak bisa mati
Io
nih.
as well, and that's gonna be more than enough.
Oh, hero
Ame
susah
backs
mati
away
tuh.
perfectly fine.
Ada iyo.
Dia tetap nyala merahnya
Can I
tuh.
get something done here?
Yang
No,
itu
there
cowok Eternal Blade tuh.
Eternal Blade.
Iya kan kombonya itu kan.
Who's
Kalau
well known
bikin
for
itu
being such
bisa
a roamer, but on
mampus
this
kali ya.
Io having to play a little bit closer to his ally.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a change up in styles. That we
Dipasangin
saw a
guard
bunch
sih.
of that rotation going on in the last game from him.
Aduh mati.
As
Nggak dilihat.
Ya. Ya dua.
Ada dua.
Kill.
Yeah, for being a 5 player, he actually gets often categorized by like
Yeah,
some of the
balik lagi.
information scrapers in Dota as a roaming hero. We've been told by some of our stats.
Segitu
because
gocekannya.
he spent so
Tapi
much time
barangnya
doing
bisa
the
udah
lanes.
diantar kan tadi.
Udah ya tadi udah.
Punya more pling kan ya.
Off with each other.
Yang more playing. Tapi yang ini tadi mau nganterin nggak jadi. Habis itu balik lagi deh.
More plingnya masih berani radu loh, Cuk. 2 lawan 1, Cuk. Ayo lo.
I don't know if
Masih
they're
ada
really
ini
gonna be able
STR
to do
dia.
all that much to stop him.
Iya.
Very
Dia bisa
interesting,
mati.
but Fissure,
Ada war.
follow up, look
Jam.
at the
Batu
fake
war
people
mati
as
Luna.
well, and this is going to be a kill.
Waduh, hypernya mati tuh.
Stalking the Radiant carry, you know, they gotta get this
Carry-nya
kill, right?
mati
They
susah.
gotta get something
Ya, ini
here,
mati sih.
Fissure. Maposhka's waiting on
Tiga
the
ini, Cok.
side. Nightmare
Sedot.
down a couple punches, but
Enggak, Cuk, susah gue, enggak bisa gue susah sem.
Nightmare
Aduh kena dua-duanya.
Aduh kena itu.
for the moment.
Tapi ada tuh ada seker.
Mati.
Dia yang mati. Wow.
Collapse.
Woi.
Satu hit, enggak 2 hit lah. Wow, datangnya salah.
That was the trusty shovel keeping him alive.
Yeah,
Ini
heading
kalau
down to the south.
pro-nya emang gocek-goceknya juga nggak jelas.
Iya, gocek-goceknya enggak karuan. Wait. Ah, lolos.
Gonna be
Oke.
on the mark. He gets out.
Trusty shovel indeed.
Hampir kena itu tuh
Nothing
spirit-spiritan.
to say,
Aku
zoning
udahan
and
karena mau main
Jojo
aplikasi
came in
penghasil
moving
uang.
legions,
Mantap,
but the pressure
Farel.
will stay in the bottom lane.
Salam
Nice how
kaya.
quickly that top tower went down. No point slowing down here for
Ora
PSG.
umum.
It's interesting though, right? 'Cause
Mantap,
you can
mantap,
see that this
Farel,
is a
lanjutkan,
dynamic that
Farel.
we've seen multiple times throughout this
Keras,
tournament.
keras.
You have Team Spirit with a little bit of a lead, even though it's LGD that are taking down more of the towers. Just that stacking up, farming mentality.
Flicker.
we've seen
Oh, nggak ada
from Spirit
flicker.
right here.
And look at the treants put out here. They're
Mau
watching
main
us around
cepet
Tokyo,
antara
right?
main
Yeah.
cepet atau
Because they
main
know
lama
that
ini.
everything's on this dream
Ini ya.
That's by
LGD
far the
nih.
easiest way for them to initiate. So you just fan out your units like
Jadi
that.
kalau sampai
Early
tim
on.
Spirit menang lagi enak ada tinggal sekali lagi win dah.
That puck.
Dan
They're gonna find the dream coil towards the
Waduh,
middle
mati
lane,
dong.
trying to take down this ledge. Do they
Ya
get
ampun,
enough?
gila.
Yes. Toronto Tokyo picks up that kill. And with that, a 3,000
ini kalau tim Spirit menang lagi, udah tinggal sekali win lagi dia habis
Theme,
kan.
I feel like in these two games
Iya.
from
Habis
PSG
game.
LGD. Ame did a similar thing last game on the Ursa where he kind of stayed in an area which seems
Lu
like
masa ya
surely,
di-
you know, like you're in trouble, you know.
Dikalahin
Right? He ended up
3-0,
dying on the Ursa in the
LGG
top
loh.
lane, and this time, you know,
Ludanya nggak ngambil ulti, Cok. Farming tok.
Farming dulu dia. Kalau gua jadi Luna juga ngambil ulti dulu, Gung. Level 6 Gung buat apa, Cuk?
And now even Collapse running
Siapa tahu yang tadi
behind
geng
the
gitu
tower,
loh,
checking for Curry
lumayan.
and
Enggak
down
ada.
here.
Juga kalau di game juga ngeluarin ulti juga buat apa tuh?
like take the kill and then just give you the tower.
Ini
They're able to
bantu-bantu
defend after as well.
damage.
Right?
Kayak tadi di geng tuh pantas dia nggak ngapa-ngapain.
Era. They're gonna have to get
Udah
on
bener
the
dia itu.
brambles.
Nggak jadi, nggak
But
jadi.
calls it off afterwards, and again, nothing.
Gak bisa kalau Morphling agak susah
Down
gue.
this tier 1 tower with Zincu and
Nggak kayak Morphling agak susah deh gue matinya, gue keras ya
And
Morphling.
it's so interesting to me, right?
Enggak, di
Because you
posternya
think
ada
about
lesak
traditionally
sama
what people
ini.
think of these styles of
Natur.
play. Team Spirit
Punya poster
definitely
dia.
going the more farming route in
Iya.
this one. We saw that.
Oh iya
Natur,
lesak,
natur,
natur keras, natur bisa pindah-pindah lagi jengkelin itu
compared to the
jengkelin.
69 of Ahmed.
Oh, yeah, they're
Mati
actually
tuh kan,
they don't
mati.
have anything in time to catch, but that also comes back to just the idea of punishing that.
Oke, bakal
right?
di-game.
You
Oh, pindahnya ke bawah, coba bukan ke base tuh, gila ya. Gila,
Emang out of the box yuk.
But as you said, the timings like
Parah,
PSGLGD,
Cok,
why I said
mainannya.
before, like we love picking for scale. We like to be very balanced. We're comfortable going late because we think we make better decisions at that point in the game. And even though this is a pretty fast lineup for PSGLGD, it does have some late game tools, right? The Morph Shaker, of course, if you get to that, can really go against anything at this point.
It is a little bit terrifying. You're not wrong.
Ini di ulti Zeus mati nggak Cok segitu Cok? 500 darahnya.
Maybe disassemble that
Mati ya.
later and
We see
build into the axe if you want.
Yeah, we see that a lot versus
Mati
the
lah.
blue because it makes like a really nice
Kaget
little
tuh orang
matchup.
yang
ulti Zeus kan?
Zone that you're trying
Nggak
to
tahu
play
mati
ya.
of and Kiter
Di
just a
Zeus
little
berapa
bit gives you
damage-nya?
attack ability versus all this magic damage there
Nggak tahu, gue
too.
lupa dah.
Really
Nggak
balanced
hafal
item to start
damage.
out with.
Kayaknya mati dah, atau bisa
Team
dikit ya.
Spirit nursing that 2K gold lead as on the other side, LGD trying to keep the pressure onto these buildings. Up top, nothing to say is there. The 4 points in Eden
Ya.
forces out the glyph.
Wow, that was a pretty easy glyph to get, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Didn't have to commit that hard at all. I mean, Collapse had already TP'd up there too, so I can imagine they'd like to go for another one soon. And as we approach,
Sementara
sort of
Nightbotnya
past the
dipegang
laning
sama
stage, we start thinking,
Luna.
you know, how's the Roche look in this game?
Iya.
They could take it relatively early, right? You
Luna
get an early
sama
DD
Exhaust
with this
mid laner
lineup,
nih.
Nature's Prophet and Morphling. They might opt for it.
Look at this movement in before.
Waduh, gila.
Mengebruk gitu.
Oh, nggak ada ulti Cok. Wah, ada Iyo Cok balik.
Mati, mati.
As they run him
Ulti
down.
kemana saja Cok. Ulti Doraemon.
Toronto
Datang
Tokyo's
tiba-tiba
all
aja.
night, but they're too tanky. I mean, you see these stacked up
Ulti
heroes.
kemana
maybe
saja
you're,
Cok.
you know, sort of thinking about going
Jadi rame.
into Dream Coil, but it's a bit too much. They're just so tanky.
Wah,
right
mati
now.
dah ini.
And
Nggak ada
instead
mana.
they try and find a pick off here.
Ada.
Say, the
Ada
rest
dari
of
itu,
the
second.
a little ways
Ayo.
away. Zincu making the move over.
Reveal.
Ya,
Mati,
ada ini juga.
mati.
Ini backup-annya cepet-cepet semua Cok.
Iya, oh datang lalu Io-nya. Pintu kemana saja.
Iya, pada datang-datang semua itu loh. Cepet banget datangnya. Ada Natur.
With the
Bisa pergi
wand,
kemana
with
saja
the
juga.
IO, this early hood into the Eternal Shroud as well. They're gonna have some issues bringing down this last track without the Luna being there.
Yeah, I mean, you just get blown up like that. I mean, obviously a great nightmare
Halo,
dodge
Jiko.
with the stun that came in, but in the end, you need to get that BKB online, as we've seen time and again, and Yadro trying to get towards it now. As LGD starting to cut a little bit into this lead here. Also getting a little bit of free time right now for Ame to farm up.
And I think Toronto Tokyo is starting to just think about like his role in this game, what he can do. You know, Puck obviously pretty versatile in terms of builds.
Freezer mati sini.
Really aim on
Paknya
this
sudah
here.
jadi pas banget tuh paknya.
To get out of this one, even go for the
Aduh, nggak ada yang tahu Cok.
Iya.
best play to even preempt that by blinking somewhere else in the TP.
Tahu,
Could have
tahu.
set something up there. They also have the Orchid ready on this push here, so with the relocate in 5 seconds, everyone can be top lane right now for PSG LGD. For Team Spirit, they don't see very much. I mean, they're rotating a lot of heroes to that bottom lane. I think they just have to go for the counter push.
Yeah, there's no other play really, and they have a glyph still on LGD as well.
They need this blink Iron collapse before they can defend.
It's gonna be too much too quickly otherwise, and you can see getting
Kalau
very
merem
close.
ngerasa lagi
Collapse
nonton
just gonna
bola.
fuck up the rest of these camps here. Well, bottom, Team Spirit trying to pressure that in.
Toronto Tokyo, he's got the veil. He's got the blink.
He's
How
thinking.
bold is he?
Dude,
Nah,
this
balas
guy's crazy.
pus-pusan
You see
juga
this
nih.
guy?
Ini buset putusnya keras-keras aja, push-push aja.
That's all he's going for.
Iya, push dibalas. Aduh, ketahuan. Silent Cok.
Mati, mati, mati.
Yeah, he's really greedy.
Pushnya loh, Cuk.
Push dibalas push. Ini mau gimana lagi?
Tapi
Cok?
pushnya LGD lebih keras, Cuk, lebih cepet.
Iya, cuman tim Spiritnya nggak ada ini tukang
Protection
puster
though,
dia.
so
Cuma
this is
Luna
gonna
doang,
stay
Luna
alive
doang.
a little bit longer, forcing LGD in this area for a bit. But
Buset,
eventually
pukul
it
loh.
will fall.
Banteng.
And already 50 on back to that bottom lane to just push that back
Oh,
out
itu dia
too.
bisa
So
ngedev.
very well
Langsung
orchestrated
loncat
there
dia.
from PSG LGD. But the courier, it holds the key.
AsRock, little courier, delivering a blink dagger to
Bersihin
collapse.
krip
So,
cepet
a
ya.
few more things queued up there you guys might have seen already in this tournament. The shard.
Oh mungkin itu strateginya kali ya, push keras kali ya.
Dia push keras mungkin, nanti more play urusan belakangan dah, itu pakai jaga-jaga mungkin ya kalau misalkan hiternya udah itu dah hiternya ya.
Iya.
Jadi main late main cepet oke gitu loh maksudnya.
Iya. Hypernya tetap jadi.
Sana juga tetap berpikiran sama kayaknya, tapi nggak pushnya kurang cepet sana.
Enggak coba pusat.
Nah, dia main lama dia tim sendiri saya.
Dia main team fight gitu.
True enough.
Kunal ya
Especially
kan.
when you crush your opponent so hard and then finally being challenged now by Team Spirit.
They're up one game again. Cinderella story that hasn't died yet. And seeing if it can continue on here in this game number 2. The BKB is done. Taking a look at a few of these other items around the map. Collapse has that blink done. Zinq getting closer to his, has it.
Biarin aja orang dia yang mau lihat.
Iya dia yang komentar, dia yang mau
That's
lihat.
good fighting. It feels so good because, like, obviously as the offlaner, you got to get these like earlier items, get bracer, got a mech, and then you get your blink tag. When you're playing as a support, you just got that one thing you're striving for, and it's kind of unfortunate when they match up like that because, like, now it feels like your offlaner can actually play, but Zinq, like, this is an excellent counter initiation to have right now with the way that
Lusen beamnya
they're
juga dicepetin
like,
juga.
he can just lurk for so long. He can just wait on the side.
Lusen beamnya
And what kind of
dia
vision is
naikin
gonna catch him,
skill
right?
cooldown Lusen beam.
Maybe an orb.
Pas
Maybe you
satu.
can take a fight
Iya
at
biar
night
cepet
like this and
tuntang
have the
tuntang
advantageous
tuh.
vision.
Apaan nih?
Wah putih kan. Bum.
Miss Cok, nggak ada kena apa-apa tuh.
Nggak ada
Zinq saving the
seperti.
day even under that ward.
I mean, they have relocate, they have Fisher.
Yeah, they were super ready.
That is a tough one, but at least the relocate gets burnt, right?
Yeah.
So that is
Langsung
something for
rosan
them
di 11
immediately
menit
into
ya,
the
nggak pakai
roast.
lama aja.
And LGD gonna make a bit of a sneaky play here.
Mereka rosan cepet Cok, dadat habis.
Where's your DD, guys?
They're gonna have to push. I mean,
Oh.
this is down to about half HP now.
Cepet rosannya Rung.
It's really well covered by the vision of LGD as well, but they're gonna smoke up now.
Nah,
Can they get
disamperin.
there in time?
Taburan kah? Telat.
Selesai Cok.
Gonna try and take him down first.
Pasti dong, belum ulti.
Dapat enggak Aegisnya telat. Aegisnya dia mau ngambil Aegis telat, enggak bisa.
No
Tapi
leaving it in the pit
korban
this time
satu.
for any other teams.
Iya.
No.
Kebu mah enggak ngaruh, hitung aja enggak korban yuk.
At the very least, you do get yourselves a kill from that, but surely still happy, you know, Zinq.
Wih, gila.
Sometimes you
Gitu
trade
ya.
a Roche for a
Kita
kill.
ini udah mewah banget ya.
Team just needs to go and kind of feed to block out the
Bagi
Belum,
mereka itu
belum.
biasa ya.
That was just a small feed to help
Biasa
things
itu.
out here. So
Pencatan biasa itu.
another game where like the kills have also stayed pretty low.
True.
From game 1 and game 2. Feels like teams are being very picky about their engagements.
So much on the line. It's incredibly tense for these teams. And I'm again, you start to wonder how much the pressure is going to be affecting these plays. We'll have to keep our eyes out for it for sure. But
Lunanya kaya
just
banget,
another 4 minutes with this. And I believe
17.000.
this is going to be the Manta coming out pretty
Oh
soon
sekarang
from as well.
tim
Can start to play with a
LGD
little
yang
bit more
memimpin
freedom
ini.
here potentially.
And currently they already have amazing vision in the top lane. You can see this
Hyper
ward
masih
just been
ketinggalan.
staying on the high
Kalah
ground here.
farming ya.
About a quarter of
Kalah,
his duration
kalah.
left.
Tapi beda
Nothing to
dikit
say,
doang
just
sih,
confident
beda
to be up
3.000
there.
deh.
They already control the outpost since they
beda
took that tier
2.0
2 so
2000, 2300.
Team Spirit again just forced to try and hold on and try and build everything up in the
Ini yang farmingnya cepet AsRock, Asem cepet banget tuh.
Does of course have this buffed up carry mentality that we've been working towards in this main bracket event. For
Lunanya udah
every
jadi
team, you're gonna have the
gituan.
empowered Luna, but you know it's not the wolf bite, it's not the tiny.
Lihat itemnya Ben yuk, udah gitu
Heavy
sampai
lifting
nanti
here.
sampai bosok.
Potentially, they have a nightmare and then the walk away. They actually
bikin
relocated
itu
into this one.
Bikin apa nih?
Relocated.
Ini ya.
Nature's Probing, you know, it's very scary.
Bikin
You don't have a
satanik
really
kali.
quick burst.
Satanik
You don't
mungkin
really want to
lah.
take it right now for Team Spirit, but they forced out some rotations.
Apa
They
bikin-
gotta try and hold
ada
this
bikin
tower,
apa
I think.
Dominator
It
kah,
wasn't
kamu
worth it.
No IO save
Dominator
this time though.
udah
That's
kayak
the
dulu.
danger of the
Nggak
relocate.
jelas
They'll say
Dominator sekarang.
outside of vision. They don't see him now. They
Mati.
do. Gonna be get that steward.
Berapa tuh?
Ditelan semua ultinya Cok.
Nothing to say goes down. Now looking for more. Ame has to be
Lihat
careful.
itu.
Nggak kena ulti. Oh, silent loh, mati.
Farm through it. Brilliant.
Wah, ada ituan.
Afterwards.
Awan di
Mati kan nih, Res? Mati kan nih?
Mati udah tuh, mati.
Enggak
Woi,
mati, mau pergi
masih ada, masih ada.
Fate Beyond jumps away.
Waduh,
Oh belum.
Wah, nih.
Oh mati salah dia Cok, dia pas hijau Cok.
Did it to him again.
Mati, Cok. Enggak, udah merah habis deh.
Ah nih, masih hidup dia.
Merahnya habis, merahnya udah habis.
There's nothing else left in the tank there for Ame, although trying to team
Nggak bisa.
Nggak bisa mati. Waduh, dia tunggu lunanya Cok.
Triple kill for Yatoro.
Gila, tim spiritnya, Cok.
And why will manage to
Gitu
escape
mainannya.
from that one, but a
Lunanya
huge
nggak
win
kesenggol
for Spirit
sedikit
here
pun,
in
Cok.
game number 2.
That is massive. Oh, what an amazing
Critical.
defense. Collapse does it twice in
Ini,
the fight with the skewers
Smite of
catching them.
Madness.
Saling
You know, you talk about this idea with
Udah
like
BKB,
the Aegis and,
Madness.
what do you supposed to do with this age? Are we supposed to push towers? Is that the goal right now? So, you know, should it be on the Morphling?
Bikin apa dia mau bikin ini Cok? Bikin apa namanya yang SS tuh? ASUS tadi.
You're sort of hanging nothing to say out to dry. Like he gets one skewer and there was
Bikin
no
study
chance to
dia
save
nih.
him.
Yeah, I mean, again, part of that is also
Si
the
Luna
decision to stick
bikin
around
study
after
sama
relocate was used, because that's
yang
probably
critical
part of
itu
their
apa
idea
namanya?
behind it.
Yeah,
Beda lu.
I mean, that's your easiest long range save, right?
Unreal.
Apa yang bikin skadi Cok?
5 to 6.
Woi,
Team
biar
Spirit playing
mantep
just
Cok, slow.
Enggak, itu itemnya nggak ada
Nambah
nunjuk
armor.
skadi. Itu itemnya nggak ada nunjuk. Oh, dia skadi ya di item kanannya ya.
Iya, mau bikin
Gua nggak
ya.
ada item kanan.
It's
Gua
fine,
nggak ada
it's
item
fine.
kanan.
Group out. We're gonna smoke. We've got our other tools back. Let's go dunk
Itu
on some
mantep,
people.
Ben. Mau bikin apa cek dah?
Thank you so often has been
Nggak
the answer.
nggak tahu biar males
Playmaker for this
Sepatu teli.
LGD lineup.
Bikin apa deh?
Whether it's the
Sepatu teli.
Snapfire or the Surf Shaker,
Sepatu
whatever it is that
teli.
he's playing, he's making the big moves.
Tapi makin cepet gankingnya mereka, Cok. Backupnya gankingnya makin cepet.
21 minutes in now, and
Gak mau kalah dia
continues
sama
to farm.
LGD. Backupannya.
This is the thing that's really scary, right? Like, how many times have we
Tadi
seen
dulu
these
dia
Lunas just get
bikin,
completely
baru
out of
pada
control
lalu.
and then just walk high ground with an Aegis?
Luna gini
And
ya
it
udah
also
sakit.
feels like they have some
BKB
of
lagi
those
udah.
tools with the blinks online to
Udah backupnya
actually
aman deh,
win
tinggal
those
hit
Aegis
itu
fights
doang.
as
Iya.
well.
Yeah, sometimes they
Tak
don't need
tersenggol
that.
deh.
It just takes one sort of mounting up there and it's over.
Coba siapa mau nyenggol dia susah
Part of
tuh.
the reason why they
Ada
can
Dark
be able to
Willow,
take
ada
their
siapa namanya?
patience, you know, that's not something that's
Magic
very well
semua udah nggak bisa deh
Magnus, ada Magnus.
Scary
Tuh.
invis.
kecuali si itu aja
And then the
si
smoke up afterwards. Team
Tapi
Spirit
namanya
looking on the hunt.
Silver playnya,
But
tapi kan
LGD
susah nge-hit, Cok.
sensing danger
Biar
coming their
pendek
way
dia.
will retreat out. Just
Is he
great
gonna
presence
horn
of
toss him
mind.
again?
15.000 udah tuh
Don't tell me he's gonna
network.
horn toss him.
What?
Oh my
Mati.
god.
Waduh, tuh kena Cok, emang
Gila,
diincer ya
cepet
Cok.
banget.
Aduh.
Find the pickoff.
Jadi sundul gitu loh, pakai agak nimsak tuh.
Dia ditel dibawa ke belakang langsung sundul. Sundul bawa ke belakang.
Real.
Gila.
Oh, they're so
Tunggu,
good at just finding that
gangga.
one kill and like waiting for this timing too.
Itu siapa?
Oh, they caught him on the
Yo.
Kok bisa gitu? Gila, kena bayangannya doang sakit ya.
Some trouble, Skewer, a little bit off the mark,
Mati.
but the
Ah, mati.
Rebels are there for round 2 of it. Team Spirit, they came to play
Tangguh
on
tuh,
the
finish
stage.
Sisa tembakannya sakit tuh.
Down Secret now looking to go up 2-0 in the series against LGD.
Dari komposisi kan kayak bilang kan tadi apa? LGD aku bilang tim Spirit.
Getting something back, right?
Tapi kalau dari
Post-get,
main
but
cepet
man,
LGD kalau mau main cepet
losing
mah.
the Roche into just like taking over the map right now.
Tapi belum berakhir nih Gong, belum berakhir.
Belum, sabar.
Baru
Tuh.
2-3 masih belum.
Tower udah
Well, Vashka looks like
menang
he's
deh.
having fun.
Towernya kan
For someone
menang
who's
deh.
playing
Iya, Tower udah
that's as
menang.
much fun as your face gets, I think. You know?
Yang atas hancur.
They're on
Tapi
top of it,
tengahnya
killing it. And we'll see now if LGD can
Tengahnya-
pull this back. I mean,
tengahnya mereka
again,
juga hancur,
we've
tengahnya
talked so
LGD.
much about the effect
Iya,
that
dia
Proc
menang
has
satu
in this
tower.
lineup. In a lot of ways built to try and just win the Aegis. Not a whole lot else is going to be acceptable for them and the sort of standards that they set for themselves.
Gila, duitnya udah sulit, Cok.
I love
Sama
how you
towernya
use
nih,
it
Gong.
essentially put outside the base too, because I had the same thought.
Enggak, yang bawah 2 dia towernya
How
kan.
does Magnus do that? You know, and just
Masa
nothing.
dua?
They're just collapses just too.
Yang
He
LGG
just
bawahnya
feels
2.
it, he just goes.
Enggak, udah satu tuh, bawahnya 2.
Iya.
They're all over
Oh, yang
the place.
tengahnya habis ya? Oh
Tengahnya
iya.
Because they
habis.
also have the gem, I
Keren
believe.
gua
still,
masih
yeah,
sisa
on
satu,
Toronto,
Cok.
Tokyo. So they know that they're in trouble when it comes to the vision game, and so you get into this place where you're just kind
Nah,
of
udah main
spamming them
push-push aja
everywhere.
terus, tinggal sama Warco.
You know, you heard our lovely draft panel as well as Insania talking about like the sustain and everything, and Insania pointed out just like how much more valuable that healing is on the earlier end, right? You know,
Yes.
About,
Sedikit lagi lu
trying to get
nanya.
as many of these like these mechs and these holy lockets as early as you can in the game, and when you have to spend on sentries, that can be a bit tough. But at the same time, you have a shaker on your team, so you're making a sacrifice in terms of the goal to ensure that blink dagger is going to be there. Unfortunately, they haven't really gotten much out of the shaker. Couple nice saves, but Zinku's still waiting for his big moment.
Spirit juara
And it's
sejarah.
tough, right? Because
Wah,
you have to
jarang.
sort of go in and make that chaos happen first with the rest of the heroes on LGD and specifically
Langsung
Nonton
transfer pemainnya besok-besok mahal-mahal
to try
mainnya.
and stay alive in Eternal Shroud, going for the halberd,
Ya kan?
now into the plate mail. And
Udah
it
masuk
has just
transfer.
not been able to be enough to
Bursa
keep them
transfer
alive
udah kayak main
against the
bola
big
aja.
plays from Collapse. And
Itu
they're key in
sama
this game
sport
too.
juga dia.
And now,
Iya mahal Juk.
it's nighttime once
Udah
again.
pemain
So
tim
what do we
Spirit
do with
mahal ya.
Smoke? You got night vision, right? You have the advantage there. They're gonna have to rely on the trans from Fate Beyond if they want to get some of these plays out. That is the vision that they have at night. But the edge certainly belongs to Team Spirit.
Absolutely. As they move up onto the high
Oh,
ground,
back
Zincu
again.
feels like he's safe, but they drop on the wall right away. Zincu manages to get out of there, has that shard to create that separation. But again, a ward dewarded and taken away vision from LGD.
They're just gonna do the sweeping motion here, right? They actually scanned ahead to see if he could blink in there. He's checking the high ground. Yeah, Collapse wants this so bad.
He's ready. He feels the moment, dude. He is so on top of it. Waiting for the vision.
Nothing to say is going so far back. He's like, no.
He knows. Fool me. Oh my god, that was close. Fissure afterwards. They're sensing it. They back out of there in time.
He is feeling it today.
Came close there.
I mean, that's what's so cool about the spell, though, is that you can just fish.
Yeah.
You know? Sometimes you're not going to catch anything. Sometimes you get yourselves the big old whale.
You know what's also so interesting about this? Like, those 2 outposts are still held by LGD. They're LGD and Team Spirit, it doesn't look like they're not interested in trying to take back. They're just looking for those kills.
And unfortunately for them, it's going to be a very long Roche spawn, because that's kind of what they're playing for right now for Team Spirit, right? It's just like, we don't want to rush anything.
Bedanya gede ya? Talent nih, apa ini?
Luna. And we want the Roche for that. So they're going to be trying to control around the pit. Someone's going to sit in there. They're going to wait. They're going to be very disappointed for 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
There you go.
And that's just time for PSG.
Nggak ada yang ketemu.
Here's the question. Shiba's coming out relatively soon for nothing to say.
Oh, dia gak ada yang shot.
Semoga nggak ada yang ketemu loh. Satu di sana, satu di bawah.
Say, how good is the next game? Is it? And it's like, oh, all right, we picked Morph Shaker, so we do have that going.
That's going to be the big window that they're looking for. Only 2 points in Enchant Totem right now.
Dapat itu yang gede kan?
But can still be devastating with all the
Pohon yang
lockdown
gede
that you
dia.
get.
Oh ya, ada itu ya, anaknya.
Interesting things that we're going to
Iya,
have to
anaknya
watch
gede
during
dia
that,
kalau
though,
pakai
will be
shot.
the fact that it's the Aeon Disc on a puck, right? So you're looking to catch and chain, even just try and like
Gak berani banget sendiri, Cok.
as well as
Masuk
actually
rumah orang.
on Toronto Tokyo,
Ngecek
just trying to
doang,
like
demi
keep
ngecek
chaining
ya.
him. He's not going to beat KB.
Inilah.
And then after that, we also know that Collapse, he really
Ketemu
likes
dong
some
nih.
kind of cheeky items.
Toronto,
Like
Tokyo,
BKB.
ketemu.
See the blaze?
Mati dong.
There's the Aeon Disc out. Toronto, Tokyo, not concerned. Just blinks away after the Aeon Disc.
Gocek ya.
And also getting that D-ward again.
So the question will be, when they come high ground, you know, will you
Ini
find
kalau
this big
pos-posan
Morph
menang mana,
Shaker
Cok?
player? Are you going to catch these heroes without the immunity that they need to survive?
Ya.
Is obviously a
Tapi
pretty
kan pasti ada defense lah, nggak mungkin adu-adu push doang, Cuk.
Jadi misalnya adu-adu push-pushan gitu, cepetan mana ya?
Gak tau nih, Luna juga cepet juga kena ada tuh.
Iya, Luna cepet tuh.
Luna cepet banget tuh. Sakit aja dia kan udah kan. Jadi.
That's the kind of punish that you need. I mean, they
Mantul-mantul. Gila, di push terus, Cok.
They are moving around.
Nggak pandang, Cok. Nggak pandang kiri kanan, Cok. Tabrak.
Pushing on a wave. Nothing to say.
Oke, diam aja.
That's why they were able to control the outposts for so much longer than you might expect, considering the situation that Team
Pohonnya bisa
Spirit is
di-stack nggak, Cok?
But the punishes are
Pohon
free,
apa?
and so they will go back once more
Anak-anaknya
for
itu
a
bisa di-stack
disappointing
nggak?
look inside the Roche pit,
Takut
and
dulu
then
nggak bisa lah,
wait
emang
another 30
masem.
seconds, and then they'll go back and do it again.
Enggak, maksud gua habis ngeluarin anak, habis itu keluarin lagi bisa nggak?
Nggak bisa,
Tapi
hilang kan.
hilang gitu ya? Hilang ya?
Hilang kayak.
Why first?
Oh,
Just these slow movements
random
in.
bisa.
Ready to tether back off Century. He's gonna catch both.
They have vision right
Bisa
away.
kayaknya kan?
Collapse. Oh, he doesn't go for it.
We've seen them
Lord.
going to these trees so many times.
Collapse.
Tawuran antar warga nih, Cuk.
He's thinking about it.
Tawuran nih,
Zenq's
tawuran
back
nih.
there.
Tawuran antar desa nih, lihat.
Yeah, they're waiting on
Tawuran
it.
nih. Udah mulai scan tawuran
Fabian in the
tadi.
meantime farming on the
Itu
other
banyak tuh
side.
anaknya, bisa di-stack kok.
Masa bisa ya?
They
Bisa ya?
scan that pit there.
Lupa gue juga
Kalau nggak
masalah.
It's in the tree
kalau nggak
itself.
mati,
So
bisa aja.
PSG LGD, they're in the know. They've got the Morphling. Waiting
Emangnya
in.
ini bayangannya
And a team that really wants the
si
rush.
Naga Siren.
They have a plan.
This could be LGD's comeback here.
Nah, itu juga nggak bisa di-stack tuh yang
Can
itu
they
tuh.
make it happen though?
And how long
Dari
can
ituan tuh.
like
Apa namanya
control
tadi
and
kan?
force the focus
Bisa
of teams
bayangkan.
going to be here, and what are you gaining on the rest of the map? I mean, again, they're fanning out a bit here, and you have the global
Yeah.
teleportation up in 10 seconds for Faith Beyond.
Ya.
You have
Apa?
Ame just farming the dire
Nama
ancients
item
right
yang
now.
bikin
So
bayangan tuh apa namanya?
Are they gonna
Itu yang
give
dipakai
up
smart
their-
fish.
Mantap,
I mean, they know
mantap.
they're in there right now.
Oh iya, mantap
I
saya.
highly doubt they just give this up for free.
Wah,
I don't know.
Reloading, Cuk. Reloading, Cuk.
Solo lob.
Yang lainnya jaga, Cuk. Lihat tuh.
Starting to move into position. They're gonna lay down these.
Yang lainnya jaga kiri kanan depan belakang dijaga. Ini bodo amat, Cuk. Ngebus doang deh, Cuk.
Are they really gonna give up push for this?
Nggak usah, biarin aja, push.
Tapi ini kalau dia udah dapat ini, Cuk. Udah susah aja melawan dia. Kalau nggak bener bukanya susah. Dia udah megang Aegis nih, udah jelas Aegis ini.
Udah dapet dari dalus dia.
Alright, well.
PKB-nya dilepas, Cok.
LGD give that one a
Berarti dia siap mati nih.
Ya udah kan punya Aegis, Cuk.
As Mira
Iya,
is
siap
gonna push
mati.
out this lane up top.
Abis
Fabian
mati
very
baru langsung
close.
dipasang Aegis ininya.
They're gonna
Iya.
do their
Gila,
right
hapus
because
mulu,
this
Cok.
is one thing that's definitely beneficial for LGD is their split push potential.
Disiram langsung hilang.
Faith Beyond, BKB with that Orchid. Zenq shows up. Gadoro up on the high ground.
ini
Nothing to
baru
say there
war.
as well. They have great vision. On
Tawuran
team
antar
Oh,
warga nih.
pakai kok PKB.
in the lane.
Mampus lu.
Wah, kena Iyunya. War.
Can they go for
Oh, Lunanya. Wah, Lunanya. Set langsung semua skill ditujukan kepada Luna.
Luna just walks away.
Oh, lifestyle-nya yang dihilangin,
Yet
lifestyle.
again.
Oh, ini ya. Topeng-topeng.
I
Madness.
don't know if this thing about like, is there a
Madness.
buyback play there? Because that's a pretty
Right.
bold sentry to place down.
Iya, buat apa, Cuk? Dia Madness, Cuk, kalau war.
On just like that,
Nanti kalau
teams
kalau ada
are
Aegis, ya
close
Aegis
in
dipakai
hand.
utama lah.
Faith
Nah,
Healer
paling
doesn't
dibikin
remember play
ini,
there, but
apa namanya yang lifestyle kenceng
himself
tuh?
has the boots to
Dominat.
travel to
They,
join
they
the
had
rest
the
of the
vision,
team.
right? They had the ward near the base. They actually
Yang paling
saw
kenceng
Alpha was
tuh
moving over
satanik,
here.
satanik.
Oh man,
Healnya
this would be
kenceng.
such a huge pickup if
Kaki
they
dia
did.
kenceng.
Spider legs walking in.
Wow, kena tuh.
Waduh.
Morplingnya kena lagi, saudara-saudara.
Team spirit
Hypernya
everywhere they go.
culik,
People
Cok.
Diincer terus, Cuk.
It's the ward game.
Morplingnya
you know?
nggak dikasih
This
diem.
just
Ini
spots heading over
ngepus
there.
mulu
That
asam.
ward near the base. Lets them know.
Oh, dia ada
Takes
ward
it
di situ,
down.
Gong. Wardnya di
Kita di
situ.
mana-mana, Cok.
Will they leave is the real question.
What
There
the-
is a
di-
glyph available for the Radiant.
True enough. They walk up high ground.
Wardnya
and
ditaruh situ, Cuk.
Wah,
Wah, di
when it
TB-in
start being
asem.
away,
Udah nggak ada anu,
laying
Cuk.
claim to this area. In the meantime, Faith
Nggak
Healer's gonna
peduli
try
dia.
and push
Luna
Mati,
tidak
mati,
peduli.
mati, mati,
Oh,
mati, mati.
sodok mati.
them back in.
Disodoin dong, mati dia.
Yang paling ngeri sih Magnus sih, Cok.
Magnusnya serem banget, Cuk.
Iya, Cok. Sekali nyulik itu loh, pasti
At
dapet
the
ya.
very least on the side of Spirit, but
Tunjukkan.
Always on point, Cuk, nyuliknya.
Apalagi nggak ada yang backup lagi.
maybe
Nggak ada yang
Faith
backup
Healer is
ya.
actually starting to take this one. Now the jump in.
Wah, jebol, Cuk.
Itu
Atas, Cuk.
BKB,
Gila.
itu BKB, itu BKB.
Has an orchid available, but the turn on
Masuk,
pulang
buat gitu doang dia.
to interrupt, and that will be enough to get him out.
That was really well. The BKB
Ngepus doang dia, Cuk.
Gila.
Asem.
finds in there with the Orchids.
Push
So,
garis
Jangan
keras.
balik.
he will at least take a tier 3, so that's something. But of course, there's still lots of time. You know, 2.5 minutes for
Apa
Luna to just run
itemnya
down the base. She's
Morphling
pretty
apa
fast.
You're not
Oh,
wrong about
mantap,
that one.
Aganim udah jadi.
And
Ini
can
mau
start
OTW
pressuring
ini
down these
dia
other
nih.
towers. There's no more glyph either.
Aganim.
Team Spirit want to make another
Aganim
run
udah
at
jadi,
this
dia
with
sekarang
Aegis
mau
so
OTW
far
ini dia.
ahead already.
Efeknya apa Aganim, Cok?
10k gold. It does not look particularly
Aganim
close.
itu
Yeah, the boots are
ultimate-nya,
probably from
Cuk.
Toronto, Tokyo, so he's just
Jadi apaan?
push out this bottom
Oh,
lane.
bisa
He's
giniin
there to
temen ya?
flash too, trying to match some of this global
Iya,
capability
lo targeting
that's
allied
there
heroes.
from PSG LGD, but
Oh iya, jadi
they're
teman.
still waiting
Jadi
for
siapa ya
that
kira-kira?
shiny
Jadi
moment.
Shaker kayaknya.
Morph Shaker. They are in
Bisa.
this game, believe it or not.
Biar
haven't had
apa namanya, biar
an opening
pulangnya yang
Satanic
mantep
now.
tuh ya.
Atau mau
di-
jadi Natur Prophet biar ngepus bersama-sama.
Couriers just flying in everywhere,
Eh
dropping
bener, iya bener.
new items, the
Iya,
team
Cek.
spirit.
I mean, Yaro's almost 10k
Bisa
gold
jadi, Cok.
up on the
Bisa
next
jadi.
Dia jadi Natur Prophet,
LGD just
habis
don't
jadi
have
Natur
an answer
Prophet
for
kan
this Luna,
terbang ke depan
particularly
bareng-bareng,
with Aegis.
ambil pohon bareng-bareng.
It looks
Dia berubah
so
lagi jadi
hard for him.
Morphling.
This is the path to victory for Spirit to go up 2-0
Baik
over
sekali,
LGD.
Cuk.
They gotta guard this
Gila,
wave that's with
combo
them, though.
kepikiran dia loh.
Faith Beyond has caught the next one. They're scanning that he's
Ya,
actually
ente
still
yang masih main
there, so
Dota,
he's
aku
going
udah nggak
to
lama
back
nggak main
to
Dota,
Toronto,
Cuk.
Tokyo. He's gonna try and hunt down
Morphling,
Faith
morphling,
Beyond.
morphling. Aduh, tawan.
Aduh, ketahuan. Nah, Anda akan mati sekarang. Oh, siapa yang menang? Siapa yang menang? Datang. Wih, lagi-lagi, Cuk. Lagi-lagi Magnus.
Mata tatang loh.
Negara mana yang main? Nggak tahu nih. Negara mana tim
Force
Spirit?
it here. I mean, it's
Tim
gonna be
Spirit
one
kayak
of the leads, right? It's kind of
Iya,
Ukraina
iya.
banyak kan
Sometimes
pemain.
nature's problem. I
Ukraina.
don't think they can punish
Ukraina
this.
ya?
Simply by the
Ukraina
speed at which Drake walks.
pemainnya ya tadi.
Pemainnya campur-campur man, bukan negara mana man. Ini tim man.
LGD, but
Satu tim ada orang Ukraina, ada Ukraina, ada Rusia, ada mana-mana.
Scotty and the Morphling versus this Luna.
Kalau LGG udah pasti ya.
It's looks
Asia.
so one-sided.
Iya, kalau LGD Asia udah pasti.
Cina.
Chinese ya, ya.
Like, and there's still gonna
Kalau
be
nggak
that
Cina
window
sama apa
when
gitu
they
pokoknya
have the,
Cina,
you know,
Taiwan
Ag
pokoknya
Shaker
daerah
and can go in all at once together. It's just
Pokoknya
they're
itu
waiting
dah
Asia dia.
regional Cina.
ya Cina
Still
kok.
have to be
Regional
careful
Cina
of that
dia.
one
Kan
on Team
beda.
Spirit.
Iya, kan
With
beda
this
mas
Aegis,
ya.
you would have to imagine it would come soon.
Jangan salah, Cina tuh gigi Cuk, timnya Cuk.
All collapse, you know, I
Iya,
think he
ini
wants his perfect
buktinya,
game
Cok.
here.
Iya, buktinya ini
Only one who
final.
hasn't died so far on Team Spirit.
Absolutely carrying out of that off lane.
No kills too. So giving, you know, such a
Di atas
charitable
itu ya.
offlaner.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Gila,
Absolutely.
mantau nih sekali splicker langsung culik.
So
Iya,
that
angkat
Aether lens for the
cangkol
extra
dorong.
range.
Indonesia
So
masuk nggak
much
boom
range
boom
on
nggak mana
absolutely
masih
everything
dia
in
ya?
this game for him.
Nggak, kemarin ada yang Indonesia pemain nih 2 orang.
They're gonna get
Ada,
set up
masuk di mana
again.
dia?
Morphling sending
Masuk
in the courier. This one
T1,
might get
T1.
scouted
Oh
here.
iya T1. Ada ini kan In Your Dream kan?
With the lucid
Bukan.
beam.
Yeah, using
Siapa?
the lucid beam and
Well
the
Shaper
played.
Dulu In
sama
Your Dream
White
tuh
One.
Was
Boom
that
ya.
the Scotty?
Siapa Bang?
Ini tuh enggak, Shaper.
Oh, Saver sama
Cypher sama Boom, sama White Mon.
White Mon gua nggak tahu, udah Cypher tahu gua.
They just enemy creep waves.
Itu dah, dua-duanya
At that
main
level
GTX.
right now,
Okay.
creeps are the
Tapi udah
true enemy.
gugur
So that's why
kemarin.
Faith Beyond, he's not up top where the heroes are. He's down bottom where the creeps are.
Ada yang dari Indonesia sempat ada.
Pushing them out. Keep them away from your base.
Kalau tim Indonesia nggak ada, Cok.
Oh, tim Indonesia nggak ada pemain Indonesia yang masuk ke kancah internasional ada.
A bad position, and you know, in the last couple of minutes, they caught up and done some
Baru pertama kali deh
Look at this more. He did
pemain Indonesia.
Will it be enough, though?
Oh, jadi ceker kan tuh. Tuh. Itu sakit cuy yang muter-muter yang itu tuh jedem-jedem nih.
Possibly get around
Nah, kalau udah kepepet mau nge-push jadi itu jadi.
Tuh, jam baru hit tuh langsung hilang.
Iya kalau farming juga. Nah, kalau udah mulai kepepet mau nge-push jadi itu udah atur
this
propet.
single like ball rolling around together and they're not panicking. 'Cause a lot of
Bisa kan,
times it
Pak?
gets to this point
Enggak
where,
menutup
like,
kemungkinan, yuk. Ayo lo.
Bisa, betul deh tuh minion itu.
Satu kali jadi minion ada berapa biji tuh? Coba kali 2. Aduh.
With relocate, you know.
Iya, tapi pembersihinnya gampang.
They will kill you if you try and go it on your own.
Dota kan masuk di esport Asian Game. Aku nggak tahu sih. Masuk Asian Game nggak Dota?
Without that Aegis,
Masuk ya?
still going to
Sama
walk up and
Mobile
do this
Legends.
a couple of times.
Mobile Legends juga ya.
3,200 HP on Yaro as well as the butterfly done.
Nggak tahu sih, aku kurang mengikuti soalnya.
LG you don't know about.
Collapse.
They have collapse.
So often he's been the one to make those big
Lihat
plays.
pernah nge-push aja pang kalau satu kali pukul udah segitu loh.
Sampai ke belakang, sampai ke belakang masalahnya. Nih, muter-muter
Ini.
muter.
Nah, sampai belakang kena. Iya.
But likewise,
Itu mau adu pos itu, Cok, beneran, Cok. Adu pos.
Iya, adu pos tuh dia.
To the shaker.
Balik semua, balik semua.
caught with the fear in the horn.
Mampus.
Wah, emang
Nothing to say.
Jauh banget gila.
ada Etherlands ya?
To get to him.
Magnusnya Etherlands yuk. Oh iya kan? Etherlands kan?
Ngaruh ya?
Ngaruh lah. Panjang cok.
Iya, jauh banget.
Nggak apa biasanya aja. Wow.
PSG kalau war kalah deh.
Ada kalau war kalah.
Iya, Cok, PSG kalau war kalah deh.
Very heads up there from Toronto Tokyo, just not letting just
Book of
get away with
best of
the
5, best of 5. BO5.
Oh, ini cuma habis, Cok.
We're gonna take
Gila cok.
Gila lewat ini
Menyebalkan tuh orang
setting.
tuh.
Di setting untuk
They're keeping these lanes
ternyata.
pushed out.
Kan
And
untuk
this is
war,
the one
Cok.
thing. We've seen a couple
Emang untuk
of
kadang
Iya,
genting
iya.
dia. Iya.
Waduh, meledak,
Habisnya
Cok,
cepet.
habis.
Habisinnya cepet.
Habis.
Habisinnya cepet dia.
Luna Agadim Sapnya apaan kan? Efeknya kan? Coba baca kan?
Siapa?
spirit.
Luna.
With this global potential that they have on LGD.
Yang bawah nih Lucien Beam dia.
Apa itu?
the
Efeknya?
last outer tower.
Allow Lucien Beam to be ground targeted with a 325 target set radius. Jaraknya 325. Also release attack random target within 500
Starting
range.
to sense Roche.
Oh, jadi
Of Lucien
gini,
Beam
jadi area gitu.
reduce mana pas by 50.
Jadi area ada mereka gitu.
It could be the
Iya.
window to close this game out
Tuh,
for
iya
Team
benar-benar.
Spirit.
Jadi area ada mereka, Cok.
Jadi GG lah yuk.
Gila,
Nah, Aganim
Cok.
busuk emang yuk.
Either.
Busuk.
Itu pak dua-duanya pakai Agadim tuh apaan tuh kan? Efeknya kan?
It's interesting.
Dulu pas tahu kok Agalim itu cuma beberapa hero ya, sekarang semua ada.
Iya,
Is
sekarang
this
semua ada.
finally the fight that they feel
Pak,
comfortable with?
efeknya apaan kan?
They've been
Dua-duanya
sitting
tuh.
on this ag shaker
Fuck
for so long. Or Morphling rather with the shaker. BKB now done to boot.
Yeah, that's a good point though. Maybe they get Zinq and eggs here. That would be kind of nice.
Dream Coil sama
You can see Team Spirit
Riftnya
not
sama
comfortable
Warning
just hitting
Riftnya.
away in the Roche pit.
Apaan?
Nothing to say
Kenapa tuh?
walks in.
Kalau Dream Coilnya increase damage lah.
Nothing to say they
Oh.
jump in. There's the
Ayo taruh dulu cok.
Jadi menang, Cok.
back immediately.
War, Cok.
Wants to fight. Just
Lunanya
Oh,
mati.
tapi enggak masih dapat satu. Itu mati loh cok.
Lunanya
Lesnaka
mati,
satu, Ben
lunanya
satu.
mati.
Oh, dua mati.
Bebek.
Oke
Oh,
mati.
oke.
Mati. Core-nya mati.
Gak ada buyback.
Gak ada buyback core-nya. Iyo buyback.
Nggak pulang.
Nggak bisa. Waduh, terbuang secara sia-sia untuk menyelamatkan dirinya sendiri.
Nggak ada rasa, Cok, damage-nya, Cok.
Nggak ada rasa karena sedikit dong. Oh, mati juga. Oh, belum.
Oh, buyback semua.
Oh, dilempar Fear.
Aduh,
Lesnaknya akan
lunanya
meninggal?
keluar, Cok.
Tidak ternyata teman-teman. Oke, dan akhirnya tumbang juga. Arcekernya buyback lagi dilakukan. Malah gue yang komentator.
Wah, ini
Oh,
wah, buyback
mati,
lagi.
Nature Prophet mati. Dan mati juga Lesnaknya sepertinya mati. Lesnaknya akan mati.
Waduh,
Lesnaknya akan mati.
buyback.
Lesak
Wah,
mati
buyback
lagi-lagi.
semua,
Magnus
buyback
membahayakan
semua.
teman-teman. Magnus merusak
Mati semua.
Magnus merusak dunia. Wow, masih baik udah kalah ini.
Wah, udah
Kalah,
habis.
mati total, rata. Jiji. Ya, jiji. Udah gak masuk akal loh, cuk.
Gila, Cuk, gak jelas, Cuk, men.
Habis ini gue Ben Magnus, cuk.
Gas.
Gas, Mobile Legend.
Ah,
It's not just the fact that they won 2 games.
Habis ini Ben Magnus dia. Kalau aku jadi dia Ben Magnus aku. Mengganggu banget, cuk, Magnus, cuk.
gila itu.
Wah, rusak banget. Merusak dunia Magnusnya, menghancurkan dunia.
Emang, Cuk.
Wah, tinggal itu kalau one game lagi menang udah kelar
Wah,
berarti ayah. Udah win. GG dah. Feelingku kok menang ya tim Spiritnya.
Cuk, sejarah.
Dari cara mainnya lu, Cuk, mantap banget, Cuk.
Iya, rapi dia mainnya, Cuk.
Rapi banget, Asam. Lunanya nggak kesenggol loh.
Iya, lo parah. Nggak mati-mati dari tadi. War.
Iya, nggak kesentuh, Asam. Oh, gila sih.
SGLGG lo digituin, Cok. Dikasih bagus.
PSG LGG.
Kasih bagus, Cok.
Aduh. Aduh. Bilangin lagi kalau udah mulai, Gong.
Ayo, gas dulu.
Ya nih gua lagi login, Cok.
Gua udah in-game.
Ya lu enak di HP gua, bukanya komputer silang lagi. Buka Steam lagi. Oh, lama banget sih loadingnya nih. Rustaknya anjir. Nyangkut ya. Dia tadi nggak kelar-kelar, Rosan. Jangan maju. Alright, 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 alright. Ayo, Bung.
Empat. Siapa lagi? Ada lagi nggak?
Hah?
Gan?
Apa?
Gan?
Apa?
Ada lagi nggak?
Nggak tahu siapa mau lagi. Abdullah.
Oh, ada lagi. Akhirnya mobil legend, coy.
Ngestak anjir mobil legend gua.
Hah?
Ngestak, nggak bisa dipencet. Oh, udah baru bisa.
Biasa buka itu chat kan?
Iya, kenapa tuh?
Dia buka chat gitu, emang kayak stuck gitu lama banget, nggak jelas.
Nonton.
Please ban.
Langsung suruh nge-ban Laila gua aja bodo amat tuh. Ban apa, Gung?
Sober aja, sober.
Opeus, sober.
Sober.
The enemy is banning.
I might not be a lighted man, but I do know my traits.
Your team is banning.
My magic flows as freely as the winds.
Do you want to make friends?
The enemy is
You
banning.
want to make friends with Nana?
A punch for
Oh,
Your team is picking.
Oh yeah.
woohoo! Set me on
The
fire!
enemy is picking.
When the body suffers, the spirit blooms.
Welcome to the greatest magic show of all
Please
time.
pick a hero.
itu apa kan?
Bebas ini. Ini enggak?
Ya udah sana.
Oh, apa ya?
Oh ini.
Oh ini ya.
Ya,
You should
pas,
be
yuk gas. Ntar lo ulti, gua ulti kena dua-dua.
Oh iya kan ulti gua bergabung bersama cuy.
Iya.
Ini bisa sih nggak usah ulti juga bisa combo sih kita. Aku ada skill 2 kayak ada skill stun.
Enggak, maksudnya kalau kayak kena ulti, gua stun, gua ulti kan kena dua-duanya tuh.
Bung, kalau stun ini kan misalnya belum ada ulti, kalau stun duluan Jong ya.
Ya kayak kan lainnya kencang, Cok.
Enggak kalau dari sembunyi, kalau dari posisi sembunyi. Oh iya sih gua duluan enggak apa?
Kalau ngejar ente duluan, kalau
Ya,
musuhnya datang
kalau
gua
dia
dulu.
datang ya. Sesuaikan aja sesuai dengan harapan ente semua dengan harapan negara ini.
Anjay.
Indonesia Raya, Ju.
Kayak item yang keras-keras kan, bikin ini kan, bikin apa namanya tadi itu? Bikin dominan pertama ya.
Dominan dulu, sepatu dulu lah, Cok.
Ya sepatu habis itu dominan.
Sepatu ngilang enggak? Sepatu ngilang apa sepatu merah?
Sepatu ngilang lah.
Ngilang aja ya.
Hilang.
Geng-geng on the water gitu ya.
Biar semakin geng on the water.
The enemy is picking.
Gimana jadi ini nggak? Apa namanya gitar hero? Ayo gua kesana deh.
Kan kita hero kan ini. Oh, kita hero-nya ini aja ya? apa sih nama game yang kayak Guitar Hero tuh, Cok? Ada, Cok, gamenya gue Guitar Hero dia, tapi lagunya bisa download, Cok.
Masa?
Iya, ada.
Tapi kan mainnya nggak pakai stick Guitar Hero gitu maksudnya.
Bisa pakai stick kayaknya, nggak tahu dah. Nggak tahu lagi ya.
Guitar Hero, Cok. Tapi yang jadul tuh loh, yang Smoke on the Water.
Enggak, ini lagunya bisa lagu Indonesia, bisa download.
Ya, tapi bukan Guitar Hero, nggak kayak PS gitu loh.
Kayak PS.
Masa?
Iya.
Gimana caranya?
Ada nama game, gue coba cari. Ada kok nama gamenya, ada. Lupa gue nama game.
Ada. Oke.
Emblemnya tank, nggak usah lah, sport lah.
Oh, super, Cok. Tinggal kocak.
Biar cooldownnya cepet.
Cooldown apaan?
Stun mother father, ulti mother father.
Itu nggak nambah cooldown, Cok. Cooldown spell itu mah.
Ini cooldown bacaannya kok. Apaan sih?
Tapi efeknya gue bilang, Cok.
Udah nurut aja, Cok.
Ya udah.
Kalau dari kemarin main pakai gini.
Oh, gila cepet banget, udah mau masuk arena lagi kan? Nggak apa-apa ya?
Oh, nggak apa-apa.
Belum nge-ban lu. Nge-bannya udah 2 jam. Nge-picknya 1 jam deh.
Waktu tambahan tuh dipakai semua.
Pokoknya sampai habis, jangan sampai sisa. Pakai berpikir, Cok. Kalau sampai 5 game gimana nih kan? Mantep ya?
Mantep lah.
Seru ya.
Langsung uninstall Dota gitu. Gua ngambil tun ya, aku nggak ngambil tun ya. Aku udah ngambil stun.
Iya. Itu hyper. Sabar. Ya elah lu keluar kocak.
Rusuhin lah.
Sabar, Cok. Rusuhin gimana? Udah berdua tuh.
Ya kita berdua yo.
Ini ada Harley nih, cepet nih.
Ya kacangin aja tuh. Punya level dulu deh. Level 2 kita keliling dunia, Cok.
Otomatis.
Ada.
Ini. Ayo loncatin ya langsung.
Sabar.
Kan kenceng, Cok.
Sabar. Ayo.
Ya udah.
Nah tuh. Ya, stun apaan, Cok? Ih.
Dari tadi kek loncat.
Itu dah lompat matamu, kowe, Cok.
Seru.
Ah, enggak ada jalan-jalan, lu yang nyasar, coba udah nyasar kena creep kok. Mana dia?
Wah, dia mati. Udah kan.
Gua juga ayo. Wah.
Udah kan? Dibilang udah.
Kok dia ngomong gituan kayak gua nggak bisa kemarin gituan.
Enggak, dia bisa live steal soalnya.
Ya enggak apa-apa. Kan gua bisa menyerang Tator. Kok malah dia yang mati ya?
Deh. Panjangin aja lah.
Ayo, sabar. Sabar, Gung. Kok lu nongol sih, Gung? Ya kocik.
Nggak kena, goblok.
Lu kapan sih pernah kena, Cok? Nggak jelas, Cok.
Ulti gua itu udah kena, Cok, skill gua.
Ini lodo. Apa nih?
Satu ya.
Toto.
Mati kan tuh.
Sakit tuh, Gatot makan no. Kobaran api udah.
Wah, sampah. Lu nyangkut.
Enggak ada yang kena.
Nyangkut.
Langsung mati dia. Mana dia? Oh, sini, Cok.
Pas, Cok, ini masih ada ini mati.
Salah skill. Wih, siapa tuh?
Awas, banyak belakang banyak. Ini banyak. Awas.
Kata keras, Cok.
Aduh,
ada Gatot.
mati dong.
Ada Gatotos.
Balik.
Oh, ngebut banget, Cok. Aku TW.
Tahu.
Sabar. Saya akan datang. Aku akan datang. Mana Harley? Siapa nih?
Salman is online. Trap. Masa nggak mati itu? Gue mati sih kalau lu stun ya.
Sabar.
Dari sini.
Sini dulu. Pura-pura ke atas, iya. Saya nggak kesini dia.
Nggak ada, Cok.
Ada Alpha Sigma.
Nggak, dia pulang dia.
Udah bersihin dah.
Nggak ada lah.
Bani mau nggak?
Makanya ayo atas.
Bersama kita membangun negeri dan menghancurkan
Langsung
Red
latih
of
skill, Cok.
Dawn. Hah?
Dari jauh kan bisa. Dari jauh kan kayak kenceng
Apa
larinya.
nih ini, Cok?
Jadi stunnya tambah lama, Cok. Aduh.
Ya, tapasnya tadi kejauhan, Cok, dan enggak kelihatan. Darah nih, kelomang.
Enggak, gua enggak.
Ya, mati mulu, Cok.
Aduh, bawah.
Apa game bawah aja, Cok, game bawah aja, Cok. Salman bisa solo, Cok. Kita game bawah aja.
Bawah lah, bawah.
Bersihin. Kok belum jadi sih sepatuku?
Ini apa lagi, Cok?
Apa lagi?
Udah, biarin.
Harley aja, no? Oh, enggak. Malas dia ngajar gue.
Biarin.
Belok ngate. Iya.
Biarin. Ayo, ulti, Cok.
Hah?
Kalau dia mepet ulti.
Ini apa nih? Ini ada sembunyi, Cok.
Ya, ulti. Aduh.
Sakit gua, Cok. Udah.
Aduh, bangke ah. Dijegat
Amin,
sama
ya.
Alpha is online, Cok.
Alpha Isongleng.
Your team destroyed a turret.
Nice.
Aman nge-push on the water, Cok. Gua tatarnya dapat. Ini harus dilindungi nih, Cok. Siapa nih? Bluki ya?
Awas, Bluki, Cok. Stun. Waduh, sakit banget itu, Cok.
Gua ambil darah di sini.
Our turret
Bagi hijau ya.
Ya hancur bawahnya.
Ayo. Ah, diambil semua hijau-hijaunya. Ampun, rakus banget tuh. Table.
Oh.
Harley kesini kok kita seminggu. Harley mau kesini. Biarin itu.
Emang kesini dia?
Kayak ke bawah dah.
Oh gitu.
Kaget tuh ngapain sih Bluki. Ada kayak mau ke bawah dah dia. Apain aja nih? Tuh. Ya, kabur. Branded.
my thirst for blood and for him.
Ini Bluki nih.
Ayo ke bawah, Cok. Mana Branded? Di atas semua tuh. Tuh bawah.
Ya. Awas, dia ada skill 2. Ayo, lari.
Mana dia, Cok? Hilang, Cok. Asam balik ke sana dia. Ya elah,
salah mencet sih kalau di Bluki.
Itu yang mati Bluki. Alamak.
Udah.
Harusnya kita ngilang dulu ya. Gua udah jadi, Cok. Baru bisa dipakai.
Ada gua mid dulu lah. Defend dulu.
Bersihin.
Pasok.
Awas dari samping.
Awas, Cok.
Sakit, Cok. Saya sakit kali, Cok. Ada semua, mereka langsung ada semua loh, Cok. Mati tuh, cebol. Walah, lihat tuh licin banget tuh kampretnya tuh. Semua licin, Cok. Set.
Gak mati lu.
Ini ada cebol. Ada cebol.
Malah dia
Mati bersama. Atas, Cok. Aduh, ini Bluki kayak nggak ada anunya, Cok. Kayak dibuntuti ini dia.
Tai. Jauh banget.
Anjir, jauh banget, Cok. Gak paham gue sih gimana mau geng. Sakit banget tuh gitu semua. Bluki mati mulu ya?
Ya kosong Bluki.
Kena, Cok. Nggak mati. Aduh, satu gitu.
Aduh, Cok. Awas rame datang.
Salah.
Bodoh.
Nice, gak apa-apa. Rame cuk, balik cuk. Oh itu mati tuh,
Mati
aneh
lu.
tuh itu. Nah,
Mati, sok dong.
mampus.
Aduh, ini nih.
Ini mati tuh.
Nah,
Nah.
sok dong.
Dah, kena dia. Nah, kena.
Your team destroyed a turret.
Parat bawah, cuk.
And for him is
Wah, ada bannya, Was.
an ally has
Wah, nice.
slain the turtle.
Nah, itu aja.
Tuh, bandot.
Nice. Aduh, ini gua kenapa diapain sih gua ini?
Itu ada
Kejar gua sih. Apaan?
Okay.
No one is more sincere than Sabine.
Mega kill.
Oh ya mantap nih hyperan. Sakit cok.
sakit, cuk. Nggak kayak lu mainnya, Sam.
Backupnya aja gua mantap.
Wah, jelas.
Do not go gentle into that good night.
Bisa ngebut gitu larinya, cuk.
Emang skillnya gitu.
No one is
Racing gitu. Sama Zilong balapan menang lu ya. Ah, jebol Benedek.
Sangat.
Ngapain lu?
Udah.
Tahan sih, cuk. Jangan norak lah, cuk. Nah. Bener ya.
love.
Sosokan. Nah, sini loh. Waduh, ada bannya, cuk. Apaan rame asem?
Kok rame?
Waduh, di anu, cuk. Dia apa dia?
Eksekutek.
Batang bani
Salah,
asem.
salah.
Mampus tuh bani.
Salah.
Bakar lu.
Nah, itu mati nih.
Mati lu. Mati. Gep.
Nggak mati lagi ini.
Mati lagi bluki.
Ya elah, bluki mati. Cok.
Langganan, cuk.
Mati Harley goblok. Kena petir. Aduh, ini goblok sakit goblok.
Your team destroyed a turret.
Hyper nih.
My thirst for blood and for him is just insatiable.
Diam sini. Udah. Hei.
Itu hyper kesana.
Ya ntar dulu kita geng.
Ini di
Mau
sini
ngajak
yang
semuk,
empat
cuk.
Ya udah ntar abis ini smoke dari musuh yang nongol.
Yang empuk. Sebenarnya itu Bennett empuk tuh.
Ya bawah semua cuk, kita clear dulu lah.
Kita clearan dulu lah.
Love stays still.
Ada bahan nih.
Loneliness is not about being alone.
Ya.
Yuk.
Apa?
Bawah nggak? Ayo cok, ngilang, smoke. Ah kan, lamaan. Udah smoke. Dari tadi.
Wih, lompat nih, Cuk. Lompat. Langsung lot nih. Bisa nih. Mau ngapain Harley? Mau ngapain kia? Aku mati kan, Cuk. Ayo, Cuk. Temenin. Alamak, disikat sama Alpha, Cuk. Alpha Sigma.
Double kill.
Baru datang loh. Waduh, awas. Harley-nya tuh sakit banget nih. Cebol. Jangan mukul lot deh. Mukul lot. Oh, nyari darah deh, dari life steal deh. Langsung wipe out, Cuk.
Korban.
Gua juga mati blok, santai blok.
Tadi suruh smoke.
Ayo. Kemana kita? Smoke belum ada, 8 second. Orang smoke harus rame-rame, Cuk. Sama Salman kayak tuh anak nggak ada Discord kayak orang. Sikat, Cuk.
Nyampe cuk, gua lari slow.
Ntar nggak ada cooldown gua.
Your team destroyed a turret.
Sini. Tuh.
Aneh.
Jaga hype ya.
Push aja lah, push lah.
Ini bawah rame, Cuk. Mantap kali ini.
Ya.
Night falls, yet love.
Ada gatot sini, ada gatot sini. Nah kan?
Awas, awas, awas.
Apa sih tuh dia juga?
Prot.
Aduh sakit cok, ini apaan sih?
Sabar. OTW. Ah.
Missing him. Your team destroyed a turret. An enemy has been
Mati ya.
slain. Okay.
Turun lagi, Dur, mampus lo. Mau nyabet gua, cok. Entar kasih ada stun aja.
Ya, nonton.
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 Udah mulai?
Udah draft pick.
Udah pick. Dah. Nonton lagi.
Magnes lagi kan?
Hah?
Dikasih magnes loh, nggak di-ban loh.
Nggak di ban matanya.
Kenapa ya?
Mungkin masih bisa ditangani, mungkin dia udah menemukan.
Awas aja kalah. Dia udah last game loh ini.
Iya,
Masa dia mau
last
main-main?
game menentukan dia nih, Cok. Apakah masih bisa melawan atau gimana?
Scepter lagi, ada scepter, ada PA nih. Late game nih, sama late game lagi nih hypernya. Ini Bloodseeker-nya mid apa offline, Cok?
Atau gue belum masuk.
Offline kayaknya ya? Kan?
Sabar masih loading, Cok.
Oh, lu belum main?
Belum, Cok. Kenapa nggak mau full skin Dotanya, Cok?
Tinggal diklik aja.
Nggak bisa. Malah ada gambar awan-awan muter-muter.
Belum itu awan muter-muter.
Ya Allah, Valve pakai ada acara awan muter-muter, Cok. Apa itu nonton mending main ML? Enggak. Pada final enggak bisa gugat.
Wah, Joker, Cok.
Joker
perlu nih, Cok.
PSG
Oke.
LGD's turn to pick.
Joker, Cok.
Enggak mau full screen sih, Cok. Kenapa nih?
Di setting video, habis itu use kurang main resolution.
Enggak, tadi mau kok dia nih gara-gara gua ganti ini. Option video. Udah. Alah nih ulang dulu dah. Kamu full screen, Cok. Dia, Cok, error, Cok.
Oh, error.
Gimana? Kamu full screen?
Oh, ulang ya. Ini skin udah nggak ada otak harganya, Cok, semua, Cok.
Mahal ya?
Gila. Juta-jutaan satu biji, Cok, itemnya.
Arkana segitu-segitu aja kan Arkana.
Arkana segitu, cuma itemnya itu loh yang aneh.
Iya, yang kayak Immortal. Dulu murah ya. Akunku yang diangga tuh habis berapa, Cok? Oh nggak ada suaranya, Gong?
Mahal, nggak ada efeknya lagi.
Iya.
Nggak ada nambah status apa gitu.
Oh nggak ada suaranya, Cok, ini gamenya.
Nggak tahu, gua ada kok biasa.
Habis grafik, habis. Nge-lag, Cok.
Iya, habis
invokernya
grafik ini
lucu, Cok.
masih
Mantap, Cok. Ini aku
mau
pengen skin ini aku, Cok, invokernya, Cok. Sumpah.
Mantap ya invoker ya.
Iya, itu Arcana kan ya?
Itu bukan Arcana namanya, apa namanya?
Udah nggak ada lagi sekarang kan?
Itu Arcana baru tuh tadi, yang itu.
Oh nge-lag
Si apa namanya? Si Scepter. Arcana baru tuh.
Hah?
Kalau ini
Fight coming from
namanya
the
apa
side
nih?
with Meld and read the movement correctly. Says
Kalau invoker
one
tuh
of the things for me
namanya
about Team Spirit victories
Persona.
has been vision.
Oh iya,
Vision is
Persona.
the best way to deal with Tinker.
Berubah
This
orang,
hero abuses
Persona.
vision better than most heroes. So I think the vision war that's going to happen between Spirit and LGD is going to be really interesting.
Langsung taruh.
Already going to see both teams.
Kayak mau ngelok tapi.
Langsung taruh, Cok.
And he's sort of catch from
Eh,
Oh, berarti dia.
and try and hide in the
Rosannya masih kurus, Cok. Tolonglah.
Starting to come up, but nothing to say. Team Spirit, they will
Pagi-pagi cuma
cut
satu
in either
skill
side,
doang.
able to get the grab that they wanted to potentially get that first blood.
Oke.
But let's see, as you say,
Masuk
definite
ke
potential
match
here for
ketiga
PSG
antara
and their lineup.
PSG LGD
But as we've
melawan
seen so far, 2 games
Tim
in which
Spirit.
Team Spirit have looked to be completely
Ini
in
kalau
their
Tim Spirit
comfort
menang,
zone.
habis
And
sudah
it does
tontonan
seem
Dota
the
kita ya.
pressure, it's certainly
Nunggu
more
TI
so
nanti
there for
lagi.
PSG LGD in this series.
Yeah, I absolutely think so, and I agree with something Notel said. Where like if this game
Kalau
starts
enggak,
looking bad, if the early game
apa
doesn't
kayak
really
yang
go
lain
their
ya?
way, I could easily see some
Turnamen
potential
lain.
crumbling coming out from
Mobile
Tapi yang bergengsi
Legends,
emang di AI,
the
Jo.
makings of a good draft. You know, when I look at it objectively, if
Mobile
this was like a
Legends, Piala
first game of the
Dunianya.
series, I haven't seen either of these two teams play. I
Oh
would have
iya, itu
favored
bisa
LGD's
tuh.
draft. I like what they're coming into this game
Tapi
with.
nggak bisa nonton di in-game
They're
guys.
setting up
Nggak enak.
strong lanes, and they have
Oh iya ya.
Tinker to like kind of
Nonton YouTube jadinya.
provide the damage for later team fights.
One thing though to me that sort of stands out looking at the lineup of PSG LGD, whilst they've definitely got a lot of heroes to create that vision, set up for the Tinker to go crazy in the team fight, sort of similar to I believe the game 1 draft, there's not a lot of stuns.
Yeah,
Gila,
you're right
blok
about that.
kripit
And I think
gitu,
the idea
Cok.
here for them is that
Itu
you're
apaan,
not
Cok?
really going to be committing
Yang
into
itu diem
fights.
loh,
You're
Cok.
not
Blok
jumping
kripit.
in
Itu
and
si
trying
kerapaan,
to
Cok,
stun him,
gambar
lock him
bocah.
down, chase him down. You're rather trying to burst somebody really quick and then be killing them. The idea of using Rupture and then dropping Tombstone is going to be their
Itu kan
key way of
PSG
team
jadi apa
fighting.
tuh?
Iya, ini
Tahu.
PSG.
Primarily
Kayak
for counter
ketawa.
initiation. So when somebody comes
Fansnya
into
dia,
your
apa
backside,
dia,
when
anaknya.
somebody chases
Enggak,
you
itu
with the
pemainnya,
that's
Cok.
when you'll see the Rubik coming with lift.
Tapi kok kayak
That's when
bocah,
they're
yuk?
coming with the clutch tornado.
Ya kan dia gitu tuh, palanya gedein.
Sumpah
Let's see
kocak,
how these
kocak.
lanes
Itu siapa yang kemarin?
panning out here in the
Si
early
Tim
game.
Spiritnya.
Tim Spirit.
On his PS.
Kurang ajar
This
juga.
time here, he has already pulled out on the main stage.
I love this.
Wah, dia main ini,
So,
Jo.
if you take a look at the bottom lane, he's
Main
so good at
EMP.
doing this. As soon as
Iya, main-
you see
main
Zinky
W
run
dia.
for
Main
this block
W.
on the swap
Main
camp,
kiwe-kiwe
he
dia
doesn't
kayaknya.
care if he misses a creep or two.
Wax,
Just immediately
wax.
runs over.
Tapi kebanyakan
makes sure
kalau
they
mid
get that
kiwe-kiwe,
pressure,
Jo.
just immediately forces TP out. So that's mana.
Kalau
That's a
turnamen
free
ya,
bolt that he's not
jarang
gonna
aku
be
lihat
able to use
main
on them.
ini, Jo.
Plus he doesn't have a TP. So just really
Jarang
nice
aku
gameplay
lihat
from
main
Mitoa, helping out
Exot
his
tuh.
position 5 player win these trades.
Pasti
Right,
kiwe-kiwe.
stepping up there, trying to get connection onto
Itu buat
Jinju,
sustain
but
kali ya,
smartly
biar
keeping his
regennya
distance.
kencang.
Terus ngegengnya enak kan, dia kan kayak dia kan
I
inisiator,
mean,
Jo.
this lane in general,
Tuh,
when you
angin-angin
see
nih.
the Bloodseeker Rubik, do you
Angin
feel that
anu
that is
kan
a
udah
lane that the
bubar
PA
kok,
can
udah kena
struggle
IMP
against,
mau
or is it
ngapain,
not
Jo?
too bad?
I think it's the kind of lane where they can kill the
Dor,
Rubik.
nggak
Oh, and
kena.
here we go. This might be first blood.
They're gonna try
Kayak ketuker itu best di on banget, Cok. Aduh.
Langsung kill pertama dibuka sama
between the
Miposka.
supports.
Yeah, so if you think about how the lane is structured,
Oh,
Bloodseeker
yang
Rubik,
mana
they
dia
want
kan?
to slowly like harass you out of the lane. And if you think about Disruptor PA, it's a similar story. But Disruptor PA have kill threat on Rubik because the silence
tapi
for Bloodseeker
personanya
is so slow that he
mantap.
can't really save his Rubik if they go
Udah
on him.
itunya lain-lain
Oh
tuh.
goodness, look at this
Biji-biji itu keren
aggression
tuh bentuknya.
in Toronto, Tokyo.
Oh, ini mas lagi nih.
mati.
Really, but
Oh, enggak.
nothing to say.
Yeah.
Oh, di atas ada
Tangan
pertarungan.
cuy, gila rusuh banget tuh liat.
He should be easily able to run
Rusuh
to the
banget
top
mainnya,
line
Sam.
and pick it up for himself.
Terus sekarang Neruso nih.
Yeah, up top, Collapse is taking a
Waduh,
lot
waduh.
of pressure here from the Spectre Undying. I think the Spectre Undying is an interesting lane because you won't really see the Spectre connecting as much as the PA is to his carry and helping him, but he'll provide the vision from the dagger. There will always be that slow that enables Undying to get more hits in.
Sure, and you feel it's unlikely for the mag
PA
and the Willow
kali
to
ya.
ever really get on top of the Spectre in the lane.
I think
Yang
so.
sana
The idea for the top lane is that
carry-nya
Undying
ini
is
ya,
going to tank a lot of
Bloodseeker.
damage. He's going to be in your face. You're going to
Bukan,
have to
ini,
Undying
ini,
and
ini.
use mana for the first portion of the game until
Apa namanya?
and that will leave the
Spectre,
Spectre
sorry,
to get a
sorry.
lot of farm
Spectre
for
ya.
free. However, the Undying has an issue because he runs out of mana at some point point and he runs out of healing.
Lumayan lama
And
ini semua
usually
nih.
when he does that, he's
PA,
forced to reset
Spectre.
back, and then Spectre can take some pressure. But so far, it seems like Why is doing a good job. He's just blocking out these camps, providing vision. But you see this Mira's immediately on top of
Tapi
him.
PA, tapi
He reads
PA
it
main cepet
perfectly.
juga bisa nih, Jo.
Knew exactly where he was heading. Right, we'll go for the quick trip back to base here.
Cuman kalau mainnya kelamaan menang Spectre,
See
Gung.
mid. Toronto Tokyo is going to have to
Kalau
take
mainnya
the ball
kelamaan
back.
susah
But this
Spectre-nya
space
udah.
given
Oh,
2-0
tebel, Cok.
He's
Tebel banget,
starting to get
Cok.
ahead in this
Sakit.
match.
Kayak
Getting
Black
a few
Armor.
denies
Apa ya,
in
Black Armor
against
ya?
the Invoker.
Blackmail, blackmail.
And the Invoker's going to lose a full creepy of experience here, plus the bottle refill
Pakai
from
blackmail,
Watt. This is
pakai
great
itu
game
lagi
from LGD. I
yang
think this
pedangnya
is
nyala-nyala tuh apanya?
characteristic LGD, right? You expect to see them do these things where they're optimizing
Yang apa namanya nyala tuh?
Why
Yang ada auranya
drops
tuh.
the ward, denies himself the tower, blocks the
Pedangnya
ancients,
Inuyasha
keeps it,
dia.
refills the bottle for nothing to say. It doesn't look like a phase team to me, you know?
Lupa
We were a
pada
little bit
mereka.
worried that maybe they're going to be feeling a little bit of tilt or pressure, but the way they're playing right now, looks like their head's in the game.
A solid start on the lane so far.
Oh, so slow.
He wants to try and play for the 4-minute
Habis.
rune, but
Habis.
won't manage to do so.
Masih punya
Backup
botol.
was on its
Punya
way
botol.
over for PSG LGD
Ini
to
mati
keep
nggak nih?
control of that.
Enggak lah.
Wah,
Yeah,
susah.
so you notice
Tebel,
both
Cok.
fours are rotating for the runes, right? And in this situation, the Bloodseeker's pretty fine bottom. He can't
Yang
really
mukul-
be
yang
harassed out
dipukul
of the lane
Magnus,
because of
yang
how the
mukul
thirst functions, and he
itu
just keeps
sama-
regaining HP for every last set that he gets.
Spectre.
Meanwhile, the mag up top, who's laning against the Undying,
Siapa namanya?
runs into this
Spectre.
impossible
Spectre.
zone where he can't
Belum
really
aktif
rock up to
Spectre.
the lane and get gold. And I think as long as they play this rune game where they force the position for in Mira,
Kira-kira gimana, kan? Menang nggak nih?
LGD's gonna come
Yes,
out
menang.
out of the laning phase.
Hah?
Hero-nya, Cuk, hero-nya mendukung banget, Cuk. Ini Team Spirit, Cuk. Lihat itu.
Yep.
Kalau main cepet,
Team Imposter
kalau mau main
rotating
cepet
over
menang
mid,
Team Spirit, lihat itu
setting up
hero-nya, Cuk,
vision.
Invoker.
There's so much vision around this middle lane.
Invoker bukan
to the
late game.
dire side. They
Dia
don't
main
want
cepet
this
juga
Tinker
bisa,
to go
Cuk.
down.
Enggak kalau mau war lo ya, ada Invoker nih. Kalau mau war
Iya,
cepet nih.
And nothing to say with this
Invoker,
sort of
Dark
setup
Willow, itu lagi
from
belum
the team. Just gonna
Magnus.
ensure that he does
Ada
get this
disruptor
good
lagi,
start.
yo.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you take a look at the CS, you
Kayaknya
notice
kurang kali ya?
really
PA-nya tinggal goyang-goyang di tengah lingkaran, Cuk.
denies as the Invoker has last
Enggak,
set.
itu
So,
di
like No Tail and Seb mentioned, right, this is one of
LGD
the
nggak
best
punya
Tinker
CC.
players in the entire world.
cuman
He's
ini
living up to
doang.
that,
Si Rubik.
praise that he
Tony
received.
satu.
doang ya.
But would you imagine that even though it did
Biasanya
get
nggak ada
through the
stun loh.
last pick, do you think it was
Adanya
something
silent
that
doang,
Team Spirit would have
Bloodseeker.
had in mind? They knew that this
Iya,
was going to be,
yang paling penting kan
yeah, there was
stun.
potential of this coming up as the last pick for
Skor
PSG.
berapa ada saya berapa? Enggak ada
If I'm
sampai
being
berapa.
honest, I don't feel like they really
Oh, skor ini
addressed the
2-0
Tinker
udah.
I think the
Udah
Invoker
menang.
was more like a, this is what we're gonna go
Tim
with.
yang
That's
kiri
unfortunately
dua-dua menang.
Habis lagi.
He doesn't get the kinetic field off. Itura tries to turn towards fake.
PA kalah PA-nya.
Trying to commit you
Woi.
there, but can he get the kill in time?
Lempar tusuk pisau jarum.
Nggak kelihatan, itu nggak kelihatan. Gila bisa gitu, Cok.
Gila. Tau nggak ya bikin sakit apa? Tomnya, Cuk.
The zombie gives vision.
See if they can chase him
Zombinya,
up the
Cuk.
tower.
Aduh, kok kelihatan?
Oh, they get him.
Oh,
Ada zombinya
ini
di
Center
zombie
ya?
aja.
They still manage to
Oh, ada
save
ini, ada
the
Bloodseeker,
run.
Jo, ada
GQ
Bloodseeker, Jo.
reaches in with a
Iya, gue bilang ada
hard-hitting
Bloodseeker.
fake
Masih kelihatan ya.
That was a thirst vision.
Kena lagi.
Mati nih.
And now Mapochka.
Trot.
I mean, this is going to be
Trot lagi dong.
Can they get him as well?
Trot lagi dong. Trot.
Trot.
But he has boots.
Waduh, nggak ada mana, Cok.
I mean, GQ, he wants to dive in for this. He is
Iya.
taking quite a bit of
Iya.
Berarti dong.
Oh, datang langsung menghabisi, Cuk.
Nggak ada mana,
Nah, mati.
Pasti PA. Waduh, diambil, Cok.
Gak apa-apa mid lane dulu, Cuk. Gak apa-apa.
Mid lane dulu.
Kan ngegeng dia, PA nanti farming di hutan.
Oh iya, benar ya. Turun ya.
Oh, udah cocok jadi analisis belum, Cuk?
Yeah, absolutely. But we touched on this in the VP versus Team Spirit draft.
Berarti, Cok, lihat tapnya, Cok. Rosan, Cok.
Earn charges on
Lebih
the Invoker, right? This is
liar
what
tuh.
enables the Invoker to play his game and be fast on the map. Unfortunately, he has not yet bought his earn. So, despite getting these 2 kills, he doesn't fulfill the objective of getting to earn charges in the early game. So while it is good for them, it also has its drawbacks, and this is in large part due to how well Nothing to Say played his lane out.
There's been a lot less focus now around top as Collapse happily farming here in the lane against Arme. Getting just as much
Magnusnya
as
ini
the
agak
Spectre.
bandel ya.
And that's got to be after
Nggak
game
jelas,
2's
Cok.
performance,
Magnusnya,
probably
Cok,
something
hero-nya.
to fear if you're PSG
Bandel
LGD
ya.
Collapse.
OP
Leading
banget loh.
2-0 and 20 in game 2.
Pinter yang main, Cuk. Wah, habis mananya.
Nothing to Say is getting pressure. But
Habis
you see
mananya.
here what
Mati nggak? Nggak mati,
Sam
Cok.
and
Nggak lah,
Nonton talked
masih
about. They don't
banyak
really have the
ada.
damage to punish him. They don't have the tools to really kill him. The Invoker is good at catching him,
Wah,
but he's
dibikin
not a
susah
hero that
sih
can
ini.
stay on top of him and keep outputting damage. Because as soon as you've used your spells, that's kind of all you
Tinkernya,
have
Cuk.
in the tank.
Kena IMP mulu nggak bisa farming dia.
And in the bottom lane, you notice here how Yatoro doesn't feel as safe sitting on the lane. When the wave is pushed out, he's forced to move away from there because the rupture is up now and they have the ability to go on him.
Itu dia apa klip apanya?
Itu kenapa ada klip satu nih asar.
Nggak, ini PA-nya bisa gitu loh skillnya kan baru
Apa?
menghilang dari map.
Skill 3-nya kan?
Iya, nggak kelihatan itu.
Iya. Tapi kudanya lama juga.
Ya tapi bisa gitu.
Wah, kena EMP lagi no. Kena EMP lagi no. Habis parahnya. Udah gitu-gitu terus aja.
Spec is just comfortably sitting top. He knows that he can
Itu
land
apaan, Cuk?
However,
Itu apaan, Cok?
despite all
Nggak
of
tahu,
this,
gue
he
lihat
does
apa?
have a slight gold lead
Ada cooldownnya lagi.
all around.
Kurir dia, Cok. Dia
Kurir
mau
kan?
beli sesuatu.
Iya kurir kan?
Nah, itu dari dia kurirnya.
Wah, di blok racun. Mati dong BA-nya kan. Kamu yang bikin ribet apa, Cok? Ini loh, Cok. Tomnya loh, Cok.
They know that they can get away with this,
Jangan
especially
banget slow doang kan, slow sama damage dikit.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of the strengths of a
Tapi
Dynamo
dia
game.
tumbuh
Once you place that
tumbuh terus.
tombstone,
Banyak
the enemy
lawan.
team doesn't really want to TP in. They couldn't really respond with their heroes. They wanted to mirror started this TP, but immediately canceled it, recognizing that, you know what, I can't TP into the tombstone. It's not going to be a good
Bandel, Cok, ini, Cok.
Duel lo situ lah.
trying to play around with Jinky.
Duel
They do have
power.
further members coming
Dia
in. Team
kena
Spirit
ini
off the
dia.
back of those deaths down
Nah,
bottom.
skill 2-nya Ruby.
Yatoro, he'll move himself up to the top half of the map to farm up here. Tier 1
Mati nih kalau
will be
kelihatan.
lost. PSG LGD with an early objective.
Ini ya kena sikat si Tinkernya, Cok.
They're just
Tapi udah kaya sih
evening out the
2000
map,
tuh dia.
swapping sides here. You see even a scan going out on the trees,
Dikit lagi
making sure
jadi
that
tuh
nothing's here
sepatu.
setting up. And one of the best ways to deal with
Iya,
Tinker is
balik-
that you won't
balik
try to get
aja.
these early towers, because Tinker abuses the towers on the map in order to fight. It provides him with safety, a place that he can TP to, come in and out, use all of his mana, go back to base, do it again.
Nggak perlu buzzer,
So
Cok.
it's important for
Nggak
Team
perlu
Spirit
ini,
to
Cok.
try to
Nggak
get
perlu
towers
Battle
early,
Fury,
because
Cok.
once Tinker comes online, it's going to be very
Iya, udah ada
difficult for them to do
empower.
it.
See where they look to head over next. Spirit. Staying together. I'll
Saya
take
emang
some of the
masih
jungle
pakai Battle
away from
Fury ya? Enggak kayaknya ya?
PSG LGD.
Yeah.
Pakai
Tinker
biasanya.
just finished up
Pakai
the
farming
This is
doang
gonna
kan,
be their
item
first time to
awal
put
Iya,
kan.
pakai
the
farming.
Proc up.
Iya,
Look
item
for
awal.
the tombstone
Mana
combination once
kencang.
more with a Tinker TPing in and
Regen
dropping lasers
kencang,
and
cara
rockets.
juga.
We'll have to be done without the haunt. That's still out for about 80 seconds.
It looks like they're playing it patient. They don't feel rushed to make this move yet. And this is another of the nice
Mantap nih
parts about
pokernya.
him dying. Unlike most 5s, he has the ability to farm jungle camps quite easily because he just drops a tombstone, and the
Anak
tombstone
kecil
deals
aja, mantap
damage
ya.
over time and spawns all these zombies that allow him to farm these camps and get some extra gold.
Persona.
Berapa harganya,
So he's
Cok?
closing in on a 6.
Nggak tahu gua, udah nggak bisa dibeli tuh.
Dia udah nggak bisa
Pakai
dibeli kan? Udah nggak bisa
Nggak
kan?
bisa. Pakai apa namanya tuh? Pakai
Clearing
kompendium.
up the stacks,
Ya, kompendium.
keeping his farm on par with that of Arme.
Nanti harusnya
Kalau
bisa
sekarang,
dibeli.
kalau sekarang personanya itu
Really good
si
Suncoast building
Dragon.
straight into the stats right
Dragon
now.
apa ya?
Falcon Blade into the SMY, he has to buff up with the
Dragon Net.
power.
Yeah.
Udah
As
connect.
soon as that empower runs out,
Dragon
look at
Net.
collapse. He immediately runs over, and this goes back
Kan
to what
ada
I talked
animenya
about,
tuh,
right? This game
Dragon
is
itu,
more about the
Dota.
empower. They're
Nah,
not
itu
playing on
personanya
obscura
tuh.
in the same way that
Nanti
they were in
mati
the
nih.
previous games.
Kayak tawuran
There's
nih,
a smoke
tawuran.
coming down bottom.
So if the 3 members of Spirit can find some action, they do have 6 on the supports. Static Storm.
Gila,
and
ini
the
kalau
Fear
sekali kena
ready to
IMP
play with.
bubar, Cok. Maros banget, Cok.
PSG LGD, they're doing a great job of avoiding this. Arme is down
Langsung
here on
mau
his
mana
own.
ini?
Aduh, mati dong.
Yeah, it looks like they're waiting for the haunt.
Mati
But Arm is
Spec
about to
tadi.
get
Masih
caught.
masih ada balikin kan?
Spirit is
Masih ada
left
skill
him out.
balikin
The
ini.
3 have the damage.
Mati
Balikin dong.
Set up with the roof, but not going to get the
Dibalikin
connection.
dong.
Mati,
Bener.
mati Spectre,
Into
mati
the
Spectre,
selection.
mati Spectre.
TPs are coming over.
Enggak, Cok. Ada temannya.
Is he taking up to the
enggak
front of
di- oh, masih
Static
tornado.
Storm?
Mati.
He's able to turn
Oh, enggak.
belum,
does
Cok.
catch him, but
Oh, malah
isn't
itu yang
enough
dapat kill.
damage. Arme
Tomnya
will
mengganggu
live.
banget ya.
And only Spirit
Tommy yang dapat kill, Cok.
off the back of that attempt.
Tomnya mengganggu banget, Cok.
And in the meanwhile, you see, as always, Team Spirit really smart about their map movement. Yatoro moves into the enemy jungle, starts farming here.
Balikin.
Tinker's forced to come top and defend the tower. And despite losing their 2 supports, they're applying the pressure. And whenever Tombstone's used, you're going to see LGD kind of wait up. So this is 40 seconds that they know Yatoro is most likely going to be allowed to farm pretty freely. And that's why he's up here in the top lane playing so aggressively.
Roket nggak kena aja.
Collapse is the next target.
Waduh, dikejar terus.
Trying to
Cing,
chase
cing,
Spec
cing,
beyond.
cing.
Gonna get him ready.
Flicker.
Sakitnya ya.
Oh, enggak. Ada flicker nggak?
Collapse into the trees, hard to find.
mata.
Flickernya ada flicker.
Setup.
Flickernya.
And halfway
Udah
towards
pasti
the
beli flicker. Udah tuh, udah.
Yep, much better vision game this time around for LGD. Their
Udah
wards are
licin
not getting
dah
the awarded the same way they were in the previous games. they actually have quite a lot of vision here to play with, and a lot more information than we've seen them have in the previous 2 games of the series.
Infokannya bisa lebih miskin daripada Tinkernya loh ya.
Very close, 13 minutes in.
Tadi kan dapat assist kali dia pas luar.
LGD, despite the 2 rough games they've had so far against Spirit,
Tapi
seemingly
goldnya
regaining
masih
their
dipegang tim
control
Spirit
that's
ya.
managed to drive them
1K
straight
loh.
through the upper bracket into this grand
PA-nya
final.
bisa Sugi loh.
See if they can
Di
keep
habis
it up.
mananya tuh.
Bottom,
Mampus
Spirit
lo gak bisa ngeluarin Tom. Wah, ulti ya
Start a bit of a
semua.
point to wide. Just the 2 of them is not enough. to deal with the
Zombie berjalan
Undying.
ya.
Not gonna look to commit anything else here, Spirit. They know there's potentially backup behind the Undying.
Yeah, and the Tinker's deciding to go for the Aghanim Scepter. The way this works is whenever he lasers
Dia
someone,
belum
they
dia nggak
lose a
belum beli
chunk of
sepatu
their
ya.
maximum HP. So versus these type of
Dia
heroes
pakai
like Team Spirit,
Pakai
Pakai
tele
apaan
dia
tuh?
Cok, nggak perlu sepatu Cok.
quick at killing them all.
Ini telenya apaan, Cok? Ada skill baru.
Udah bisa dihilangin dah telenya. Wah mati Cok, di lock Cok ini Cok. Di lock Cok. Pinter dia Cok. Magnusnya di ulti Cok, jadi nggak bisa nyodok-nyodok Cok.
Now they're the ones that are
Lihat
allowed to
Tinkernya
respond.
punya skill apa
It
sih?
seems like they understand now how Spirit's
Itu
trying to
reamnya
face
nggak
the
bisa
map, and they
dipakai
understand what
bersihin
Spirit
cooldown
wants to do.
ini.
They're gonna make assumptions
Item
based
bisa
on
kali.
Oh, ada skill dia, Cok.
it feels like
Iya,
LGD are getting a
ultinya.
better and better read of it. And
Ulti kenapa emang?
yeah, I think that's largely
Dia
due to the
ulti
fact
bisa
that they're
ngereset
able
ini
to
nggak
establish
sih?
more vision on the map this time
Cooldown
around.
teleport.
Ya iyalah, kan skillnya semua kena cooldown, Cok.
Lah iya sampai item-itemnya kan.
So at least get his S and
Iya.
Y done before.
Ya udah dia nggak perlu sepatu
Oh.
dong, dia tinggal beli ini doang dong, tahun portal dong.
BKB may be something that he wants to hold
Oh,
back.
sekarang skillnya baru, Cok.
Tinker Laser will never be fun to
Nggak
watch.
ada
nggak
kill
ini
profile
lagi,
siapa?
Cok.
Focus targets.
Oh, after sending teleport to target friendly bisa bisa gitu.
Nggak ada yang kretek-kretek lagi, Cok. Nggak ada yang laba-laba itu.
Dia kata-kata nggak ada, pantesan dia lama kan.
This time around, Spirit, they'll get the big
Wah
kill.
wah wah,
But it has
PSG
cost them
LGD
both
mulai
supports
membalikkan
lives.
keadaan.
Wah,
Keep
mulai
trying to
ngamuk.
escape, but they got any way to
Mulai
find him.
mengamuk,
One
men.
more sentry.
Wah, flicker, flicker.
He's out of the flicker.
Iya,
Oh.
lolos.
Ya emang nggak ada stunner, Cok. Mau lebar lagi.
Iya, nggak ada stunner dia mau lepasin. Ada Rubik doang, Rubik doang.
Rubik nggak dapat kena.
The Spectre, you happy with that if you're Spirit?
Rubiknya nggak ada mana
Okay
tadi.
with it. I
Yeah.
think this is like LGD recognize that our Tinker is so strong right now. There's
Cuman
no
ntar
real counterplay.
kalau ini
Even if the
ada
PA gets on top
stunnernya
of
si
him right
ini.
now, the PA doesn't deal
Si
enough damage to
Tinker.
burst them. So
Kan ada
I think
itunya tuh.
for LGD, you want
Ada
to try to
efek
use this
tambahannya
timing
dia.
where your Tinker's very strong and he's outputting damage. And
Roketnya.
dying once or twice here or
Roketnya,
there while he
mini-stun.
doesn't have haunt
Mini-stun
isn't
kan?
the worst for them as long as they get some sort of response in return.
Siapa lagi? Nggak ada yang punya stun.
Back to the farming. 800 or so. The axe.
Gampang berarti password. Tele aja.
On track to hit a very good timing. And we've seen already the responses from
Ini-
PSG LGD each and every time
No
Spirit
BKB
try and
sih,
make a
Jo.
move have been top tier. But
BKB
now
lah,
the
Jo.
move
Skillnya
that
sakit itu.
Spirit can
Iya
make,
sih, sakit sih
it's
kayak
going to be
ultinya
much
itu
more
juga.
deadly. Collapse, the blink
Tinker
dagger
magic
on
semua
its
tuh.
way over to be in his
Iya, iya,
hands.
iya.
We saw what he was achieving last
Tapi
game.
skill
when he
satunya
was jumping
tembus deh kayaknya.
all over the place. Let's see if he can pull it off again.
Skill satunya
and
pure
start
kan
to
ya?
literally
Nggak tahu.
tear PSG LGD apart
Iya sih
with his
kayaknya.
abilities to
Tuh kan,
just
skill tiganya
grab
apaan
them
sih
and
tuh?
throw them
Pada
around the
pamer.
Iya,
map.
skill satu
Yeah,
pure.
absolutely. But this game is
Wih,
much more
gila.
challenging than the previous ones. There's going to be rockets flying at you. There's going to be tombstone zombies. You have many things that are going to
Skill
get in
tiganya
your
apaan,
face, as
Gan?
well as
Efeknya
the Bloodseeker Bloodright. So
Apa?
he's going to have to both
Skill
navigate
tiga.
these spells
Yang
and make sure that he
tameng
doesn't
itu
get
buat
caught
apaan?
before that. Plus on top of that, there's a haunt, right, to provide all this vision for LGD. So I feel like the way the game is shaping up, it's falling a lot
Oh,
into
dikasih ke
Yatoro's
teman
hands. And he's
bisa.
proven that he can do it.
Yeah.
Buat
His
buat
farm
tameng,
and the way
tameng
he plays his team fight
barrier.
out is going to be very key
Ngeblok
in
beberapa
order for them
damage.
to be able to stand a chance
Oh.
against
Kayak damage
LGD.
absorb.
No, absolutely. As I say, this BKB, if he can get this quickly,
Berarti
that's going to be a
kalau
huge
damage
nuisance.
masih
Not
bisa
too
flicker
much they
gitu.
can do through it.
Nggak
Roger
masuk
being the
damage-nya.
main one. If the setups that
Cuma ngabsorb berapa damage tuh, satu
Foshka,
naik lagi dinaikin.
Mirror, they're able to hold the
berapa.
heroes in position. This period is
Oh,
not going to have to
berarti kan
separate
kena
the fight
damage-nya.
too much.
Nah, cuma
As
ngurangi
long as they're able
deh.
to stand in position
Yeah.
and get the hits in,
Ya lumayan
they
tuh.
can have the heroes brought to them.
Absolutely.
keren gua
When they
ngeblok.
finish
Kalau
up the
ngeblok kan
Aghanim,
masih
and
bisa
once they
flicker
get
deh.
the
Masih
timing
mantep
Flickernya nggak
kretek-kretek
full-
ya.
nggak cooldown.
immediately smoke up. They're checking for wards. They drop a sentry to block the ancients.
Yeah.
They know the PA is playing in
Huh?
this area.
Masih mantep
Unfortunately, they just made the wrong
kretek-kretek
guess. So you either here are going to assume that he's at the two camps up in where they are
Kretek-kretek
right
tuh
now,
sakit
or
tuh,
that he's playing
jalan ya
ancients. But
kretek-kretek.
look at Toro. He sniffs it
Ini
out.
tawuran.
It's so hard to
Langsung
catch
delay
this
aja.
one. He's always a step ahead.
Oh, ada
I mean, the
awap
way they're
atau
reading the map
sas.
is just very intelligent. I think they realize
Tapi
when the
kan dia
Spectre runs
smoke
back to
tadi,
base that,
kenapa?
hey, something's probably happening, right? He's not just running back to base because he wants to. They know that the item is very likely coming. And then when all the heroes then disappear, that is like another sign for Yatoro to be like, okay, I can't show.
The attempt onto Toronto
Ah, ya,
Tokyo.
sini pakai.
Ada watt juga, ada watt
Ada watt.
Down Toronto Tokyo, try and find himself.
Mati.
Lewat dulu, tengah war.
Will lose faith beyond. The
Mati.
counterplay was made by Spirit. So the TP out as well. Merek gets back to safety, so 1-for-1 across the
Bison,
map here.
2 seconds for the
Ah, lo.
glimpse. Secure back.
They've got the dagger slow to send it up. He's
Wow, udah ada tuh. Tadi perkara kan itu.
Waduh, 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 waduh.
Selamat. Wah, enggak, Tinkernya maju, Dok. Mati Tinker nih kayaknya nih.
Tinker, enggak. Masih bisa.
Waduh, ada itu tuh, ada
Tinker ada blok, ada blok.
Oh, ada blok. Ah, ini mati, ada itu, ada itu.
Mati.
Buset, gigit tuh. Itu otaknya. Lenselnya banyak, Cok, orang itu, Cok. Wah, Cok. Itu Magnus gigit sumpah.
Diambil, Cok. Skillnya semur. Wah.
Wah.
Gila.
Halo, STT boy.
That was beautiful. I love the way nothing.
Tapi sumpah Magnusnya otaknya cepet banget, Cok.
Iya, Cok, makanya Magnusnya itu setupnya mantep. Nyulik itu loh, dapet mulu dia.
Iya.
Is that my death is worth it if I can take the PA with me. Just beautifully executed there from LGD. Also, small thing in the fight, TP's to base, heals up, uses Aghanim Scepter to jump back into the team fight and get those last couple of kills.
And I mean, it's crazy. We're seeing the power of that shadow step. He's in and out.
Ketahuan nggak nih? Ketahuan nggak?
30-second cooldown. Easily.
Aduh, kok bisa ketahuan? Oh, ada ituan.
Lewat biru.
Lewat biru nyampe lah.
Catch him here, so there's no skewer on the Rubik. He's not gonna get. We have another big interesting item coming up. There's going to be the Holy Locket for the Undying, and once he has Sword maxed out, he already has Sword maxed out. Together with the Holy Locket, this healing is ridiculous. So basically the way it works is the more units there are, the more you're going to heal. And with Tombstone and the way it functions, you just spawn a bunch of extra units. So you're almost always going to get that maxed out. So any sort of healing tool together with Spectre's Dispersion just deals incredible amounts of damage in the team fights. I feel like LGD's draft is really coming together now.
Absolutely, so in a way that we just seen from them so far in this series.
Invokernya di blok dulu.
They're looking to onto Toronto Tokyo. Will be able to turn with a quick tornado. The attention from
Invokernya di lock
PSG
tuh.
will turn over towards Merk.
Udah selamat ya. Mau
Into the
di
shadow
das.
realm, though. They still want to dive this, dropping down the tombstone.
Zombie berjalan.
Rocket. The Rockets, they come.
Waduh, sampai nge-lag dong.
He's in straight on top of him.
That's just beautiful. They're abusing these vision tools so nicely. You have the Tombstone, you have the Bloodseeker. There's so many ways to get vision in these team fights.
I mean, this Spectre's looking pretty spooky. He's picking up the kills, the involvement here. PSG, LGD just fighting in a way that we haven't seen from them so far.
Magnusnya di lock terus, Cok.
Oh, tuh, saya mati sekarang.
Dibawa keluar dong dia dong.
TP's coming in for Spirit. Why? Trying to dive it onto Yatoro. Another soul rip, healing wire.
Wah,
Stay on
sakit.
top of the hits come out. Yatoro takes him down.
PA sakit dah, Cok. PA lumayan, Cok.
He's able to get away. Oh,
Tapi Spectre super sakit juga nih. Waduh, tinggal jalan.
Nothing to say. In with the laser. And out
Mulai
he goes
rapi
as
mainan
well,
udah.
picking up the
Udah
action.
scepter dia, ngapain ke
2K
scepter?
lead now for PSG LGD. They're starting to break
Udah mulai
down
rapi nih,
Spirit.
Yep, they absolutely
Upgrade
are, but
Tinker
a
Lesser,
very important
300
item
range.
is about to come into the game, and that is the PA BKB. He's 100 gold off of it, and he's going to have it in the next team fight. And the way this changes the game is the Tinker can no longer just laser the PA and force him to reset out. Yatoro's going to have 9 seconds where he decides what he wants to do.
Bikin sangyas ya,
And
Cok.
if those 9 seconds get him the right kills,
Bikin apa?
that's going to be everything they need in order to win the fight.
During that time,
PA.
Yatoro,
Udah jadi sangyas.
Oh,
where's he looking first? Is it sort of this Tinker? Does he have to just commit onto nothing to say to eliminate the
Jadi
threat from the
BKB.
rest of his team?
I mean, the ideal scenario, right, is that you kill the Tinker with
Tapi
the PA
kayak PA emang wajib
BKB.
BKB tuh ya.
The only thing really covering you against the
Indeso
Tinker
deh,
is
Cok.
that
Indeso lah,
BKB.
Cok.
Once that BKB runs out,
kayak
you can
wajib
see the Tinker
BKB, makanya
lasering you,
PA ya.
rocketing you, refreshing, laser rocketing
Iya lah,
again.
Cok.
So,
Nggak ada PKB
the
mau
ideal
ngapain
scenario
aja,
for him
maju
is
nggak
he
bisa,
just
susah,
lock himself
Cok.
and kind of hang around the fight as it breaks out, and then once the Tinker commits in, that's when he jumps.
We've got a smoke
Wah,
coming from
smoke.
PSG
Mati,
LGD.
mati.
They are
Taburan
very
sini,
ready to
taburan
fight.
sini. Taburan sini.
Especially with Donasi getting space, reset, he's ready to shadow step if
langsung
he's needed.
Kan yang di lock itu kan yang di
Wah,
lock.
ini ya, gila.
Collapse is just TPing out.
Loh.
Langsung
Big
TP
field
cuk.
from the
Main
top
aja.
stops them from being able to chase in. Put a stop to the
Yeah,
escape here from Spirit.
Mereka udah tahu cuma mereka nggak ada stunner
Looks
itu
like Spirit might
musuhnya.
want to chase into this though, but they should recognize that Tombstone's been dropped on the high ground, and it might be a hard fight for them.
Mati dong.
BKB dia.
Just goes to
Enggak, ini loh. Mati dong.
Mati nih.
They should be able to get this. Yeah, wide depth for
Kritik
sure.
kalau keluar nah. Kalau udah BKB cuk pasti dilawan
The
lah.
importance of the DB.
Yeah, they've got a bit
Sambil
of
skewer
to
dia.
punish if Spirit stick around, but they won't. Back behind the tier 2 tower, Spirit will hold back.
Asam lossnya langsung 7 cuk.
Yeah.
Kalau udah war.
Tense game. This BKB really is going to be important. So using the first 9-second charge for the Undying, it's okay, but it needs to lead to something. You know, this opens up some time. This gives them some time to farm.
Udah mulai
Hopefully they can beat
panas
some
nih
of the
kayak
vision that
LGD
LGD are
aja.
playing with. And if
Mulai
they manage to do
menggebu-gebu
these
kan
things,
nanti.
and they can reset the map to a position where they can farm up and they can get to the PA shard, they
Belum-
can get
belum
these items
menang
that the
banget
PA
sih.
needs in
Tapi
order
udah
to
mulai
punish
menggebu-gebu
the
udah mulai
LGD
rapi
draft,
mainnya, Cuk.
then it's all good. But if those
Wah,
BKB charges
udah
get wasted for
perlawanan
support
lah.
kills that don't lead to more, then it's problematic for them.
Mas sebenarnya kalau mau war menang ini loh cuk. Menang
PSG LGD
Spirit,
trying
iya.
to sneak the Roche.
hero-nya udah komplit banget tuh.
Won't be the quickest though, and already actually deciding that they don't want to spend any
Rosternya mau
further
dibawa
moments
pulang loh.
committing. Spirit potentially around the
Emang
area.
keras
They are.
Spectre ya.
Spirit more than happy to fight.
Keras sakit.
Blink RP at the ready. The big old star up for PSG LGD though as well. Haunt good to go again for Arme. 200 gold away from the Manta style as well.
Yeah, Wyatt leading the charge. All he needs to do is get that tombstone down before the fight starts, and he's gonna do the
Oh,
tombstone.
dia pasti ditarik tuh.
Usually to see what it
Nggak
can
bisa,
find.
nggak
Will
bisa,
just
nggak
be
bisa.
Merk. The Shadow Ram and the TP out.
Wasting
Will get him away
Tom.
from this, and now no tombstone for the
Wasting
fight.
Tom.
Yeah, but he does have the level 10 talent. This was recently
Kalau dia
added. The
atas
minus
tuh.
15 seconds tombstone cooldown makes it less of a committal when you use it.
Toronto Tokyo.
Ayo.
Didas cuk,
Ayo,
didas
ayo,
cuk.
ayo.
Commit fake
Didas
behind.
cuk.
Ayo, mati, Cok.
Toronto Tokyo was not prepared for that at all. Just standing there in the mid, and Faith Beyond finds a very tasty surprise.
Ayo, Bituan bikin
And now,
root, Cok.
if the Undying
Huh?
would have had that tombstone ready, he would have had that
Bloodseeker
ulti ready.
bikinnya
You could have
rot,
seen LGD potentially poking at the Roach. What they ideally want is
Rot ya.
or,
Langsung ikat ya.
okay, they actually already do have the
Iya.
Marathon Spectre, so never mind. But that is a big Roach
Kepikiran.
tool.
Nah, ini. Nih, Magnusnya bahaya nih.
To deal true damage to the Roche, and then it goes on very quickly.
Loh,
But they're happy with the pace of the game right
Loh,
now. They're happy with
kenapa
how
dia
it's
nggak-
playing out.
You see
Shard
Collapse.
finished on PA.
muter gitu.
Coming across this tree line, he knows that nothing to say is
Mati.
playing here behind the tower. He's going to try for the catch,
gila.
won't get it.
Cepet
Goes for
banget.
the attempt, but nothing to say out of range.
And power stolen by Rubik as well, by the way. So the Spectre is now matching the PA's farm speed.
About 2k in it at the moment between Arme and Yatoro. But definitely having that ability on their side as well will help him close the gap. Online for the Skadi next after the Manta.
Intense game, both teams just holding their high grounds, understanding where they're strong. Neither of them willing to fight into the other team's vision. If you look at how Y is positioned, he's
Itu nggak
standing
ada
right
waktunya
outside
ya,
that
tuh
board
bola-bola tuh.
until he's ready to run in.
Iya, lama ya.
Mantap deh, bola jalan ya.
Gua malah nonton dan
On the
nanti.
low ground, Tombstone drops.
Hah?
As soon as it's out,
Sekali Tom langsung
Spirit,
ke
they
tele cuk,
retreat.
semua cuk. Enggak ada yang mau war cuk.
Yeah, I think this is a very intelligent thing the
Masih
LGD
nyariin.
recognized in this game. They've been dominated in vision for 2 games straight, and they feel like, you know what, maybe they're better at warding them.
Ada PA.
Dah. Dah. Mati tuh.
Buset, 2 kena, Cok.
Mati tuh.
Apa masuk sih trik gituan.
Langsung tele cuk, pinter cuk.
Nggak mati.
Dia langsung tele gong. Gila.
Itu semarat loh, nggak mati.
Barely missing the RP on the PA.
Ini dah gongnya. Dia nggak PS tuner gongnya. Jadi mainnya di gitu ya. Main tim spirit gitu terus ya cuk, bakalan cuk. Sikat 1 tele, sikat 1 tele yuk. Sikat dapat 2, dapat berapapun tele dia bisa cuk.
They get their kill, they get their trade. They know not to push it for anything more.
Ya kan?
Team Spirit knowing the exact moment to call it quits and reset.
Yeah, absolutely. Yatoro's playing this game excellently. But
Tele
I
nggak ada
do
bisa
worry,
stun.
once this BKB starts sticking out, the Tinker's closing in on a Hex, right? So even the potentially jumping on him is going to be hard. You see Yatoro's also buying the Desolator. It's not a basher. It's an item that will allow him to necessarily kill the Tinker if he has that Hex.
Ini si
They're going to go for the rush
Scepter,
now.
Cok.
They know
Mantap
there's
banget,
no
Cok.
RP.
Pelan tuh.
Yeah.
So they have the damage to take this out and see if Spirit still want to try and make a jump into them.
Yeah, so between the laser, the mantle spectre, the undying damage amplification.
Gipir yuk.
Is very low.
Lo dia lo.
Ya pakai tarung, rotnya masih cebol nih. Ayo sikat. Nggak bisa, telat dong. Kena PA-nya Cuk, PA-nya kena Cuk, PA-nya kena.
Mati dong PA-nya mati dong.
Mati lah, kena dia, kena. Wow.
They couldn't make the jump in time, and Yatoro just getting burst so heavily before he could actually get the BKB off there.
Yep, excellent gameplay from LGD right now. They're banging on all cylinders.
They are. We did not see anything close to this in the first two games. PSG LGD finding their confidence, their fire. They're hitting back hard here in this third game.
Yeah, absolutely. I just feel like the way that they've approached Vision this game is so smart. I think this is what they were missing in the first two games. These tools that provide the vision and the adaptation to recognize that is amazing.
Just keeping around the map. This time around, the damage too overbearing from Arme and his illusions.
Ada tambahan skill lagi kali.
Alright, so for the side of Spirit here, I think it's getting increasingly difficult. You're starting to feel the pressure of the Tinker. You recognize that, you know what, there's that Hex, there's that Aghanim, and once my BKB's out, I'm not really sure how to fight into these heroes. And we haven't really seen Toronto Tokyo in this game. He hasn't really had a game, so this Tinker pick from PSG LGD is played out beautifully.
It's definitely turning into a game where, when you look at the farm on the course, a lot is on Yatoro's shoulders, whereas on the side of PSG LGD, the wealth very evenly split between Nothing to Say and Arme. Both of these scores, just in combination with one another. Spectre, Tinker,
oh iya harusnya menang.
PA mati lagi. Wah gigi juga rapi.
Kan sambil ulti deh situ. Maksudnya sih kenapa Cuk? Nggak kayak tadi dia mainnya.
Iya rapi banget Cuk.
Oh mati udah satu lagi nih.
Nggak imbang Cuk. Tuh kerannya Cuk.
Oh dicari lagi dong.
Langsung scatter. Ame sudah mulai mengamuk Ame.
The team fights are just so hard for Spirit, and especially if Yatoro isn't there to play the fights for them. They really need him. What a beautiful initiation from the Rubik there with the RP. You know, whiffed the one earlier up top, but gets the more important one here mid.
I mean, they're down 8k at the moment. How on earth do they just approach any sort of team fights now at this stage with the Spectre just jumping into their faces? And as you say, the vision, the counter abilities from PSG to just disrupt any sort of move or jump that Spirit are trying to make themselves. It seems that this time round, Spirit, they're the ones in the impossible position.
Yeah, I think they're off balance, right? They've probably played this entire tournament playing off of vision advantage, having information advantage. And in this game, they don't. They have one team or an area where they can't really punch Tinker that's far up top. They're not really going to bring their heroes to that side of the map. And then in the bottom area, the only ward that they have to fight around is also an area that you won't really see LGD approach.
Kena Cuk, kena terus. Oh BKB. Pukul Tomnya dulu, pukul Tom. Nah, dan Tomnya dan. Waduh, apa Cuk? Hah? Sekarang? Dia doang dah, apa dah? Gak bisa sekarang, udah kayak aja dah.
Almost certainly saving his life there with a big burst heal through the crits.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, where did that healing come from? I did not see that coming. So yeah, that does make a lot of sense. And he gets that second hex off. That's a one-team fight.
Scary.
It's really coming down to, you know, those micro decisions that you make in these team fights. He thought he could get the burst damage out in time. Seemed like the wrong choice this time around.
I mean, 32 minutes in, PSG LGD still an incredibly comfortable position. Look at the map control as well. They've only lost one tower so far in this 32 minutes. Very impressive control and just sort of forcing Spirit to almost play a different game that they would have wanted to. It's
Tower
clear that
dapat aja.
Spirit came
Team
into
Spirit.
this wanting to deal with PSG. Same way
Mainnya
they have
beda
done in
deh.
the first two this series.
Tapi belum tentu
It's not
menang
worth
ini
this
LGD
time.
ya, belum
Spirit,
tentu.
we're gonna have to see something different
Belum
from them.
lah.
Something that we have seen
Masih
before in
sampai
previous series.
perjalanan.
Sampai base yang hancur baru udah menang nih
Iya,
namanya.
habis hancur.
And if you
Sampai
click on
ngomong
your Toro,
gigi kalau
you're gonna
banyak.
notice that he's feeling the pressure of the
gigi.
Tinker. That's a refresher queued up.
All right.
Nah ini nih, bahaya nih PA
That's
nih.
really mainly for the
PA
BKB.
udah mulai
He feels like he needs
war-war-war.
a durational black king bar.
Selotor,
Deso.
BKB udah nih.
Ada war biru.
The game.
Nggak
It's
kelihatan
really,
kan
if it works
ini.
out, this will be a genius item. I'm
Apa
really
namanya,
interested to see
smoke?
how it plays.
Masa?
Smoke nggak kelihatan, Cok.
Focus around the mid lane here for Spirit.
Tim Spirit 2, Dim. Ini kalau sampai ini Tim Spirit menang, udah selesai gamenya, Dim.
Selesai dah game
Udah.
sekarang.
Still gonna jump on him, but immediately the technique
Lost Cok, lost dong, langsung teleport. Ada Ayul, ada Ayul.
Benar. Ada bisa.
Wah.
Waduh, kok jadi apa deh?
Dikejar
Ini
ini aja
darah
blocker aja.
Nokil
Nokil ya
What
Tim
an
Spiritnya ya.
unbelievable play by Y though. He
Yeah.
just put his courier on this
Satu
hill,
doang ini.
waiting for that ward to come out, recognizing that if they smoke, mid is where they're gonna go.
Ampet paket lossnya banyak banget tuh 3, 7 tadi.
Blinking straight over to the safety.
Gua udah
Bayangan
tahu.
aja atas Asem.
Means they won't get a further catch in. PSG HD now look to back off. Still 30 seconds without collapse.
Yep, the pressure is on.
Kayaknya
You see,
jadi sih
nothing
sebenarnya.
to say is buying that Aeon disc. He was queuing up the
Spectre udah
BKB,
ngelebihin PA
recognizing
sama
though the problem for me is not really the magic damage. It's potentially getting locked down by the PA and getting bursted. So Aeon disc will solve that problem for him.
Jalan terus.
Their items are just gearing them up to not die. You see also
Keliling,
the same
keliling.
thing for Ame.
Bikin hex,
He knows
udah
that
bisa
PA
dah bikin
will
Ayul,
win
bikin
NCB.
hex.
It's not an item you traditionally see
Oh
on
iya,
PA.
bikin hex,
It
benar.
forces PA to deviate from his standard item build. So buying that butterfly here is going to
Spectre udah
force
jadi
the PA
Berser,
to play his
mantap.
game. And now the PA is suddenly reacting to the
Oh, ada
Spectre's
Berser
item
juga
instead of the other way
terus.
around.
Because what do you do in this situation now, Yatora? What is the call with his next item?
It's a hard decision, right?
Yeah.
And this is what LGD are doing so well. They're forcing you into a position where you might make a mistake. Maybe he buys the wrong item. Maybe he now decides to go for the MKB, but then his BKB is too short to fight. Or you're just making this problematic for Team Spirit. You want to make it as hard as possible for Yatora to do what's right.
He's even thinking about the Ags as well. A lot of options here for Yatora.
Radiant's top
Yeah.
tower.
Bedanya
It's a difficult
17
choice.
kan.
I don't know what the right one is.
Cepet banget ya tadi war cuma sekali doang.
And we'll see if he does either.
Yang mati cuma 1, 2
Very
doang.
tough place to play from.
Oh, bisa warna kalah ya.
13k. Both nothing to say, and Arme's power just
Ini
continuing
yang
to
ngeganggu banget sih
grow.
ya. Blood
And
Seeker
we
yang
talked
ngeganggu
about this a
banget
lot,
sih.
but you know
Skillnya.
Roshan's about to spawn. Heroes start moving over to the top
War
side,
lagi
secure that
nih.
area. Y already has
Bikin
the
link
ward
kan
down.
sih.
Notices there are no heroes there.
Nih, mati
We
nih.
know where Spirit are. An immediate smoke over.
Kena root nih.
Wow.
Kok dia bisa tahu, Cok?
Malah yang mati disruptor juga.
Enggak, masalahnya kok dia bisa tahu loh.
Feeling paling.
Iya, gila ya.
This is to be.
Nah, gila PR kecil.
Kurang ajar juga apa maksudnya juga.
They know how quick PSG is going to be with these
Ditinggal-tinggal.
responses. Collapsing on a cliff. Nothing to say. He's quite
Wah, mati dah.
Mati tuh.
Bisa gitu mainnya, Cok.
Not really quite sure what was going on there. Maybe he
Samperin.
was attempting to D-ward while he saw the hero's bottom and
Tadi
saw the TP
maksudnya apa
going on
tadi?
bot tower. But Roshan has spawned. Click on Y. He has everything.
Oh ya, lalu.
He's ready. This Roshan
Del ya.
goes extremely quickly as soon as Ame
Udah
climbs over.
ulti saat ya.
50 seconds without collapse.
Tuh ya, ganim shot nih kan.
Unlikely
Shot
they're going to be able to
gratis.
do anything without him
Yeah,
alive. Is there any world that they buy back to contest this, or they just let this go?
I feel like
Kira-kira
based on
siapa
the way
yang
this
ngambil
position,
nih?
it might be hard to get there in
Scepter paling
time. So
ngambil.
the buyback option probably is not there. It seems like Yatora now has seen
Oh, Tinker.
Tinker buying the on disc. So what does he do? He buys the appropriate
Oh,
item
enggak.
response. He's gonna go for the nullifier.
All right. So
Jangan
many
ambil.
choices, and Yatora, he's got to make the right one.
I think
Nggak,
Team Spirit
Tinker
have
nggak
recognized
ambil.
that as long as this Tinker's
Nggak ambil.
alive, there's no way that we're gonna win the long fight, and we're gonna constantly be forced to TP out as soon as Yatora's BKB ends. And for our Team Spirit, I think the way that you need to fight here is you need to set it up in a way where you
18
initiate,
k bedanya, Cok.
force the Tinker to show
Nightbot
himself,
aja.
and then have Yatora go in.
Gila.
And at the same
Tinkernya, Cok.
time, flip side for Team Spirit, I mean for PSG LGD, you know that your foreman is stronger. If both Yatoro and the Tinker stay out of the fight, you have the advantage. So just don't show nothing to say too early in a team fight. Allow your team to play the game 4v4, and then come in and beat the PA as soon as he commits.
Terus Spectre udah level 24 aja.
Again, falling back into
Radiant's
sort of a
top
peace
Sekarang levelnya sampai 30 loh kan?
here for Team Spirit
Masa,
at least,
Jo?
where they
Iya.
don't have any interest in
Di level 30 talentnya kebuka semua.
LGD head to head whilst there is the Aegis on Arme.
And for the
Full
first
power,
time in this
full
game,
power.
Spirit has finally
Full
been able to
power,
establish some sort of
udah.
vision in the bottom area of the map. We noticed them doing this time after time. When they fall behind, they like to take over the enemy triangle. They feel like it's a comfortable place for them to fight in. And even in this game, you notice it. Here we go again. Up into this radiant triangle, or dire triangle. Wait for the Tinker to show up. If the Tinker comes to that wave, they're going to be right on top of him. But it seems like Nothing to Say has played plenty of Tinker games. He's recognized. Yeah, might get caught.
Yeah, he's got a lot under his Nothing to Say as Arme, a quick jump over to the bottom lane, adding another kill to his scoreboard. 9-1
Kita nggak pakai BKB loh.
15.
Iya, nggak
Yeah.
pakai
And
PKB.
interestingly enough, he's gone for the
Aduh.
damage.
Tapi dong. Kok jauh banget Cok?
Double
Oh,
push kamu.
Double.
Teleport, Cuk. Emang mainnya tae.
Wih, gila.
Wah, kena siksain walkernya, Cuk.
I think
Sakit
Nothing
Cok.
to Say has really turned it up this game. I mean, I'm really impressed with his Tinker decision making. It's just very, very intelligent. Has not gotten caught a single time farming lanes, I think. And the
Wah,
way he team
Tinker,
fights is just beautiful.
Cok.
He knows what to
Ternyata
wait for. He
gini
knows who to look
mainannya.
for. This is a completely different PSG LGD
It really
compared
is.
to the first two games.
It really, really is. It's looking fantastic. This is the power that we've seen from PSG LGD
Oh, udah
in
jadi
the
tuh.
series before, in this run in the upper bracket. And it's coming out just where it's needed the most. They were knocked down hard in the first two games, and I think a lot of people were definitely going to be interested to see if they could somehow regain
Oh,
that
udah jadi
control.
apa namanya itu namanya?
Not an
Udah
easy
jadi
place to be
abyssal.
in, as you said. For them,
Ah,
the
abyssal
pressure
blade.
incredibly high in this. They will not accept anything less than first place.
Yeah, absolutely. We have another fight brewing. This is the only side of the map that Spirit has wards on. So if Spirit are not willing to take this team fight into LGD, I'm really curious what fight they're going to look for. This is the one, I think.
Aduh, kalau Baywan gimana tuh?
Kalah. Kalah.
2 minutes still with
Yeah,
that
kalah.
safety on the Spectre.
Masa aja?
Kayaknya nggak tahu lagi dah kalau Baywan kan.
Iya Baywan.
Susah Cok lawan Spectre, Cok. Baywan gigi.
But yeah, if we think about the mentality of LGD coming into this game, right? The
Itu udah
pressure was
punya
definitely
abyssal
on them.
itu.
I mean,
Mau ngapain,
Johan
Cok?
and Seb talked about what they
Tembel
saw
sakit
backstage,
lagi.
what they saw in their expressions. I'm sure this kind of momentum for them is huge.
Cok banget topan. Banget topan.
It's something that you need in order to win TI, right? You need to have that
Lalu
active
sulit.
champion.
Cus.
Iya BKB dulu dah, BKB dulu.
Di flicker Cok. Di ulti Cok. Sama September
Dikasih ini, Cok, dikasih. Wah, waduh.
He's
Itunya
playing
pure sih.
abyssal, Cok.
damage-nya.
on this. I was talking about how you need to
Wah,
wait out for the PA,
menang
but
kayak gitu.
he recognizes, you know what, there's no
Pure
way to
sih
PA's
tuh.
bottom here, and just full commits into their base.
He's level 26 on this
Yeah,
Tinker
that's
right now.
He is incredibly farmed. He's gonna finish a Bloodstone too, or an Octarine Core, sorry.
Tanpa BKB Cok.
Sebel banget sih,
Now,
Cok.
we
Udah Cok, lanjut, Cok.
saw how much Collapse could do last game when he was
Udah,
just
Cok. Diem di tower, Cok.
in
Main
the
apa lagi?
lead ahead, just
Level 26 tuh. Wow, gila pindah gitu. Gimana caranya?
Itu udah ininya, single target.
Hah?
Itu loh, Aganimen loh.
Oh, gak nih. Ini pantesan kok bisa pindah-pindah dia.
Forced back to the fountain.
Langsung mati,
PSG
serempet-serempet.
all the space in the world to push in
Wah,
onto
ini
the
menang
tier
dah.
3.
No
Can
hope
Team
dia,
Spirit
Cok.
get them out of it? There's no buyback on Toronto Tokyo. Still down for 30 seconds. And without mirror as well, they'll have to, by the looks of it, at least let one set of racks go down here. There's no defense to be had quite yet for Spirit.
That's so hard to fight into this Tombstone. You saw that's what we're kind of thinking about it. He was looking for that potential wraparound, but recognizing that, you know what, my team won't be able to support me. Even if I can catch the Tinker in the back lines, I don't have the power to kill him.
Temen.
Look how much money he's got. 6k.
Radiant's bottom
Gold in the bank here. Nothing to say. He can
Udah
really
sekali
start picking up
cerat
whatever he
doang
wants
itu.
now. Just
Cerat,
fill out
no,
the inventory
ya.
slots.
Pulang.
Yeah, absolutely.
Itu
Finishes
doang
with
nih
that
muter-muter
Octarine Core. Just wants that mana pool.
pulang.
Ooh.
We'll have a momentary pause here. 15 to 30.
Ah, lama ya.
24,000 net worth lead for PSG LGD. The numbers looking very good for them right now.
I have a hard time. I'm trying to think of scenarios for Spirit. It feels difficult to find a way
Padahal
to do
orangnya
it.
yang itu kayak bisa ke layar kita kan.
I think this refresher
Kenapa?
could be genius. It could just be the
Padahal
thing that they
orangnya
need.
yang ngejalanin itu loh,
I mean, the problem
klik-kliknya
is,
ini.
even if they get these
Tapi
kills
dari
right
kita
on the
muncul.
defensive team
Mantap ya.
Spirit,
Iya.
it's a Spectre and a Tinker.
Kayak
You
kayak
kill
dia
these
kontrol
heroes, they're buying
fisik
back,
gitu
their
kan.
boots are traveling over,
Ya emang namanya
they're
juga
haunting in, they're shadow stepping
udah
back into
disetting
the
gitu,
action.
Cuk.
Killing them once
Iya,
is
keren.
not going to be enough. PSG LGD will use the opportunity to get in and destroy you, even
Yeah,
if they lose the
absolutely.
core at the start.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're totally right
Kenapa
about
lagi
that one, and
Spectre
that
itu?
is why they are so far ahead,
Banyak
right? They have
banget.
all these options, they have all of these tools. But if anything could
Bikin
potentially catch
critical
them
deh,
off
Cok.
guard, I mean, PA refresher, when have you seen that? I think once that BKB runs out, expect nothing to say to blink in the direct hex. And if he gets that refresher off,
apa
if
tuh
he
jadinya?
didn't click on a PA, that could mean his death.
I mean,
Enggak,
it would be quite something
Fan of
if
Night.
this
Oh,
build does
PA
have the
refresher.
impact possible. But will it be
Gas,
enough? It
gas,
seems
okay,
like
gas.
a pretty
Bung,
big
PA
ask
refresher,
kit
Bung.
when they're as down as much as they are
enggak
in
cowok,
this
buat
game
apaan
three.
refresher?
Let me tell you, as a player in this position,
Tadi aku lihat apa
these kind of
terus?
pauses, it's the worst
Mana
thing that could
refresher
possibly
nggak
happen.
ada?
Mau bikin
It throws
refresher
you off
PA-nya,
your
Cuk, lihat,
momentum.
Cuk.
The team that's
Ngeyel
ahead
banget.
behind.
I mean, I'd say for both. I think it's really sad for both sides. I wouldn't say it's like, oh, Spirit's
Lihat,
getting an
lihat.
advantage, but when you are playing like the pressure, you're playing with the way LGD are.
Lihat
you're
makanya
so
mouse-mu
zoned
gerakin.
in into thinking, what are they doing now? Where are they moving next? How far could they have potentially gotten in the time that it's gone from me last seeing them on the map? And all of these small micro
Udah lihat
senses
belum?
that you have, where like, let's say
Oh,
your
iya.
shows on the
Buat
top
apaan
lane,
ya?
and then
BKB-nya biar 2 kali kali.
passes, you know
Oh,
where your
bisa,
Toro
ya,
approximately
ya.
could be because you know how fast the hero moves.
Ada
Everything like
aja.
that, it's thrown off by this kind of pause. And that's why usually if you think about it, after pauses in pro games, you see somebody getting picked off or somebody making the wrong judgment call. And it's because this like micro senses that you're used to playing off of gets thrown off.
Gila ini item jungle-nya, Cok, lo lihat nggak item jungle PA, Cok?
Apa?
Coba lihat ya item jungle-nya deh. Efeknya apaan? Kan?
Nah, ntar. Kok mulai sih?
Item jungle PA coba lihat deh.
Item jungle-nya PA. Apa ini?
My heart pounding with that on pause there.
You know how the players are feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ini apa?
Ninja gear
Looks
lo.
like hopefully there's
Ninja gear.
no initiation here.
Efeknya apa nih?
Survive the pause.
Pretty far away from
24 agility sama 25 movement
recipe
speed.
away from the refresher.
Enggak, yang bawah.
Certainly want to get that done.
Kalau
Ideally,
dipencet,
maybe at the
Kayak
25
smoke
if
over.
you can before the next fight is forced.
Sampah, Cuk. On yourself only, Cuk.
More damage.
Curang ini pantesan dari tadi kok nggak kelihatan. Ternyata itu itemnya.
I feel like the coup de grace might be it because you just you
Cooldownnya
gotta
berapa
kill
ya?
some. I mean, one of your items is a refresher. You're not
30 detik ya?
45.
Berapa ya?
damage.
45.
Yep, you're
Making
Cepet,
sure
Cuk,
that
hitung
the
aja.
crits are hitting.
45.
Hitting harder.
Iya, tuh enak banget nih pakai terus. Apalagi skill 3-nya. Gantian udah itu.
But then again, the triple is nice. If
Nggak
you know
kelihatan
like,
aja
maybe
terus,
creeps are
Cuk.
going to be coming in if you feel like you're losing some lanes of barracks, you need to push back out. So
I'm also
What else is
thinking
there?
for the team fight, right? How we know that Yatoro has to wait out. He can't fully commit
Jadi
straight at the
pressure,
start.
Cuk.
Then he'll be forced to waste his BKB.
maybe they,
Buat
and they do
PKB
have, of
berarti
course,
kan?
the empower.
Iya,
And
emang
the
PKB.
big daggers
Emang
with the
PKB
empower.
reset?
And that's
Reset lah semua item ke reset ya.
Fokus lo.
But he's
Wah, kena mulu nih, Cuk, evoker, Cuk.
Enggak, Cok. Bully, Cok. Mati kalau jalan lo. Ayolah.
Wah,
Wah, digantian.
Kecuali mulu, Cuk, dia, Cuk.
Anjir. Mampus lo.
Evokernya kecil terus, Cuk.
Kok nge-lag?
As he TPs.
Yeah, beautiful reset there from Team Spirit. I actually thought they were gonna have way more casualties, but quick fingers from Yatoro, blinking
Skill Spectre ada berapa sih? Banyak banget tuh, Cok. Kayak invoker.
Iya, penuh dari kiri sampai kanan.
So yeah, taking the chance here.
Invokernya sih.
The gold for that refresher of just a couple of few.
Kok jadi banyak gini skillnya?
I'm so excited for this refresher.
Disruptornya 4, Cuk. PA banyak banget.
PA banyak juga tuh.
Invoker emang banyak.
He does.
Immediate smoke up.
Ini Gak Willow banyak. Magnus banyak. Ini Scepter Spectre banyak banget.
Ngelebihin lewatin hukum alam gitu. Lebih batas ya.
For nothing to say. You know, man on his Tinker has had a pretty free game so far, jumping all over the place and bursting down the lineup of Team Spirit.
Jadi di PSDP ada.
BKB finished on Y.
Ini invokernya
Dying is
kena
not easy to
sulit
bring
terus, Cuk.
And look at his
Mau
position.
dikejar cuy sama scepternya di ulti dia.
Any chance of
Lah nggak
Spirit
keculik-culik
being able to
mulu
make a
ini.
move from their triangle?
Dia
Kejar
sendiri
blocker mulu dia.
For a Spirit, like how do you kill the other
Ketahuan
heroes?
sendiri di ulti tuh sama PA ya,
If PA can't commit
scepternya.
on them, how does anything die?
Ini PA kampret bener loh.
Really feeling very comfortable. Nothing to say in Arme, more than happy to farm up sort of the
Ya bisa nggak kalau gitu? Kalau BKB?
the orchid into the blood
Bisa,
pool
bisa.
here for Arme.
Bisa.
Nothing to
Kena
say.
Abyssal kan bisa kayak.
Getting close to having the
Enggak,
comfort of the
dipencet
overwhelming blink, maybe
Abyssalnya.
holding on
Bisa,
for
bisa,
one
bisa.
as well.
Waduh kena lagi ke PA lagi nih.
BKB.
The BKB comes out.
Mampus lu.
And that's been
Ayo dua. Wah, ada Thompson.
Ah, kena Abyssal.
Arme, he's in with the
Mati. Ada kalah nih, Cuk.
Abyssal, kena Abyssal ya? Wah dicari lagi.
On the refresh to 100 seconds, no bye.
Padahal dia udah refresher katanya.
Udah dipakai ya, udah dipakai
LGD
ya.
firing back strong. What a catch from
Golden nggak?
Fake
Golden
Beyond.
nggak?
Udah dipakai. BKB agak lama.
Wah.
And man, I feel like it just
BKB
all
dua
ties back
kali
to the
padahal.
vision. This game
10 second kan,
really
5-5
has
kan.
vision. They were playing on even terms for most of the game, and
Dia
Wah,
nggak bisa cok. Gagal cok.
But the counter
Wah, itu kenapa cok? Ada 3 bolanya.
as it's another core out of the game, collapse and Yatoro, no way of
Eh,
returning
bisa.
from this defense.
Magnusnya udah nggak berjaya lagi kayak tadi.
udah kena kunci mulu, Cuk.
Outside of the base,
Udah ketahuan counternya. Aduh mati semua.
PSG LGD, they're up to their axe.
that's gotta be so satisfying.
Tower.
For Q.
Oh yeah.
Collapse with that mag, just constantly skewering
Nah,
them back.
and
And now finally he
Cok,
gets
Cok.
to do it himself.
Yeah, collapse
Oh,
giving
gitu sih.
Q the respect as well there,
Kok nggak berani end ya?
with the words of Purge in the tip.
Lu masih ada hidup.
Gila lu. Mampus lu.
Ini invoker ada ini,
I
Cuk.
mean, this is
No,
what
agak
the
ninsatnya
PSG
dia.
LGD fans expected to see
Apa
from
ada
them.
efeknya kan?
Chaos
In this
Meteornya.
grand finals, they just
Extra 2
took
Chaos
a bit of
Meteor.
time to turn up today. Needed a bit of warm up.
Itu doang.
The first 2 games,
Yeah.
that was that. But it's really full power
Mati
here.
lagi lah.
Even just into the base. Arme
Di markas. Bayangannya doang yang matiin.
LGD are playing with
Wah,
such
ini Rosan
confidence.
lagi, ada
And at
end
the same
sekarang.
time, patience. They need to slow down. You know they're doing it.
Rosan.
Oh, the immediate roach spawn.
Lo.
They're very happy about this, I'm sure.
And nothing to be done about this from Spirit whatsoever. So fall straight into the hands of PSG LGD. As we'll see, Porom Maposhka.
Sampai ngeluarin Aghanim versi full, Cuk.
The creeps, and then suddenly, an Arme appears on top of Anticipant.
Iya, agak versi full Jo. Kasih siapa ya?
Ini ntar lagi kalau ada sampai
Oh,
ada Rosan
Rubik.
lagi bingung.
Rubik.
Apa lagi?
Rubik dapat Rubik.
Is safe right now from the Spectre.
Dapat Rubik dikasih agak
Rubik
full.
gets the Aghanim.
Iyalah, kasihan dia, Cuk, mau ngapain lagi, Cuk.
This is probably one of my favorite Aghanims in the game.
Data
So it's a great
hadiah
feeling when
udah.
you have it as Rubik. So one of the cool
This
things
boy
about this that I
punya.
don't think we've ever talked about is when you spell steal and most teams aren't aware that you have an axe, they kind of think, all right, Rubik used it. You hear the boing sound, and then you're okay. I can use my spells however I want. But with the axe, that throws it off. That
Baru
just
udah
makes it
kejauhan
easier
sih,
for you
Nightbot
to
udah
get
jauh
the
banget
steal
tuh.
that you wanna get.
9
So,
Cuk.
highly doubt Team Spirit be ready for this, but to be fair, they've had a lot of time to
Kayak
study the
ayah,
base.
kenapa bikin
Usually
item
what you
begitu
do during
ya?
this time
Kayak
is you're
damage ya?
starting to discuss everything. What is it that LGD can do? How do they approach this fight? What are they going to be looking for? What are we looking for? What are our objectives here? Which
Ya,
heroes do
cuman
we need to go
mengadakan
on? What spells do we
Sang
need to
Yasa
save?
sama
All these
Desul.
things should be discussed for Spirit. And
Enggak,
they
itu
should
juga
have a
damage kok
structured
yang
fight
satu
in mind
lagi.
here, because you can
Menurut
predict
player.
what's going to happen.
Lu
Iya,
dia.
I mean, 40,000
Kan nambah apa ya,
gold
STR
down
kayaknya.
right now. Spirit. PSG LGD. It looks like a pretty smooth sailing here to the victory. Is there really
Itu
anything?
keren Jo. Jalan itu jalan, orangnya jalan, bolanya jalan.
I mean, it's a matter of
Kayak
finding the
naik
trigger. I believe
wahana
it's
tuh loh.
Oh,
you
dia
can
bisa
always win.
ngasih ke
In Dota,
temennya
I feel
juga
like
lagi.
You always have the option of winning, and especially in late game. Yeah, there's 40,000 net worth
Jadi
differentiating you,
refresh
but
semuanya aja kasih bola
no
Jo.
amount of net worth that will make up for a bad positioning or the clutch play. So
Iya,
formations
semuanya
is really
bola-bola
important here for
itu.
LGD. And
Iya.
if Thor can find some sort of backline kill, that could open the fight up entirely.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Anjir, cepet banget.
Trot, langsung gitu.
Langsung bully boots. Ah, hypernya di depan Jo. Nggak ada yang berani ngehit.
Ngelek, Cuk, ngelek.
Terus lu mati.
Nah.
Buyback semua.
Oh buyback deh, buyback.
Buyback semua.
Mirror.
Jadi balikan hypernya, Cok. Enggak kena loh, goblok.
But he's actually able to get out here with a man.
Dia di counter, Cok. Pakai mantah.
Grab back, yeah, steps back to the safety of his team. PSG LGD still respecting the buybacks here from Spirit. They won't instantly push in onto the melee racks, but the rocket spam begins from nothing to say. Yator, he's gonna look to jump outside of the base.
Aduh.
He's able to jump on the G, gonna go for nothing sec.
Buyback lagi tuh biar mati
Oh,
tuh
semuanya.
Dulu.
Wah, gila abis.
Buyback lagi tuh, buyback
Gila,
semua.
semua.
Dimasukin.
Spektakel lihat di rumah aja, spektakel di rumah.
Dimasukin.
Spektakel di rumah, Cok. Mampus lu.
Iya. Tapi nge-push dia, tapi di
Kok bisa gitu? Kok bisa
Wah,
lanjut
di
ke
EU
situ,
Cok,
Cok?
di EU Cok. Waduh, GG asam.
GG.
Wah, ini keren sih Cok, mainnya Cok.
Iya,
So beautiful.
Magnusnya di-scut terus Cok.
Nusuk deh, nggak kayak tadi, Cok. Mistress.
But no, the
Bukan miss ya, digangguin mulu di EU, down lompat di EU, di stun, di ikat.
Tadi dia inisiasi nggak dapet mulu dia.
Wah,
Udah tahu counternya.
udah mati nih dari sini.
Gimana nih? Mau gas?
Gas dulu sekali lah. Kayaknya nggak usah streaming lagi deh gue ya. Ini komputer gue agak berat lama sih. Buka gituan, ganti lagi buka Dota.
Kenapa ya? Nggak usah main.
Nggak usah nggak usah streaming.
nonton.
Nggak usah streaming goblok.
Oh. Ya selalu. Udahan. Ya udah.
Udahan aja kali ya.
Ya udah.
Tapi kita tetap nonton.
Iya, gue nonton, Cok. Gue mau nonton, kocak.
Ya udah. Oke teman-teman, terima kasih semuanya. Sorry nggak. Aduh, gregean gue kan. Banyakan nontonnya daripada Mobile Legends ya, soalnya seru men. Oke teman-teman, terima kasih banyak buat yang sudah menonton dan sampai jumpa lagi besok di live stream besok teman-teman ya. Dadah, ngantuk banget.